Let's make this happen.
Man, showed up ready, always ready.
Are we live? We're live? Welcome, everybody, to the live show extravaganza. I told you, everybody, it's going to be an amazing night tonight. If you can see, then you can see. Kevin Aguiar, school committee member, welcome to the show, sir.
Thanks for having me.
You know, I almost feel bad introducing you that way because you have many titles, bro, but that's the current one. That's the current title. More so, though, I just want to say something really quick before we get anywhere else, and I introduce Boomer Emerald to the show. You are a counselor at CUS. And I want to say something to you.
No. That's way back.
Yeah.
Oh, you were.
I was back in the day, yeah.
So very important, something very important. Mrs. Pereira, she was my guidance counselor. And that woman saved my life. So I just want to say that maybe you're not now, but even though you were, you probably saved some lives out there and you don't even know it. Like, it's such an important job. And I honor anybody who does that type of work where they're helping children and they're taking that kind of information.
I hear you. And we have so many people doing that now. So I'm sure they appreciate it. We appreciate it. And the needs today are much greater than when you and I were around in school. So we definitely need the support, but we have some great counselors that are saving lives every day.
Yeah, I'm sure they appreciate you saying that. Boomer Emerald, Gabriel, welcome to the show, brother.
I've been called all day.
Right? Well, no kidding. Well, you're up putting signs, right, today?
Yeah, we held signs today. I was fixing a few signs today. The wind's been crazy, especially since on Halloween. So, yeah, it was a good day.
Yeah.
You know, a little wet, but we survived.
Yeah, wet's good, though. Wet's good. I was in Maine for the weekend, and it was
raining,
all
not
wet
raining,
and cold and windy. And then that last day, of course, when you're packing ready to go, the sun is shining. But I'm grateful. It was a beautiful drive all the way there. So I'm so grateful for both of you gentlemen being here today. And I just, I want to start the show off real quick and say thank you to everybody up until this point. We all know it's November 3rd, literally the day before probably the biggest day this city has seen in a very, very long time. Decisions will be made. And of course, there are people that are here currently, like you, Kevin, that have been carrying this torch and are true to the message of what we do in this city. I always like to come up front and say, I'm not a political show. This is not a political show. And but I want to give people the opportunity to meet the person, right? Who is Kevin? Right? Who is he and how did he get here? Right? And that's the show. And Boomer was here at one point, and he kind of went through the process. And I tell you what, a lot of people reached out to me and like, wow, I had no idea he was homeless. I had no idea he spent 19 years in the military. And these are these are the differences, right? Like, who we are literally formed by our experiences, right? So someone who spends 19 years in the military, right? Someone who spends their whole career supporting their community, from state representative to the city, the school committee. These are commitments that I don't think people realize how much effort and how much it actually takes to do this, man. Like, honestly, bro, it's a monumental task, and I think the citizens really need to realize that it's easy to turn on TV. Right? Oh, look, he's yelling again. Oh, yeah, right. But are you actually paying attention? And I'll give him a shout out right now, Jordan. And I give him credit because he shows up to everything. The guy is at every single meeting. He genuinely cares about the city. And whether or not you agree with what he says, he's showing up. He's shaking the tree, right? He's shaking the tree. And I wish I could do a little bit more of that. You know what I mean? Like, and I always, I'm busy, I'm working. But the truth is, people like you guys who commit your time. You have 2 children, right?
One.
Oh, one child, very young.
3 years old.
3 years old. And you still managed to do all this. So, and Boomer, 6 kids, right? And you still, so the guys who have probably the least amount of time to give the most. You know what I mean? Kevin, welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We've been talking about getting together on the show.
Yes.
Just so happened this the night before the election, but
I know, right?
Better late than never.
No time better than tonight. Let's we'll do it. I have been at it for a long time. I have a passion for this work, and you said it right. Sometimes you see a meeting and you say, "Why is that guy getting all tough on somebody or asking hard questions?" That's why people elect you.
Yes.
So anybody that's out there knows I'm not just asking the question for the first time on the stage at one of our monthly meetings. I've asked by emails. I've tried to work with people that, at some point, if you're not going to answer in private, you're going to get it in public to say, no, what is the story here? Yeah. So we need to hold each other accountable. That's what we do. That's why elected officials do what they do. So I feel like I'm a voice of the people. The calls come in from any type of employee, parent, at nights, weekends, emails. We just constantly are listening to people, and then it's my job to try to get them some help. And where sometimes you agree, sometimes you disagree, but at the end of the day, people need to be heard, treated with respect, and our administrators need to do the job that they are paid to do in the city. So I'm going to keep on doing it. as long as the voters want me, I want to keep doing it.
Yeah. And so, like, not to get too deep into the weeds, but, obviously the mayor has a lot to do with that, right? Like, there's a lot of involvement in all of that. What would you like to see, whether it's Boomer or Paul, what would you like to see different coming in? Like, obviously, look, we have issues. Right, we have issues, and the schools we have issues there. What are some of the situations where you're like, well, this should be easy for us. This shouldn't be difficult. And do you think that maybe a new administration or the current one is willing to work with you in these situations?
Well, I would say one of the biggest things is whether it's in politics, in running for school committee, running a city, running an organization, a CEO of a bank, or wherever it is.
Yeah.
You need to hire the right people for the right jobs, period. And I think that's the biggest problem that I have is that the current mayor, who I've tried to work with, I've known him for years when I first was on the school committee, when he was a vice principal. I've tried my best to work with him to try to help have him assist us in asking questions, holding people accountable, having that. And he's nowhere to be found when it comes to that. And that's really, for me, one of my biggest problems was hiring the wrong people. We just had a recent superintendent search. It was basically a political thing, and I've said this right in the meeting, and I said it in public. I'm not shy about it. At the end of the day, we hired the wrong person. Anna Riley, who's running for school committee, had all the credentials. Anybody that watched it knew that she was the best person for the job, and 4 members of the committee voted, for Tracy Curley, the current person, who was not as qualified. It has nothing to do with her. It had more so, let's just hire the best person.
Sure.
But the mayor was political. There was no doubt about it. I called it out at the time.
Yeah.
I can go on and on and on, but I'm just telling you right now, it was definitely political. So we don't hire the right person. If you don't hire the right person, and that continues to go on and on and on, we become in a mess.
Right.
So on the city side, some same things have happened.
Because that person's going to hire people, right?
Yeah.
And if the wrong person at the top is the wrong person, everybody they hire tends to be the wrong people.
Yeah. If you have kids in the school system, don't you want the students to be in front of the best teacher?
Oh, of course.
If they have a teacher assistant, you want the best teacher assistant? You just mentioned counselors. Wouldn't we want the best counselor, the best
100%.
principal,
Absolutely.
the best administrator? It goes on and on.
Yes.
I always say it's a very simple process. That's what you call good government.
Sure.
Good government is making sure that the right people are in the right seat and making sure that we hire people that can actually lead.
Right.
It's not complicated on the school side, the city side, or even in the business side. And for whatever reason, we don't do it here.
Yeah.
And we're seeing some of the effects of that. So regardless of who's the next mayor, I want to work with a committee that's actually willing to ask the questions. Not every time someone asks a question, they say, don't get out of the weeds.
Yeah, right.
The current chairman keeps telling me, get out of the weeds, get out of the weeds all the time. And I feel like when you're in an elected office, whether it's mayor, school committee, city council, you need to get in the weeds.
Oh,
You
sure.
need to find out what's going on so that we can hold people accountable and make things better tomorrow than they are today. Simple.
For me, I've said this since day one on my show, and I honor teachers, right? Because to me, I'll say this, and I say it often, and I hate the cliche, but the children are our future. Like that's the hands down situation here. So when we have a broken leg, right? We have a broken leg. We talk to people. Hey, who do you suggest I go see? Hey, who's the best doctor? We're always in search of the best doctor to fix our broken leg, right? That is in the pursuit of the best person for the job. We go to our children and the education system, and we don't do that. We don't hire the best people for the job. Exactly what your point is. We nickel and dime them, right? We underpay them. We put them in situations where they're in college debt forever, and now they have a job where they're working to pay off their college debt. And then they get wrapped up in social media. And then who is actually teaching our children? Is it the best person? Is this the person you want fixing your broken leg? The answer is no, because you're finding the cheapest person you can get and holding on to them, right? And just nickel and diming them. I find it, maybe this is just me, and this is not because I'm cheap, because I'm Portuguese, but the truth is, I think when you ask parents for school supplies, I think that's very inappropriate. I understand that there are needs, but I think as a taxpayer, when I'm paying the education system, which I would expect to be paramount, you have safety, right? I should be able to walk down the street and not get stabbed in the neck, and I should be able to send my children to school and know that my children are being educated by the best people possible and that they're going to receive the best safety and guidance every single day. But we don't have that.
Yeah, and I'm not diminishing we have tremendous amount of people that are doing awesome. They're dedicated. They're hardworking. They're, like you said, we're saving lives
Yes.
every single day in the school.
Yes.
The needs are tremendous. And when we don't want to address that we have needs that are tremendous, we have a problem.
Yes.
You can't keep saying everything's okay. They're struggling. People are in unwinnable situations. The best teacher, if you create an unwinnable situation and give them 27 kids in the class, 5 of which have major behavior problems,
Yes.
and you tell them, get through the curriculum,
Yes.
make sure everybody's learning,
Yes.
having fun, and say, and you can't suspend anybody,
Right.
you can't discipline anybody, but good luck. That's taking a person who's a great educator and like tying their hands to not be able to do. So we have tremendous amount of people. I don't want to get it to
No,
look
exactly.
like that.
And actually, the point I was going to make is, why aren't we paying these teachers what they should be getting paid? Like, if we're going to pay a doctor $100,000 to fix my leg, why are we not paying these teachers appropriately? I think it's a fair question to ask. I'm not saying that, they make some ridiculous amount of money, but I think we provide them with a good pay so that they're happy, that they want to do this work, that they can live a normal life and be amongst us and not be like, well, I'm not really going to care because I'm only getting minimum wage here.
Yeah.
It's very, very, I think it's very important. Again, I'm not saying the teachers are all about the money, but it matters. It absolutely matters, because the quality of my life is going to translate to how I treat these children.
Well, if you don't pay them, they have to work 2 jobs. They're not their own families. It just starts
There it
to
is.
steamroll.
There it is. Exactly.
The committee, the mayor, everybody should get credit for the fact that we passed the teacher contract recently.
Okay.
That was very good.
All
That
right.
was
Yeah,
very
I don't
good.
think-
and
I don't
very
think it's a
All right.
money
I
thing
love
right
this.
now.
I
I
love
don't think
this.
it's a money thing right now. I think
Yeah.
it's a support thing right now for teachers, really. But
Yeah.
So we had a lot of money. So we have to credit the current people.
Okay.
But we really have to credit the state legislators and the.
And this
the
would be
mayor.
Coogan. This is Coogan. This is
No,
Coogan.
this is above them. State
Above
reps,
him.
the
Oh,
state
okay.
senators, Senator Roderick's, the governor.
Okay.
They passed what's called Student Opportunity Act,
All right.
which actually made the money that comes to the cities like Fall River.
Okay.
It went up tremendously.
Okay.
$15 million a year for the last 5 years.
All right.
So
This is
that's where the
direct
budget
salary increase?
So now that we have that kind of revenue,
Yeah.
we can actually say we can pay somebody a living wage. Like right now, a top step teacher, 12-step teacher, is around $100,000. That's what they're getting. That's good money.
Yes.
But
Yes.
it used to be, let's say, 80,000. So
Yeah, right, right,
all
right,
of those folks together
Yeah.
have created a situation where we have enough revenue to actually know that we can spend.
See, I love that.
you
I love
know,
that. I did not know that, and so I'm very happy to hear
credit,
that. Yeah.
I'm just giving credit where it's due.
100%.
One thing you know about me is I'm equal opportunity.
I love
I'll
it.
say when I think something's on the good for the city, good for the schools, like it's just the way it is. And
So, to my comments, have you noticed a difference? Have you noticed a difference in the way that our children are being taught in the education? Is there a difference in it? You
I think
or-
sometimes it takes time. It takes time, but at the same time as we did that, the students are coming in with different issues. We're getting a lot of students that mental health needs are through the roof, really, tremendous.
Yeah.
So in turn, we've hired another couple hundred counselors over the last 5 years, 4 years.
yeah.
So can you imagine what it would have been if we didn't get that?
Right,
So
right.
we're seeing that it's trying to be stable. We have a lot of students that come here. That it's the first week in the United States. They're all of a sudden on our door. What are we going to do with them in a school? They're in 7th grade. They don't understand English. So we have to have supports in place
Yep.
for every issue that comes up.
Sure.
And they're all over the place. So I think it's been a much better system, but we also have a lot more staff.
Yeah.
So we should have expectations higher. The expectations now should have gone up
Right.
because we have those. So the excuses of I got too many kids, we don't have enough of this.
There it is. Yes,
So
yes,
those
yes.
excuses need to start going away.
Yeah.
And we say now we need achievement.
Okay.
That's the next phase of where we're at.
And how about the teachers' assistants? I know that there was some questions about that, right? How many teachers per class, and then how many teachers' assistants, right? Is
Paris.
Paris? Is that something also that
Call them paras. I hate that word.
I never heard that.
So,
I've always heard teachers' assistants.
Paraprofessionals, teacher assistants.
I always look at it
what
as
they're
it's not fair to a teacher assistant to call them a paraprofessional because I personally take that as a less than a professional.
Oh, okay.
Paraprofessional.
All right.
I hate
Yeah.
that word.
I didn't even know what that's
but
what it
that's
meant.
what they're called
Yeah,
as.
that's what they're called,
But
and
that's what they're
it's-
called as a group. But
Yeah.
teacher assistants
Teachers, I like
are
teacher assistants.
invaluable.
I agree.
Sure.
The problem that we have is that the needs are so great, so they're not in every class. We try to have them at the younger grades, especially. So we'll have kindergarten teacher assistants, 1st grade. We've made motions to have ELL classrooms have a teacher assistant, so it's targeted and specific.
Yeah, right,
so
right.
they're invaluable to the schools, but it also costs money.
Sure.
So the more you pay a teacher assistant, now you get benefits. You have it all go. It's a big picture.
Sure. Right.
So it's very hard, but we're doing better. I think.
How do you feel about the old cuss, right? They do some special education in that building, correct? How do you feel about that? I mean, I know some are opposed to it. Some think that we're just putting kids there and we're letting them just rot there. What do you think?
I worked there, not now, but I worked there for several years. So that's what's called an alternative school. And it's not supposed to be the traditional. It's for students that can't make it for a variety of reasons in a regular traditional school. It's not just for special education. So a special education school only is called an out-of-district placement. Like you wouldn't call that here.
Okay.
So basically that has a combination of a whole bunch of different students in grades 7 through 12 with a whole bunch of different issues.
Okay.
It's needed.
All right.
It's
So these are behavioral issues that are identified by like a doctor or...
both. Yeah, so it's a combination.
Sure.
Students that get in trouble, kids get in trouble, high school, you get in trouble, you get, enough referrals or whatever, you need to go to another school, they could send you there.
So when somebody's put there for using their cell phone, that's happening is the problem.
Yeah, I would say that.
I don't think we're using RPA for those students that can't be in a regular environment. We're using it as a threat almost these days.
Yeah,
It
I
seems to be
think
the
that would
issue that
be.
we have.
When I was there, that wouldn't happen. I can tell you because
Yeah, no. Years ago, it was used.
it was meant for.
My
so,
cousin went there. Like he played football for Durfee, but he still went there, and it was because he just wasn't going to school. He wasn't doing what he needed to do at Durfee. Yeah. That's not the case now. Is the issue that?
But
we
I think
get
it's
from all the
being looked
parents.
at. Like so, the Department of Justice is involved
Okay.
with. People can file complaints. So a couple of years ago, they filed a complaint. So now we're under a little scrutiny. Not for anything specific, just that we were sending kids there without. Referrals or something like that. So it's needed.
Yeah.
It needs to be revamped, in my opinion. We need that school to be for kids that can't handle a big environment. We need to have a different type of place for students that are misbehaving, that they're not going to be there for education. They want to just come and run roughshod over kids. That's not going to happen.
Yep.
So we need to come up with something for those type of children. Special education students that can't be in a regular setting should be there. Right. So there's some good pockets of excellence there, but we have to morph it. So the next administration, the next school committee will have some tough decisions to make relative to what we do. Yeah. I'm pretty much ready for something different. Yeah. If it's not working, right? How many years are we going to do the same thing?
Absolutely.
So you still say it's valuable, it's needed, but let's just at some point say we're going to do it this way.
Sure.
And move some things around if we have to. The state gave us some money to renovate that building because we don't have another building that big.
Okay. Right.
So they renovated, so we're going to fill it with students in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. Doesn't necessarily mean it has to be the way we've been doing it.
Right. So the process can streamline. The process can be in benefit.
Totally separate. It can be different, as Boomer said. Yeah. Kids that can go there can play sports at the high school. You can participate in extracurricular activities. So as long as you're meeting your grades, no matter what school you're at, you could participate. So we need to make sure of that.
Do we know what the success rate is of that by any chance? I mean, I'm not putting you on the spot, but do we know like how many kids are coming out of there like graduating, or is it more?
We've graduated, I think, a little less than what I wanted personally. So I can speak to when I was there in probably almost 10 years ago. A guy named Rob Correa was the principal, or he became the principal.
Sure.
We graduated 90 students one year.
Oh wow.
90.
Oh wow.
And there was only like 180 students there. So what it is you're saving lives.
It's like 50%.
You're taking
half.
students from the high school have 0 credits, 10 credits. They need 100 to graduate, and you're 18 years old. Yeah. What do you do with that?
Right.
So you have to try to accelerate. You have to try to make them have competency-based education. You have to do things a little differently so that we can get those kids over the hump.
Sure.
We used to have MCAS, you pass the MCAS, you do different types of things. At 18, you gotta it's time.
Right.
So we did that. We had online schooling, which is now all of a sudden it's coming back. It was successful. We had 90 graduates from there, which helped Durfee because we took 90 graduates that they didn't have potentially. Yeah. So I think working together with everybody is what we need to do.
Right. So not to put anybody in the spot, but I know you're not a fan. So if you have any questions,
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the utilization of it today. 10 years ago, I understand how it was implemented, supposed to be used, right?
Yeah.
Even when I was in school, I know how it was supposed to be used, and it started that way. The problem is it's not that way. Like I can show you messages right now in my inbox, like they're threatening kids. If I see your phone again, we're gonna put you in RPA because you're not following the rules here, and it's like, over a cell phone. This is an AB student in a high school.
So they're using it as like a threat tactic. They're using it like a scare tactic,
and that's our problem, right? That's what we're looking at. Is our PA is our like own little school prison, and it's not okay with that mindset, right?
Is that how you see it, Kevin? Like you use like a prison, like this mindset?
I don't see it that way, but I can understand why somebody would if those things are happening.
Correct.
The hard part when you're running for office is, as Boomer's doing, he's running for office and wants to do all these things, right? It's great, but once you're in, you see a totally different side of things, and I think he understands that. So at this point, he's hearing the anecdotal evidence from people. You got to understand, once you get in, we can't, like for instance, somebody tells a story like that to a school committee member.
Sure.
Somebody comes up in citizen input times and says exactly what he just said. We can't, by law, go back and explain to him, no, that's not the case. You were suspended 6 times. You were this. So we have to just take it because we can't respond.
There's 2 sides to every
Superintendent,
story.
So what I would do with a case like that is we send it to the superintendent and say, can you please look into this situation? Try to work behind the scenes to figure out what it is. Sometimes I'd get back to the parent or the student and say, hey, by the way, what about those things? Because now they can tell me that they were suspended or this and that. And,
Correct.
So we can work it out. I had a case like that.
Do you have faith with the superintendent? Do you have that faith?
No, I don't right now with the current superintendent based on history.
Sure.
I gave her a shot when, but I'm always hopeful. I'm always hopeful that I think if a new committee comes in and they can see the handwriting on the wall that it's not just the way the mayor says. And if the mayor tells the superintendent, don't answer Kevin, don't answer Colin, just leave him alone, and it'll go away.
That's wild.
If things like that happen, you're never going to work with somebody like that.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, I had a great case of a student, a grandparent called, wanted their student to go from 8th grade to 9th grade, got involved a little bit, tried to tell the superintendent, what can we do here? The student was absent, but there was reasons and whatever else. We get to the long and short of it is, I can't get any information because the superintendent tells me I can't give you that information. Talk to the grandparent, says to the grandparent, I'll tell you what, I'll go there as your witness. As long as you set up a meeting with the superintendent, I'll ask her questions right in front of you to be able to do it. She does. She sets up a meeting. I go to the school department with the grandparent, the guardian of this young man and a 15-year-old student in the downstairs. The superintendent comes down and says, I'm not meeting with him.
Come on.
She says, him and I don't get along, so I'm not meeting with you, to the grandparent and the 15-year-old kid. So I'm sitting there and I said to her, listen, you go back upstairs, you do what you got to do. I explained to the lady, this is what I would ask, and then I left because I wasn't going to get into it.
Of course, right. You don't want to be the reason.
And then at the end of the day, I said, come to the school committee if you want. You can present your case, and then the school committee can see it in open. But I can't see the data. At the end of the day, that was going to happen. Lo and behold, like most things, 3 hours before the school committee meeting is when they act because they know at the meeting
you're going to call them out. You're going to call them out.
Guess what? 3:00 in the afternoon, kids now at a program at Durfee High School, doing well from last I heard when I checked in.
Good for him.
It's all for show.
But it shouldn't take that. It shouldn't
get to that point. Correct.
And I'm just giving you that example for when I say why I lose faith in somebody. You should be able to talk. Like if I had a student. If Mr. Amaral said he wants me to meet with the superintendent about one of his kids, and I'm here as his witness, why would you not answer? It's crazy.
100%, right.
Basically, it was because she knew I was going to give her a hard time. But at the end of the day, I was supporting a 15-year-old kid.
Yeah.
I was supporting a grandmother who bringing the kid up. And at the end of the day, we should have done something. We should have had programs in place at RPA or at other places to go to summer school, to do online, whatever it is.
Okay.
So
what's
that
in
one
the best
worked out.
interest of the child? That's their job.
Easy.
That's her job.
Yeah.
That's
You
literally
use
her
that
only
as a
job.
litmus test.
Yeah.
If you use what he just said as a litmus test for every decision you make in the school department, I'll take every vote.
Yeah.
And then when I go home at night, I put my head on the pillow and I sleep well because I'm making a decision based on what's best for kids and best for, if it's an adult issue, best what's for an adult. If somebody's getting harassed in the school department and they tell me, guess what? I'm not taking that lightly.
Yeah.
So, but I'm going to fight like hell for them. At the end of the day, if the mayor doesn't like it, anybody else doesn't like it, well, too bad. I sleep well at night, knowing that what I did was the right thing by that person.
Yep.
I think we all got to just use that.
It just blows my mind that would be
really
the
not that
mindset,
difficult.
right? Like right from the
That's the
get-go.
thing, it's really not that
So why
difficult.
would you involve, again, we brought this up last time. Why would you involve yourself in this realm if you're not into it? If you don't, like, I like to fix things. So I that's what I do for
There's
a living,
a lot of
right?
money in
I
there.
like to do this. So why would you involve yourself in a capacity, in a job that you're not really, you don't want to do this? Like, what's your end goal? Like, what exactly?
What is the superintendent's salary?
$220,000.
That's why. You get paid $250,000. Does it really matter what you do?
You know, and
You're getting
and maybe that's
$250,000 to ignore the families that you're supposed to represent.
Yeah. We have
That's
a
a
couple
problem.
lawsuits too. There's a couple lawsuits pending too.
Several.
Yeah, there's-
You got another one. I don't know. Did you get it yet? Did you get the other
no,
one yet?
they don't tell us until after the fact.
Well, I'll tell you right now that the president of city council has it, the mayor has it, your superintendent has it. So I don't know why the rest of the school committee doesn't have it. But I assure
Another
you,
new one.
absolutely.
Yeah, so-
Another 7-figure lawsuit has been issued, and they have the paperwork, so they
Honestly,
know
we
about it.
don't,
So here we are before the election. They don't want that getting out, right?
Yeah.
Here we are. Again, I know it was sent because I have a copy of it.
So I don't know that, you know, at the end of the day, I can't comment on why somebody would do something that they don't believe in, you know,
Right,
but
right.
let's shift it
Yeah.
to say we need more people that do it for the right reason.
Amen.
Yes.
To say,
I
hey,
like
this is
that.
the way we
I
got to
like
do it.
that.
So now
I like that.
in the school committee right now, we don't have the majority.
Yep.
The current mayor has the majority of members of the committee. So anything that I raise to try to get 4 votes, I'm not going to get
on
it
deaf
because
ears.
they do whatever the mayor says to them, basically.
So
They'll
you-
deny it.
Are you,
but that's-
are you experiencing this right now? Is
Oh,
that
100%.
Yeah, that's what.
100%. So it's not, it's really, you could just watch the meetings. You can see, you can look at the data, you can look at the information, you know.
Yeah, people don't know, Kevin. People don't know. You know, and I only say this because only 6,000, 7,000 people show up to
Yeah.
vote. So nobody's paying attention, Kevin. So I'm hopeful that people are hearing this right now and they're receptive to it. You know
I'm
what I
going to
mean?
give you a
That-
quick story just
Sure.
to blow your mind.
Please.
We go to the last meeting. Mr. Dias had to leave because he had a family emergency. So he leaves. We got in front of us the agenda. In such agenda is we have grant budgets that are going to be approved. There's $14 million worth of grant budgets that are going to be approved by us. Nobody was going to ask one question, including the mayor. So the public, nobody would know what's going on. We would just say, yep, motion to approve so we can go home. I don't operate like that. So I asked, can we get a presentation, summary, you know, whatever. So we did. And then one of the gentlemen got up. To his credit, he knows his grants. And so show the public that you know what you're doing, your grant. He says, well, one went up by $2 million. I said, $2 million? Well, we didn't get to vote on where that $2 million was going to go.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a contract because it pays for salaries, so therefore there were raises and things like that. We wouldn't have known there was a $2 million increase to things. So I just said, like in my mind, that's an example of, I look around sometimes and say, why do we go? Like I have things I need to do too, but on Monday night I'm there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're
I'll stay
there.
there till
You're
1
there,
o'clock in
right?
the morning.
Yes.
At one
yes.
point, they made a motion this year. People don't know this either. Because if you're not paying attention to it was going too long. Too many questions are being asked. Somebody made a motion to cut the meeting off at 10:30, end the meeting, period.
Cut it out.
4 members of the committee, including the mayor, said, yep, let's end the meeting at 10:30, no matter what's happening. The most important topic could be at 10:31.
What?
Say, cut the meeting at 10:30. So now we go in, we're going in the back to do executive session where it's negotiations, it's, all these big things.
confidential.
Hey, we got to rush this because we only got till 10:30. I said, you're the ones that voted for this, not me.
Yeah.
Like, I'll stay here all night. And, so that's the kind of stuff that we deal with on a regular basis. So then the next meeting comes.
Kevin, nobody
and then
would
they're saying
believe
something.
this,
I said,
bro.
well, Mr. Mayor, it's 10:30. I thought at 10:30 is over. Why are we meeting at 10:40? Because we want to pass a contract. So like you vote at 10:30. I said, I thought at 10:30 the meeting was over. You're always complaining or laughing at me or laughing at Colin. Like that's the kind of behavior we see at the meeting. So we need more professionalism. We need more decorum. And we need people that just do it for the right reason. And no matter what decision, just make it in the best interest of the people you represent.
Yeah.
And
Boy?
That's what you're elected to do. There's no secret to it, right? Like if you're going in there and your only interest is how to hide things, how to prevent people from getting the job done, you're telling people not to ask the tough questions, not to do their job, not to I vote for Kevin because I want what's best for my children. I believe he's the man that's going to do that. There's a reason for that, right? There's a reason I vote for him. There's a reason I won't vote for Colin. There's a reason, as he said, I would vote for Anna because I believe these people genuinely care about all of our children like they care about their own. They want what's best. When I watch these meetings and I'm looking at people, none of them raise children in our school system, first of all.
Yep.
None of them. And then you look at the fact that they just vote blindly because of who they support as opposed to who they're supposed to represent. That's the problem. I'm not running for mayor to go and work for this little select group of people. I'm running for mayor to make sure that the whole city gets represented the best way we all see fit. The best way they're hiring me for the job to look out for them, for their best interest as a whole. people are in office right now do not have that mindset. They are not there for what's best for our children, as you can see. They are not there what's best for the taxpayer. There's no way. You don't get to this point if you were there looking out for what's best for either of those. You don't get to the bottom of the education system if you're there for the children in the right reason. You don't get there. You don't get to where we are, corrupt-wise, taxes, lawsuits, all this stuff, if your best interest was to protect the people and do what's right for them. You just don't.
You know, I think I'm as guilty as most citizens of the city, where we entrust people and be like, "Hey, I'm pulling up. Go, child. Go to school. Go learn. Go be around people that are smarter than me." Right? That's the idea. And unfortunately, like that doesn't seem to happen the way that it's supposed to. And you know, again, and I keep saying it, like if we're not investing in what is the most important, there's nothing more important. Like the city, you know, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, these are the people running this city. These are the right. So if they can't write a check, if they don't know how to, they don't know how to invest their money. Like they're not being taught the most important things that they need to be successful. You know, they're going through and it's almost as if we have conformed to this ABC setup and never said, "Hey, listen, what if we asked what do you like? Right? What do you enjoy? What do you want to do?" And give some options that way. I might have texted you by accident. I meant to text him, and I might have texted you.
No, you're okay.
But why aren't we giving these children an absolute choice in what they're doing? Like I think like Diamond, right? Diamond's a great example. If I like auto mechanics, I can do auto mechanics. If I like auto body, I can do auto body. If I want to be HVAC, those are options. Why aren't we offering that everywhere across the board? And why does it have to be high school?
Well, a couple things. So one is, we do offer options the best we can in the Fall River Public Schools. A misnomer out there to the public is that we can offer what Diamond offers, and that's not the case. It's illegal. So
I love this. People don't know this, Kevin. All right, this is great.
We can't run auto body,
okay,
because Diamond only takes 100 kids in auto body.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we got 200 kids that want auto body, why doesn't Durfee run auto body? Can't happen like that. It's against the law. So the public schools can only do something that's different than auto body. We can't do an electrician. We can't do plumbing. We can do like a different type of electrician.
So
like
in other words, like competing with this.
competing.
With that?
So we have career and voc tech
Did you know
ed.
this?
That
Isn't there an evening program that can do it outside of normal school, though?
There is, but it doesn't.
Yes.
So what happens is very difficult. We call it like Durfee After Dark, where they could go over to Diamond and do it, but it's not. It's not as simple as that because of the logistics.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, we just can't run vocational at Durfee
During
like
the day,
this. It's got to be
It's
totally
different funding, right? For both.
So
I
they
didn't
can
know
do
that. I didn't know that.
cosmetology, and then there's also different regulations in the state on how many hours you need to do vocational versus regular traditional, things like that.
So how do they both have culinary?
It's a different style. Like it's a different. We're doing like a different level of it.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly.
I know
what the
what you're saying.
technical
That
terms
one
are.
is
So
yeah.
theirs is maybe like more intense, and ours is less intense because
Gotcha.
it's only like part-time per se.
Yeah, right.
Because you're still in a comprehensive high school, so you got to do a bunch of
Yeah.
other things. So, you know, really, if we really wanted,
Sorry, guys.
if you really wanted to get down to what's really going to happen, is you need to have a discussion with all the leaders, the legislators, and everyone, and say, what do we want Diamond Vocational to be?
Yeah.
What do we want Durfee High School to be?
Right.
People don't have the guts to have that conversation. So, for instance,
People you currently have.
no, and I'm talking about the state and everybody,
Yeah.
not just local.
Yeah.
Because what happens is Diamond has 400 kids in there, let's say, or half their kids. 50% of Diamond goes to college. When you were going to school, when I was going to school, that wasn't the case. You were going into trades. It's flipped now,
Yeah.
so that they're putting pressure on the kids, so it's like a safer alternative to Durfee.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
kids aren't going in the trades. Let's just face the actual. Over 50%. It's right on Diamond's website.
Yeah.
That they go to college.
Wow.
So now, if you have industry folks,
Yeah.
talk to people in the industry. They're
Yeah.
going to get kids that aren't passionate about auto body,
Yeah.
because they're not going to be auto body.
Right.
They're going to college.
Right.
Then we got kids at Durfee that would love to go to auto body that don't get in because we picked the.
There you
So
go.
there's got to be
Yeah,
a
yeah,
real.
Well, I think a lot of the issue there too is Diamond can only fit so many people, so kids aren't getting their first, second, third trade. So now they're stuck in something; they're already there,
Yep.
and then it's like, well, I'll just go to college now because I didn't get what I wanted
Right.
anyway.
Right.
But there are when I worked for the military, we did it out in the North Shore, and what they did is it was all grants too. It was all free.
Yeah.
They bought the kids tools, they paid for the instruction, they paid for everything. The
Wow.
only thing you had to do was go there. 14-week programs,
Yeah.
and those kids could get the same trades as the trade school,
Oh, wow.
and they could.
Wow.
And
Because it was granted that way.
but it can't be during the day. So like it
Okay.
can't be during
Yeah,
his
night.
normal business hours. It has to be
Right,
like
right.
a night. Has to be like a night school thing.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the only stipulation that they had.
Sure.
So when we did that,
Yeah.
it was that program. So it is out there. It is doable.
Yeah.
As long as it's not the. So what he's saying is correct. But I'm pretty sure Diamond and Durfee's Culinary has the same cert, same hours.
Yeah,
same
I don't know
everything.
exactly the
I believe
reasons,
it's the
but-
same thing
Yeah.
because my
In
daughter
order-
did do it, and that was my questioning behind
Sure.
it. Like, what was the difference?
Right.
And it was the same.
How's her cooking?
certifications. When she does it, fantastic.
All right. listen, we got City Councilman Sean Kadim on the line. Sean
Oh,
Kadim,
boy.
welcome to the show, brother.
He's gonna scold me.
Bobby, how's it going?
Going amazing, bro. I got Kevin Aguiar and Boomer Amrall here in the studio with you, brother. Thank you so much for calling in. Really appreciate you,
Listen,
bro.
the only reason I called in was because Kevin Aguiar's there.
I heard
favorite
that.
school
I
committee
heard that.
member.
In that, and did you see the bat signal? I had the bat signal out all
I
day.
did.
All right, just making sure,
I
brother.
saw it.
How are you, my friend?
I'm just good. How are you?
Excellent, brother. Excellent. I don't know if you had a chance to hear what we were just discussing, but we were talking about the vocational options for our students, both, Diamond and Durfee. And, what are some of those barriers that, obviously we can offer some of that to Diamond, but we couldn't to Durfee for funding purposes. That's kind of the conversation at this point.
Yeah, I've been listening. Kevin's been educating everybody as he always does. So with that, I want to say, Boomer, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, buddy? How are you? Nice to hear you.
I just want to make sure I didn't leave you out.
It's okay. I'm used to it.
No, Kevin's doing a great job. I like the insight he's given. He's given a lot of insight that folks don't necessarily see from behind the scenes, and the frustration that I know he deals with and other elected officials have to deal with that the average voter doesn't get to see or understand.
Yeah.
And then we get labeled as being angry.
Yeah, that's usually anger and passion. The passion bleeds through, and if you're Portuguese, it's a little worse. But if you could interpret it right, you know exactly what people
Does
are
that
saying.
look like an angry guy? to you?
No,
Like,
no, not
he's-
at all, not at all.
He's doing his job.
Yeah, right.
He speaks out and he's sick of the getting the same runaround.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. It's not
Yeah.
anger. It's frustration and just trying to do his job.
Absolutely. And listen, I don't want to get too far off course, but Sean, the fact that I have you on the phone, I just wanted to run something by you. And we haven't spoken since, unfortunately, the Will Flanagan situation took place. And I just wanted to give you an opportunity to speak to that. I know that obviously we all wish the best for Will, and I hear he's doing amazing, which is awesome. But what an unfortunate situation. But I really wanted to get your take on it and how you felt about it.
Yeah, I think it was tough to hear, and just to watch that video was terrible. And the fact that it could happen to anybody, not that it just happened to Will, but the fact that Will is so known by so many, I think brings it right to the forefront and highlights issues that we've been talking about for a while. Obviously, we've got crime issues in the city, but a lot of it has to do with the judicial system, and how do we correct that? And I think you got the right person sitting across the way from you. He used to be a state rep, so he can speak about the legislative process that needs to change and things of that nature. But I'm just glad Will's doing a better, and I hear he's got a long road ahead of him.
Yeah.
It's just he's a tough guy. I think anybody that knows Will knows that he's a fighter, and I'm sure he's gonna pull through on this. But it's devastating to see.
Yeah, for sure. So, shifting a little bit, obviously November 3rd, November 4th tomorrow, big day for all of us. If you had to speak to your constituents, what would you say to them? What would you let them know, man?
I'd first of all, I don't care who you're voting for. I think the important thing is to actually get out there and actually vote.
Amen, brother.
Whether it's for, just for mayor, whether it's Boomer, Paul. If you don't want to vote for any school committee members or city council, that's your right. Put in a blank ballot if you want to. It's just we just got to get the numbers out there. People have to have their voices heard. I know this. Having a podcast, everybody wants to complain about the issues that's before us, but part of that process and having your voice heard is really going out to vote.
100%.
And I think it happens at a very local level. It's more impactful. Again, I think, Kevin, when you lost the state rep race by 6 votes.
Wow.
7. I thought.
How many votes?
I think it was like
7?
10 maybe or something like that.
I thought it was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's how close a race can be.
Right.
And,
Right.
I think Kevin can speak to it, to the loss, and when you have a loss like that, it's frustrating. But when you lose by 10 or 7 votes, and then you start going through the voter list and you start seeing that,
Bro, I'd be
you
so
have
mad at my
friends and
friends.
family.
I'd be so mad at my friends. I'd be like, I got 10
Yeah.
friends out there, you guys. Where are you? Where are you? Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the point of that story is to tell people that your vote does matter and it can have a real impact.
Sure. Well, sir, I just want to let you know that you have my vote, sir, and I will be voting your name tomorrow, along with
I appreciate that.
along with Robin, your sidekick, Cliff Ponte. I will also be writing his name down, brother. I appreciate you guys so much, and I am so grateful for the hard work and the things that you put together for the city. I mean, it's clear that we need leadership. Kevin's sitting across from me, man, and Boomer to my left, and it's so clear that the if you had one word for this whole election, it's leadership. We need direction and we need leadership, and I think we find that in you, and we find that in Cliff, and we find that even Louis. I was talking to Louis, man, and the more I talk to Louis, I appreciate him and I appreciate his ideas, man. He's a no bullshit kind of guy, and I really appreciate that. So a big day tomorrow for me too, man, and I just want to let everybody know, like we were talking earlier with Boomer, and we're going to be offering rides to people. So if people, my number's out there. So if people need a ride tomorrow, I'd be more than happy to pick people up and drop them off wherever they got to go to vote, because it's so very, very important, regardless of who you're voting to just get up and to voice your vote, right? That's the way we got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Nick, can I ask Sean a question? Can I ask Sean a question?
Oh, here we go. Don't let him do it, Bobby.
All right, I guess.
Hey, Sean, we were talking earlier about what needs to change in the city, and I had mentioned to Bobby and Boomer that I think that we need to hire the right person for the right job, no matter what, in every single, whether it's schools, city, private business, or wherever. And you, as a leader and a town administrator, just give us an example of when you had a vacancy for like an assistant town administrator. Did you hire who you felt was the best? Like, what would you go through that process, and how do we change that here to make sure that we get the best?
Yeah, I think it comes back down to what we just talked about, right? So it's about, number one, leadership, and then understanding, the position we're hiring. And I think I had this conversation with Bobby when I was on his podcast, that a lot of times, and this, Kevin, a lot of times we have people in positions who don't understand the job they're hiring for. So that's an issue to begin with. So I think, one, we need our leaders to be educated on the positions and understand the job descriptions, the tasks, the titles, the responsibilities associated with those positions, and then hire the right person, right? That's what it comes down to. And whether it's a committee, an internal committee that's reviewing applications, I think at the end of the day, you need to look at qualifications, work experience, education, things of that nature, and you got to treat it like a private organization. You gotta hire the right person. 100%. I think what you guys went through over on the school side with the superintendent was a travesty. I think Anna Riley was by far the most qualified individual to be superintendent, and just to see that process take place was a disgrace in my opinion.
And what do you feel, Sean? If you could just elaborate on that just a little bit, like it was a decision?
Yeah, the decision. I think anybody watching that school committee meeting, watching the interview process, right? Because not a lot of the interviews that you have, right, are not public. So when you start getting a superintendent position in the city of Fall River, you were able to watch every single interview, right? Because it was the school committee that was actually asking the questions and hiring who the next superintendent was going to be.
Okay.
So everybody had the opportunity to hear what the questions were, hear what the responses were, look at the individual's qualifications, and you can go back and watch that meeting. And I don't know how anybody picks anybody other than Anna Riley for that position. That's just me personally. And I've sat in on superintendent searches in Seekonk. I've been part of that process, asking questions, listening to responses, and I can tell you by far, she is head and shoulders by anybody that I've interviewed for the superintendent position.
Well, thanks for sharing that, man.
But to Kevin's point, it comes back down to making sure that you understand what your organization looks like, right? And part of it is also understanding the employees that you have. So sometimes you need different characteristics to be able to lead a team, right? Based on the individuals that you have around you.
Sure.
So I think a lot of that is important, and it comes back down to human resources. a significant problem that's been plaguing the school committee, and then also some issues on the city side as well. So having an HR professional who understands human resources, the hiring process, asking the right questions, consistent questions across the board to all the candidates is an important part of that too.
You know, and I think maybe we pick somebody that might be already here. Maybe somebody that's already tried and true and shows us that they're right, that they might be the right candidate, right? Maybe we, no?
I mean, I'm sure we have plenty that are qualified. They're just not in the right crowd
No,
to get the job.
right.
I'm sure.
Absolutely. I think if everything is equal, right? If everything else is equal, then you always want to go with the internal candidate, right?
Sure.
They understand your organization, you move forward. But that's assuming that everything else is equal.
Right.
Right. So.
See, I think Kevin would think differently. I don't want to speak for you, but I think Kevin is saying the best, right? The best.
No, I'd agree right with Sean.
Yeah,
I think Sean's right.
Okay.
I think that's what Sean's saying. I just don't think he verbalized.
What he was saying is that if it's equal. So if you go from let's say a vice principal to
scholar-wise, they're exactly the same.
They're exactly the
We're
same.
picking the
Same
hometown.
experience. We want to go
All
internal.
right, perfect.
And
I was looking at it education-wise. That's what I was doing.
But it's very difficult to get somebody that's equal.
Right.
And when you got a person like Anna Riley, 13 years as a superintendent, deputy commissioner of Rhode Island, like it's not even close.
I think Kevin's gonna be my next co-host. I love this guy. Like I walk him into every dude. He's perfect. Dude, you're good, man. I love this guy.
You said he was here. I was like, yeah,
Kevin.
I'm
Dude,
in.
I like this guy.
And she came up from the system, right? She started her career in Fall River.
Correct.
Right.
So she understands it from
right.
both ends, and she's
Talking
been
about
at
a
that
person
level.
Absolutely.
multilingual. She speaks Spanish and Portuguese. Came up as a teacher. She rose through the ranks. She taught in Catholic school. It's beyond anything. If you ever want to watch the meeting, do yourself a favor and watch that meeting because it was a travesty, and it's too bad that everybody turns it into, well, it's not political. Well, it is political.
Yeah.
You know, Paul Coogan told people
What was
while the thing was going on, this is my only chance to get Tracy Curley to be superintendent. That's a fact. So he tried to get her in. He tried to make the whole. He made his own search. He
fixed
did
the
his
board.
own
He
thing.
fixed it all.
Trust me when I tell you, it was a fact. I said it personally. I voted against the school committee association because of how they handle that thing. So anybody wants the facts, we got the
I
facts.
appreciate
on
you
your
being
side.
honest, Kevin, and saying just coming out and saying it, man. Because a lot of
Isn't
people
it so
don't. The truth is the truth. Like that's what this show is about. It's about speaking
And at
truth.
the same time, as I was disappointed in the pick. But I can tell you, and I'll look you in the eye, and I can put my head on a pillow at night to say that I gave Tracy Curley every single chance, including till today, that I continue to keep trying to give her a chance to answer the questions, to hold people accountable, to try. I'm still trying. I'm not one that just goes out. Somebody watches a meeting and says, oh, he's on her. I ask many questions. But I also ask many questions all month that don't get answered.
Sure.
Or they answered with a bunch of nonsense. So I'm tough, but at the same time, I've tried, and I continue to try because she is our superintendent. I want her to succeed because I want the kids to succeed, and that's the way I'm going to keep going about it.
I love it. Boomer?
And Bobby,
Go
two
ahead,
things. I'm sorry, two things. One, I don't think people recognize too, and Kevin will remember this. I think it was back in 2006, 7. Anna Riley was actually the principal for 2 schools at the same time, 2 elementary schools. So we had lost the principal. There was an underperforming school. She stepped in and she was actually acting principal for both schools. So that speaks to volumes. To what Kevin was talking about,
That's a tough one to lose.
He's and Kevin's pretty consistent. So I will say that when we went to go hire a superintendent after Nick Fisher, I wanted to go outside and have a nationwide search. Kevin felt that Meg Neal Brown was qualified and was the best person internally, and he voted for that person, and he was right. I thought Meg did a great job. She was a great choice. I just felt like we needed to go outside, but Kevin recognized that we had somebody internally, and it made more sense to do somebody internally. So he can see when it's right to do somebody internally, or when the system is needed. We need to go outside to find the person that we need to lead the system.
That's gotta be a tough one to lose, though, right? Like you say, hey, I'm gonna step up, and I'm gonna be principal for 2 schools, and I'm gonna show you guys that I can do this, and I am all in. And then the time comes to be like, hey, thanks for all you did, and we're kind of like, no, we're gonna go with the other one.
I think the handwriting was on the wall. It wasn't when you have school committee members that brag about, I do everything the mayor says, and you get one candidate telling other candidates that, what do you expect? So I was disappointed.
But I see patterns, though.
So everybody says I make this stuff up. That's coming. Like he's been here. He knows
but this is
right?
patterns, right? Didn't they do this with the police chief? Didn't they do this with the chief, police?
Yes.
Like it's the same.
He does it
right?
with everybody he puts in positions.
You know who I was most
Everyone.
disappointed for? It wasn't for Anna Riley. It was for the kids that we keep fighting for, because she would have the leadership. She would have the vision to do what we all say we need to do. So I was disappointed, not for her. She's a superintendent currently.
Yeah.
She's got a great job.
Yep.
So now she's going to be on the school committee after tomorrow. And then I'm looking forward to working with her so that we can finally start to make some changes that need to be made. And really, I think it was a no-brainer at the time. But Anna's going to be a great school committee member. And I really need somebody to support us with those questions.
Sure.
And Anna and I don't agree on
But
it.
it's just going to be a constant reminder every time we watch a school committee meeting that we could have had her as the superintendent for the city of Fall River.
It's going to be like a
That's
breath
the
of
hard
fresh
part.
air, but you're going to look back and be like, all the years we've lost of someone who genuinely cares about our kids, where our education system would be today if this isn't what we did. That's the sad part. Like, that's the reality, right? It's not what you have. It's what you know you lost all this time. The fact that she still wants to run in this city and still help this city says all you need to know about her character, right?
Regardless of that,
after
I still
everything
want,
they've done to her, she's still trying to help our children. That says a lot.
It does
like
say
a lot
that.
of people, like, you know what? I lost the election. People spoke.
Yeah,
I'm done.
screw 'em out.
You know
Yeah,
what?
screw
Screw them. I'm not working for these people anymore.
Right.
She's still fighting to find a way to do what's best for our kids. That's exactly who I want in charge of my kids.
Amen to that. Amen to that. And just real quick, can we talk a little bit about the chief of police? Sean, we got you on the phone for a second. I just want to touch this a little bit. And we obviously that was a big to do, right? Well, Kevin, in your words, like almost a coup, right? Like we would say,
Not almost.
it was
I
a
would
coup.
say it was a coup.
There it is. Perfect.
It was
I
a
just
coup.
wanted you to say it. I don't want to
And,
speak for you, bro.
It was a coup. It was a coup by Mayor Coogan and Seth Aiken, working with the union behind his back as the chief. It was unfair. And we're going to end up, the city's going to end up costing a lot of money again.
Can you mind talking a little bit about the detail? Because
Another
I
lawsuit?
don't know that people know this. I don't think a lot of people know what happened. I don't think a lot of people knew
I
what
can
took
only
place.
tell you what I
Whatever.
see from
Yes,
outside.
exactly. Yes.
Paul Garvin was doing what he needed to do based on what the mayor told him to do. Get the job. Fall River Police have had a whole bunch of controversies over the years. So he gets hired to do a job, was told, okay, just let me do the job, do what I got to do. Hold the line. Sometimes that means you have to, doing the right thing, you may have to go against the union in certain places or whatever. He did that with fidelity. Coogan made a coup. So Coogan wanted to get his friend Kelly in as the chief, and Paul Garvin as the chief wouldn't do certain things that he wanted him to do. So Seth Aiken and Paul Coogan set it up. They told basically everybody in the station, we're coming down. They're the ones that got the no contest vote against Coogan. They were behind it, against Garvin. And at the end of the day, what they did to Paul Garvin was inappropriate. And I got involved in that a little bit with the guns. My dad had some guns that Paul had. They made him make a big issue of it. At the end of the day, that was disrespectful to my family. And Paul Coogan knows it. But Paul Coogan, when you ask him something, he just starts to laugh or tries to make some other way around it. So I lost a lot of respect for Paul Coogan, the way he handled that situation with Paul Garvin. And I know it was a coup. Everybody's going to know it was a coup. And what's happening now in the station is not okay either. And people need to start opening their eyes to what's really going on. And ultimately, the mayor is in charge. He chose who he wanted, and that's the problem. And in my mind, no doubt it was a coup. I brought up the issue in the school department over 3-4 months ago that the chief, when she was an SRO, said something to both her assistant deputy chiefs and Paul Garvin at a bar one day about 10 years ago, that the mayor is covering up sexual inappropriate behavior at Durfee High School. She said this in front of Barton Castro, the deputy chief, J.T. Hoare, the current deputy chief, and Paul Garvin. So I got wind of that. I sent the mayor a letter. I sent the superintendent a letter saying, please investigate this because you got to get to the bottom of it. Whatever happened, get to the bottom of it.
Yep.
I've sent 4 emails to the superintendent since, 3 emails to the mayor, and he's never investigated it once. No comments, no nothing.
Come on.
So that's going on 4 months that we talked about in it, and it's public record. I read it as a citizen input time.
Right.
So that's what we have here. We have somebody that can't lead. If she didn't do it, she didn't say it, then do an investigation and you say it. But instead, they choose to investigate the wrong people and they let the other people off. But make no mistake about it, it was a coup on Paul Garvin.
Wow.
Yeah, and there was a personal attack by the police chief on Paul Garvin, because I've had conversations with Mayor Coogan and Paul during the time, and I think everybody knows that, you know, Paul's leadership style is that he wants everybody to get along. He doesn't like confrontation. He doesn't like when people are upset. as Kevin had mentioned, the union was having some issues with Paul because he was holding people accountable. And I've said this before, for some strange reason, accountability is a dirty word in today's society. But Paul was holding people accountable. At some point, the mayor and Paul weren't necessarily seeing eye to eye in terms of leadership for the police department. And Paul took the high road. Paul resigned his position, had an agreement to go back as a captain, and that's the agreement that was going to be taking place. And he was going to take some time off. And before he was even able to get back, the police chief didn't want him in the office. And then we get this whole bullet. We get all this other,
Nonsense.
Accusations and investigations that take place that should have never have taken place.
Right.
It's just it's an unfortunate situation, and it's nobody should be treated that way.
Yeah. I never knew the truth
Especially
because there was so much noise out there. Like
Yeah, what
there
you
were
missed is
bullets,
just-
there were knives, there
What you
were.
missed that Sean just said is something that's very important for
Okay.
people to understand.
Okay.
Is that Chief Garvin took the high road. He agreed to resign his position with the mayor and Seth Aiken. And in his contract, it said he was going to come back as a captain. He had made that agreement with them. They just took that information, and then in the middle, they didn't want him in the station because Kelly didn't want him. Chief Kelly didn't want him. So then they trumped up these charges to keep him out of the station. The mayor knows it, Seth Aiken knows it, and everybody's going to know it soon enough at the end of the day. And that's the problem.
And
Sean just said that
and
when
Kevin-
you happened to step
Okay.
off. So
And Kevin isn't wrong. That's $1 million settlement all day, every day.
Now the seven-figure settlement coming to the
Wow.
city tax.
You know what though? I mean, I think the $1 million is the less of all this, right? I think what does it do to the force, right? Like you have these people are literally risking their lives every single day. They put that uniform on, right? And they're showing up every single day, and they don't have the leadership that they should have. They don't have the direction that they should have. I
And
happen.
that's why they have unions voting with 7 to 9 people on a board instead of the whole force, instead of doing forums for their endorsements, right? When did they never had a forum? I ran for city council the last 2 elections, and they've always had forums for the mayor and city council. Yeah, I'm sure Sean can attest. I'm sure everybody can attest to it. Right?
Yeah.
They've always done forums. This year they don't do a forum. I wonder why that is.
Wow.
Never met me, never talked to me. And then it's like, well, Boomer didn't reach out and ask us for an endorsement. Why would I? Wouldn't you want to interview somebody that's going to potentially be in charge of the city that you're supposed to? So every cop that I know, every cop that's out there, they never sent that out to us. That wasn't they never asked us for a vote. What do you mean? Like I said, I know exactly what happened. But that's how it works, right? When you handpick your people, when you fix these boards, you get what you get. Yeah. And that's a problem every day under his leadership. Every board. You can name a board. Doesn't matter. He hand selects his people and gets his way the whole time.
Right.
And look where the city is.
Yeah, I think it's obvious. I think
Right? It's not rocket
I
science.
don't think
The
I
results
think
are there.
what we're doing here is we're giving the story to what we already know. We know what the end is. We're living the end of the story. The question is how did we get here?
Yeah, like say for instance, so this whole thing comes up. I watched the other day. The mayor said that he had a interview process with the HR director and Seth Aiken to talk about the thing. But what he failed to say was that when he interviewed supposedly the 2 deputies, he just told them, "Can you come to my office?" So they came to the office like they're working. They just came to their office because they thought a man wants to talk to me. Kelly Furtado, the chief, shows up in her dress blues because she knew it was an interview. The only one that knew it was an interview was the chief who he was setting up to get the job. The other 2 guys made to be like stooges to just show up to make it look good.
Set them up to fail.
It was really just inappropriate to those gentlemen. And at the end of the day, we have to be better. We have to do better. And at the end of the day, tomorrow's an election. I hope that we just make some changes. Yeah. But we all need to move forward. And, Paul Garvin as a chief is moving forward. He's doing what he has to do to get his job back. Yeah. We as a city, talk about a union endorsement. So I didn't get the teachers union endorsement. At the same time, they did the same thing.
Which is crazy, by the way. Can I just say that? I've seen that. The fact that Kevin Aggie did not get endorsed.
Right? What does that tell you?
So they basically have a little group of 18 people, 15 people who were part of the negotiation, whatever it is.
I don't think it was that
We
many.
all gave the answers to the questions, and then we sent it out. Teachers didn't get a vote. So then they just said, this is who we endorsed. And then now teachers are giving the president a hard time saying, how did you endorse these people but not those people?
Teachers are not having
Anna Riley didn't get endorsed by the teachers union, I believe. I'm not even sure. Maybe I'm not.
The teachers are not happy.
Whatever it was,
From what I hear
at
and
the end of the
see,
day, it
not
wasn't a big thing like to vote. So endorsements don't really mean much as far as I'm concerned. It's the people. Make a difference every day. Get the people out to vote. To Sean's point, let's get everybody out to vote tomorrow, no matter who you vote for. We can't have an 8% turnout or 10% turnout.
No way.
That's an
No way.
embarrassment.
Kevin, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you think these are the actions of one man?
No, I think he's got people around him that doing, Seth Aiken, the city administrator, he participated in it. All of a sudden now he wants to run for DA, and he's telling everybody how this and that, the mayor forced him. No, the mayor didn't force him. He made some poor decisions as an administrator. But get back to the point. Hire the right people. We haven't had a city administrator in this city that is actually qualified to be the city administrator. And some of it might be pay. We don't pay enough money for certain positions. When Sean was here, when Will Flanagan was mayor, Will picked Sean. Will was successful as a mayor because of Sean, because he was the right person to be the city administrator.
Right.
But now you're not going to get a guy like Sean to come back and be mayor or city administrator.
You got Sean at the right time. You got Sean right at the right time. Yeah, you're not going to get this Sean today. You're not going to.
If you need to raise the fee, raise it so you get the best person.
So you can get the Sean.
Remember you talked about you broke your leg?
Yes.
You want to go to the surgeon who's not making money? No, you hire the best that you can and what you have. So paying $145,000 for a city administrator is crazy. Paying $118,000 or $120,000 for a mayor is crazy because you're not going to get somebody like a Sean, like a CEO of a company to come in here for $220,000, whatever they're making, and take a $100,000 pay cut to be mayor of Fall River. Paul Coogan knows it. The city council should know it. These things need to change so we actually pay the right amount of money for the right people. I believe, like Sean does, at some point we got to look at a town manager under the government like he's working, because you can actually afford to pay a person. $118,000 and you never put a kicker on it, 2%, 3%, you just keep it low.
Yeah, right.
You're never going to get it.
Yeah, not motivating anybody.
Didn't the city council vote for that to keep it low?
Yeah.
Sean,
Sean, I got to make another call to somebody.
Not me.
I just want to give you an opportunity, brother, to address the audience. If you have anything to say before we let you go.
No, I appreciate it. Just again, go out there, vote tomorrow. The polls are open all day, so if you can just go out there and vote, and I'd ask for your support as one vote out of 9 councilors. I'd appreciate it. And Kevin, best of luck. Boomer, best of luck.
Thank you, Sean, you too.
It's always a pleasure.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate you, brother.
Take care, guys.
All right, see you soon, man.
All right. Bye.
So we're clear, I will be voting for Sean as well. So
nice.
I'm not afraid to say who I support. I support people who genuinely care about the city and want what's best.
And I just want to add something to what you said. Like, obviously, we're not going to get a CEO to a company to be the mayor of the city, but the difference in that is the passion. You get the passion. You get somebody that really cares about this city. I think it can make a lot of a difference. You know what I mean? Granted, I know we're looking for the top educated individual, but you got to have some heart. You got to have some soul in there.
Yeah, and also, I think the end of the day, when Paul Coogan became mayor 6 years ago, I had a conversation with him, and what I told him was, you don't need to know, and he was just running at the time, you don't need to know everything, but you have to put the right person in as a city administrator that knows all of these different pieces, which is a complicated job.
Yes.
And he hasn't done that over the years, and I think that's one of our biggest faults. We don't have stability in those positions.
Stability in any of his positions.
So that's the problem. And I told him, and I'll tell Boomer the same thing. This gentleman's running for mayor, but doesn't know everything about everything.
No.
But what he should do is get the right person to come in as a city administrator that has the experience, pay him accordingly, go to the council, change the salary, whatever you got to do, because that's going to save that entire salary if you hire the right person. But you're not going to get it for $150,000 in this day and age. So my advice would be to get the best and the brightest.
Question
Amen
for
to
you.
that.
What if you eliminated that position and a solid corporation council handled it all?
I think that's a tough one because the Corporation Council has a whole slew of other.
They do. But I mean, the city
responsibilities.
administrator, let's be real, aside from negotiating the union contracts, what else is he doing?
Well, I don't know what the current one's doing.
Because
Currently it's vacant. Well,
currently it's vacant. Currently he's on vacation because nobody's doing anything.
What I would say to
But
that
when I
Boomer
asked
is-
the last ones, that's literally they said
What I
was
would
mostly
say-
the job.
What I would say is the guy who we just left the phone, if you ask me what he did,
Yeah.
because I was a state rep when he was a city administrator.
Yep.
He didn't just negotiate contracts. He ran every department. He had systems in place working with
Yep.
the mayor. He managed the financing. So you almost could get rid of some of your finance people. In the city of Fall River, we got multiple finance
Don't worry
people
about it. They all left too, so it's fine.
But
There's plenty of room.
But I would go back to a guy like Sean and say, when you were here, what did you do?
Yes.
And basically,
Yes.
you're the department head of all departments, and that you're holding people accountable. There's so much nonsense that goes on everywhere in all these departments. You need
course.
somebody in charge that actually holds people
filter that.
accountable. You
Yes.
have your thing. And Seth Aiken wasn't the right guy, in my opinion. But he also was just coming up. He was new. He was learning on the job.
Yeah, right.
You know,
right.
Seth's history was he was an attorney, and that's a hard job to just jump into.
To just jump in if it's not
right.
municipal
But at the end
law
of the
and things
day,
like
if you
that,
don't
and-
pay,
No,
you know,
I get it.
all town administrators are getting over $200,000 no matter where they are.
Mm.
Yeah.
You're not going to get one to come here for 140 grand.
Right.
So
But
that's
why
the
am I going to
problem.
leave that for the right?
And that's
exactly.
really what I
Especially
think
private
has to-
practice law, like you can print your own money. You
And
know,
it's,
like, why
it is
would
a
you?
hard one to go to the public and say we need to pay somebody $200,000 to be the city administrator is a tough vote. But if you know it and you're passionate about it and you prove where you're going to get that money from, you hire the top person. You don't need 4 people under them that are going to be assistants to this or that. So there's ways to
Oh,
work
absolutely.
it.
Yeah.
And
The fluff will go.
Yeah.
For
so
sure.
I think it's definitely something.
The
but
money's there. The
Sean
fluff
did a
will
great
go.
job as a city.
I like Sean. Yeah.
he's-
Strong guy.
I think he's overqualified for what he does for us. So I think
that's a good thing.
I think he could do a
Yeah,
ton
that's a
more
good
for
thing.
us. But
Yeah.
I mean, why would he? Right?
Yeah.
Like he's got a great job. He's doing.
You guys
great.
want to shift a little bit?
course.
Shift, and then we'll kind of
Shift
get it. We'll get
whatever
into.
we
Look, I know there's some
We
really
can close
important
that
stuff
door
we want to
downstairs,
talk
though. It's
about.
chilly up here.
It was chilly up here.
I'm just saying, Jody Joe.
All right, I got to call. I'm going to call a buddy of mine.
Close that door down.
I got to call a buddy of mine.
Uh-oh.
Let's see if he answers the phone. Because you know how it is these
Guys
days.
always
You know
throwing
what I mean?
surprise guests at me.
Yeah, well, you know.
You can get me in trouble.
Hey, Bobby, how are you?
Mayor Will Flanagan,
Oh,
welcome
snap.
to the show, my friend. You are amazing, and I'm so happy to hear your voice, and it warms my heart, brother.
Well, it's great to be on the show with you, and great to be able to hear your voice and to also speak with you.
Well, I appreciate you, brother. Well, I want to let you know that we have Kevin Aguiar here. You know Kevin, right?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Of course,
Absolutely.
Kevin and I go way back.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, you know Boomer Amaral. He's sitting here as well with us, just sitting in.
Will, nice to hear your voice, buddy.
Great, Boomer. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Well, listen, I just want to say thank you so much. I know that your time is very sensitive, and obviously you're going through a lot right now, and nothing I can even imagine. So I just want you to know how much it means to me and the audience that you're here. And wanted to give you the microphone, brother. And I wanted you to just address the people of the city. You're a hero, brother. You're so important to the city, and it matters. It matters what you think, and it matters what you say. And I know that going through something like this sometimes changes your mindset, brother. But if anything else, I just see this amazing love pouring from you and from where you're coming from. And I just would give you the opportunity to take the stage, brother.
Well, Bobby, thank you. And the attack just reaffirmed my faith in God, made it stronger. There's no doubt in my mind of a heaven. There's no doubt in my mind of a God in Jesus. And when you talk about Fall River, it moved my heart. It brought me to tears that strangers, people who I didn't even know, were praying for me.
We love you,
And-
Will. We love you, brother.
Oh, no. Thank you, Bobby. And, I was born and raised in the city. I was a kid coming up in the streets of Fall River. And Fall River is the best city in the world. And even though there was this Corey Gonzalez who attacked me, that doesn't shake my faith in God. And nor does it shake my faith in the city.
So obviously recovery for you is going to take some time, but I know you've got some time to yourself. Have you been thinking about the future and some of the things that you still might want to get into when you finally recover?
I haven't. All the focus has really been on health and wellness. Just to give you some background, Bobby, October 20th, I was placed on life support. And on October, I think 27th, the doctors were going to perform a tracheotomy. On that Saturday, I was able to breathe on my own by nothing short of a miracle.
Wow.
So, nowhere out of the woods yet. The doctors check in on me every day.
Yeah.
The nurses visit me every day. I got to do things like PT and OT and learning how to swallow again and
Wow.
making sure I don't aspirate. So, the knife wounds hurt, but my mind is strong and my heart's strong.
For sure. I can hear it. Boomer, you want to?
Listen, I envy the man. Like I said, he's a symbol of strength for the city. he saved this city by unfortunately being the man that he is, right? Because if this happened to anyone else, we never would have known. It never would have mattered. This man, till the day, is still the reason the city can move forward and get ahead, and knows the dark side of what's really going on, and unfortunately, almost costing his life.
Well, Will, I know what you're saying, but
It's
Will,
wild,
your presence here is profound, brother. Like
just
that,
being
right?
who-
Your
just
purpose
being
is
who he
profound,
is
brother.
Still
Yes,
saved
yes.
this city
Thank
from
you.
the unknown. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like, how do you not look at that and just when you say God forsaken things of it's being exaggerated because of who it is, it's like because of who it is.
Yeah.
The people now know there's a real danger out there, and they can prepare and be aware, right? Like
Yep.
people let their guard down when that doesn't happen.
Sure.
You almost like,
I-
thank God it was somebody so well known, but it's like that sucks that it was somebody that's so well known for being such a good person. You know what I mean? That sucks, right?
Right.
If it was a criminal,
Boomer,
everybody knew,
thank
nobody
you.
would care. But like, Will saved this city, and everything that happened to him,
100%.
unfortunately,
100%.
it's almost like God chose him
Yes.
right here, right now,
Yeah.
to speak for the people.
Will, your
again.
purpose is divine, brother. Your
You know,
purpose is
it's-
divine, brother.
And
I want you
that's
to
how
know
I
that.
see it. I don't care what anybody
100%.
says. That's how I
100%.
see it. If it wasn't for Will, we wouldn't know anything about the realities of what's going on.
Well, can I tell you, you lit a fire inside of me, brother. Like I was already passionate for the city, and then you lit an absolute fire inside of me, brother. And I've never been more determined than ever before.
Well, I am happy to hear that. And to the people who are listening, you have to be aware of your surroundings. Now, I never saw it coming. I never heard it coming. I was attacked from behind. You almost have to have eyes behind the back of your head. You can never let your guard down. You got to be aware where you are. You know, I'm not telling people not to live their life. Every day is a gift to me, and I'm going to live life to the fullest every day I get. But it's you got to be aware of your surroundings. This morning, I woke up to the attack in I believe London on the subway system.
Yeah.
You know, 30 days ago, we saw the Ukrainian girl on the train who was stabbed in the neck. This maniac barely missed my artery. Okay,
Wow.
you're a little to the left or you're a little to the right, and my 5-year-old and 4-year-old are going to my funeral. You know,
Jeez.
so it's to come close to death and escape it. I'm thankful to God for that.
Will, quick question. I mean, not to get into the details or anything, but somebody had mentioned that you had ran into this person at the convenience store. Did you have an interaction with him at the convenience store before your walk?
Negative. Never seen him
Negative.
before. Never heard him comment. Never saw him.
No kidding. Jeez, man.
First time I had any interaction with him was when he whacked me on the left side of my face.
Wow. And you know what? And it's so hard to conceptualize that, brother, that you're completely without any interaction, nothing, and completely at random, this person just decides to do such a heinous act. And again, and
look at the poor Ukrainian girl. Oh, just because she sat in that chair, she was stabbed in the neck.
Will, and people, you know what? You know what the difference is? Okay, I'm so glad you said that, Will, because there's a difference in these two situations, and I'm going to say this. In your situation, Will, when you turned and you looked for help, there were people there that were willing to help you. There were people that were wrapping you in scarves. There were people that wanted to stop you from bleeding. That poor Ukrainian girl was on that train, and people watched her die, and not one single person stood up to go help her. To me, that made the difference. Would you agree?
I do. I'm so fortunate for those senior citizens. Everything except for the attack, everything was perfectly executed, from the police to the fire to the EMTs to the senior citizens to taking me to St. Luke's to the trauma team. Everything, it was textbook, as if you're going to do a tabletop exercise. It all went to plan. The poor Ukrainian girl, she didn't have that.
Nothing.
That luxury, okay?
Right.
They left her there to bleed,
Yeah.
to bleed to death, a horrible way to die by a stab wound. It breaks my heart, Bobby. It breaks my heart.
Yeah. Well, Will, and potentially I may have the next mayor sitting to my left, and I'm going to ask him a question right now. My question is I was not aware that we did not have a trauma unit here in Fall River.
Yeah, no, the closest ones are St. Luke's and Rhode Island Hospital.
Wow.
Yeah.
And given
Correct.
the populace of 100,000 people, do we not think that we have, like, that would maybe be a good
Of course
idea?
we should. Of course we should.
Well, there's only 2 in the state, I believe. There's one in New Bedford and one in Western Mass.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
It's the only 2.
Wow.
And then obviously Rhode Island has.
Yeah.
theirs.
Yeah. Wow. Well.
Yeah,
went
we
to
don't
Rhode
make the
Island.
Washington Street Bridge though.
No, no, you don't trust that.
Exactly. And I know that you mentioned that obviously the first responders made that critical decision of taking you to St. Luke's Hospital, and that decision in itself saved your life.
Yes, yeah, one of the many. Yeah.
Wow.
And I went there that night after we were in the
Yep.
the meeting and everything else.
Thank you.
I went there that night. And let me tell you, his wife's family, every bit as strong as he is. Like to sit there in the unknown and not get the updates and just waiting and there's still no answers. I was very, very impressed. Honored obviously to be there with them.
Sure.
But your family is strong, Will. Your whole family is just as tough, and
Thank you.
You should absolutely be proud of that. And I'm proud to have just been able to be there. Honestly.
Yeah. Without my support system, I'm nothing, Boomer.
Yeah, no, I
Amen.
get that. I get that. That's how I feel about my kids. So I get it for sure. But they, I was flawed, honestly. So I'm just glad you're okay.
Yeah, man.
There's
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine going through that. Obviously, my medical stuff is my medical stuff, but like that's a vicious attack,
Sure.
And I'm just glad you're okay. I'm glad you survived. Thank God you did, and thank you again for still.
Thank you.
Showing
Thank you
the
for
city
caring.
what we have for sure.
Thank you for caring. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, well, I have Kevin Aggie out here in the studio with us, and he'd like to say a few words.
Yeah, well, thanks for being on. I'm glad to hear your voice. We all love you. We want
Thank
the
you,
best.
Kevin.
We want
Same
the
here.
best for you. I think what we all have to do now with a situation like this that happens is to take this as an example of what we need to change, because there's a lot of systems in this state that don't make any sense related to the
You know that firsthand.
supports that we have for people that are mentally ill. All those type of things need to be looked at by the state, and we need to not just let this go and not say, hey, we got to figure out why was this the case. And I think that's
Bobby,
what
let me
we're
say
trying to do.
this. Not only is Kevin a great member of the school committee, but he was also, if not a better state representative, he knows the issues at the state level, the issues with DMH, the issues with the judicial system. And, at one time we had hospitals for people who were mentally ill.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those hospitals, if not all of them, have now been closed. Maybe it's time to start reopening them and getting people the help they need.
100%. 100%.
So, Will, we love you, and go hug
Love
those
you,
little
Kev.
go hug
Love you,
those little
Bubba.
kids tonight. Read them a quick story, and
Very tight.
get well soon, my friend.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Will, real quick before you go, buddy, I just want to give you an opportunity to address the citizens of the city. If there's anything you want to say to them before you say goodbye to us.
I just want to say I love you. Thank you for the cards, for the letters, for the texts, for the messages, for the support, for the prayers, to people the strangers, people who I knew. It's overwhelming. You guys brought me to tears. You made me cry, and you brought me a sense of peace in a moment of unpeacefulness. And I do believe God hears those whispers, and that's why I'm here today.
You've given a lot to the city, Will, and I think we just want to give a little back to you, brother. You know what I mean?
We're not done yet, Bobby. We're not
100%.
done yet, I guarantee
So,
you
hey,
that.
listen, are you getting an absentee ballot? Did they give you an absentee ballot?
Yes, they will have one delivered to me if I can't make it to the polls.
Well, and if you need one, I would personally deliver one to you if you need it, my friend.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Will, thank you so much for this time. I'm grateful for you, and so thankful. Like this is right? The idea that I get to hear your voice, brother. I'm just
Honored.
completely honored, brother. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Good luck
Listen,
tomorrow.
hey, happy
Thank you, sir.
Thanksgiving, bro, to you and your family, brother. Enjoy. Big turkeys.
If I don't hear you from them, yes, happy Thanksgiving and good luck, guys, tomorrow on the ballot.
All right, brother.
you, sir.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Will.
Thank you.
All right,
okay,
bye-bye.
thanks. Bye-bye.
How crazy is that?
That's awesome.
Right?
That's awesome.
Right.
I'm glad he can talk and just be, you know what I mean? Like, that's awesome.
I just wanted an opportunity, and I'm not throwing any hate at anybody. He did some interviews. That's fine. I just thought they were very impersonal, and I didn't want to do an interview with him. I just wanted to talk to him. I just wanted to hear his voice, and I wanted people to hear his voice. And I wanted to hear his kids in the background. That was my hope. That's all I wanted today, you know. So
Nice.
if there's one thing I was asking for all year long, brother, that
Are
was
you
it.
done with
And
surprises for the night, though?
well, I might not really. We're still working on a couple more, but until then, we can get into some more conversations. You know what I mean?
Well, like Will said, I do agree, and I think as much as I love Kevin on the school committee, I don't think we're getting the best that Kevin can offer.
Really?
The state as a whole.
Yeah.
I do hope at some point he gets back to that want to be at that level, because I think we can benefit from someone who genuinely cares about everyone and wants what's best. And I think he would fight for us and not fight for the clique. You know, I think he would fight as one of the people. So if you ever do get involved, let me know so I can absolutely help on those campaigns, because I would be honored to, honestly.
Yeah, I had some interactions with the current, and they weren't good. Like I was, you know, I'm a
Nope.
you know, I'm a people person. So if I approach you and I
in, they
introduce
don't know
myself,
you.
I expect that maybe you might as well, and that just doesn't seem to be the
If
case.
they don't know you, you're not part of it. It's you know, it's high by and you know, generalizations.
I mean, obviously, I don't want to put you on the spot. I hate doing like these questions where you're like, oh,
It does
well,
it to me all the time.
I know, but what do you really enjoy? Like, is it both? Do you prefer
Just
the
lie to
state
my face.
rep?
No, so when I lost the race,
I love you, buddy.
when I lost the state rep race, it was only by, I think, 10 votes. We had a recount, didn't go anywhere. So at that point, my career was in schools. I was a school counselor, went right back to doing that. And I've been in education ever since. And that's where getting back on the school committee was important, because it gave me both sides. I can still make a difference. I can still serve the people.
Yeah.
But I'm also in a career now that I enjoy. I currently work as the principal of Westport Elementary School.
Oh, wow.
So I deal with little ones every day. It's unbelievable. It's a great job. So I love my job. And in the meantime,
You have great energy, sir. Anybody tell you that? You do.
No.
You have great energy. You do.
well, some people say I don't, but yeah.
No, you
appreciate
do,
that.
man. You're very calming energy. I feel very calm. Talk like I feel it. I feel it.
Thank you.
What do we got here?
I don't know. It's unknown. I don't trust it.
Do you guys want to take a call?
I'll take whatever.
All right, we're gonna take a call. This is the citizen calling. Oh wait. Oh, they hung up. So we don't have to take it. They changed their minds.
So
But
what
I
I
will.
was going to say,
Go
Bobby, was that we ended up you'll lose an election, pick yourself back up, get into your career, do all that stuff. Fast forward a few years, I married my wife, Marianne, who I met at one of the schools.
Oh, congratulations.
So that was sort of a good that came out of a bad situation.
Right.
5-6 years later, we have a baby, little Nicholas. So things have changed for the better in a lot of ways. So he's 3 years old now, and I'm not changing anything.
Bro, I say all the time, all roads lead here, right? All that.
So you might have seen on Facebook, my wife posted today that we dropped our ballot off into the little voting booth, and my son picked his hands up and put it in. It was so cute.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so that's basically what I'm doing now. Who knows in the future, but for the next 10 or so years while he's growing up, I'm going to be there for him and my wife and keep doing what I'm doing on the school committee.
Nice. How about you, Boomer? Bless you.
I think I'm just so like everything calming all at once right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think today was a calming day, and odd. Like everybody's like, "You're."
I talked to you early in the morning, bro.
Like,
You
oddly
seemed
calm.
very calm to me. Yeah,
and
right.
I don't normally get that, right? Like, you know, calm down. You're gonna be okay, right? You're yelling. No, I'm not. I'm Portuguese. You know, and you know, he's trying to make me that that Jordan, right?
Yeah.
It's what he does. He tries to get under your skin. He mentions my daughter every time. He has those tactics, right? I don't know. For me, I'm just like, I'm here.
Yeah.
Honestly, with 5 people, like the odds of getting there, like what was that, you know? You know, and Christopher was very popular, right? Obviously, Coogan's an incumbent. Very, very hard to get him out of there.
Sure.
He should be out of there. We think that, but if enough people don't come out, then we're never going to get that, right?
Yeah. Right.
But I don't know, man. I'm just...
Dude, it's not crazy when you think back of this whole race.
Yeah.
Like we had all these, like Christopher, Carlos.
I came on.
Like,
I was the first one to come
you
out,
were the
right?
first one to come
'Cause
on.
nobody wants to come out with
And, like,
plans. Everybody wants to cancel,
For me, it was
right?
like interview. Like I'm not into politics, so for me, it was like interview with these people. You know what I mean? Like I sat down and I talked to everybody, and not because you're sitting in the room. And I would say this. I would say this anywhere. I mean, you were honestly the most forthcoming. Like I'm talking to you, Kevin, and I feel your energy, and I'm feeling his energy. I'm like, this guy's being honest with me. He's not trying to. And it just, I don't know that I got that from the others. You know what I mean? Like everything was a cautious conversation. You know, I appreciate a cautious conversation, but the way that you gentlemen are speaking with me here tonight, this is what I appreciate. I respect the candor. Like, look, you could talk in circles and almost say something, but not say something. Well, then what good is that?
One, they're not confident that they even have a real idea or a plan. Look, the current mayor is literally using my plans that we had on your show.
The first episode.
And he's calling it his plan on
episode.
NBC 10. Like, what are you talking about? You never had a plan.
No.
And now you've been here for 6 years. If you've been here for 6 years, you shouldn't be coming up with a new plan.
Right.
You should have already had stuff in place for me to go against.
Right.
Sorry about that. Yeah. So let's be real. Like, he has nothing. Yeah. But the next thing is they're all cautious about what they say. Because they got to keep, when you lie, you have to maintain it.
Right.
And it's on video, right? That evidence is forever. It's always going to come back to haunt you. Somebody's going to bring it up. Oh, you said you were going to do this.
No.
They can't commit to that stuff. Everything I said I want to do, I'm going to publicly do or show you why I couldn't accomplish that. Whatever it may be. Do I think much of it that I can't accomplish? I don't think so. I think there's some things that it's like, okay, this might take a little bit more because I didn't realize how in-depth it goes, or if it's a state level thing or whatever it may be. But everything that I've said I wanted to do is really common sense leadership stuff. It's not like, yes, we want better schools. Okay, this is how we're going to implement that and work on that.
Take a call?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, we'll take a call.
I'll take whatever we got.
Welcome to the show.
When do I have a hide?
Hello.
Hello, who's this? Who's this?
My name is Mike.
Hey, Mike.
My name is Mike. Hey, how are you? I'm a longtime friend of Kevin Aguiar's.
Okay.
And I actually was a 20-year employee for the Fall River School Department as a custodian. So I could, I'm going back a little bit on the conversation.
Kind of losing you there.
Yeah. Well, you're in a bad zone.
I'm in the school department.
Oh, there you go. You're back.
Yeah. That hasn't happened for a long time.
Could you start over again, please? You broke up there for a minute. Could you just want to start again, please? I want to make sure we hear you.
Hold on 1 second. I need to take my headphone off.
Sure, buddy.
Better?
Much better. Much better.
Hello?
Yep, there you go. It's a live show.
Yeah, is that better?
Much better, sir.
So just backtracking to what Kevin said about hiring the best and the brightest. That's been a long time in the school department. I saw firsthand in my department how got jobs because of who they knew, totally unqualified, making decisions about buildings that they had no business being, in that position. And it's a detriment. I always tell people that custodian, we used to always pull turds out of I hate to say it like this, but we used to pull turds out of clogged toilets, and also we would pull morale out of the same toilets because morale was so bad.
Wow.
A couple of years ago, best thing I ever did, I left behind all the politics. I left behind the kids, and because I miss them so much, I actually drive a school bus now. But what I want to say about Kevin is he is passionate, about what he does on that school committee. And that's not known this guy my whole life. I knew his parents, his mom, his dad. Was a baseball coach. Just great people. His brother. Hey, his brother is a perfect example of hiring the best and brightest. His brother is doing a wonderful job working for the city of Fall River. He's smart and he's hard work. And those are the people we need to put in place.
I love that.
So you know what? Listen, no matter what Kevin does in his life, he's going to be a success because he's passionate about what he does.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
Wow. Mike, really appreciate you calling in and sharing that, man. That's very, very important. It matters. It really, really matters, especially now, man, because, again, the people that do the most say the least. You know what I mean? So the fact that you would call the show and speak for Kevin, I really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
Well, you know something, Bobby, to end this conversation, I will tell you that for years, all I heard out of people's mouths were, it's all about the kids. And Kevin hears this too all the time. It's all about the kids. It's all about the kids. And I'm going to tell you who makes it all about the kids. Besides the school committee members like them who are passionate about what they do to make sure the kids have what they need to succeed. Because like you said, the children are our future.
Yes.
At the end of the day, the people who make it about the kids are the teachers, are the kids, administrators that care, everybody that's in the trenches. And I'm sure Boomer, being an ex-military guy, he knows all about who you need in the trenches with you. So
Absolutely.
Right. Mike, thank you so much, man, for sharing that. That's some amazing insight, dude. I really, really appreciate that. And I hope the citizens are listening and hear that loud and clear when they're making their vote tomorrow.
Exactly. You
Thanks
guys
again,
have a
Mike.
good night.
Have a great night.
Brain Mike's, appreciate it.
You too, buddy.
Only
Bye,
want the
guys.
best with me, especially in the environment that I come from.
Wow.
Lives are on the line every day, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
only want the best.
Yeah.
When I'm even in recruiting, right? When I'm sending this, 18, 19-year-old kid and I'm telling his family that we're going to put him with the best and we're going to make sure that he's got the best around him. If I'm going to war, I want to go to war with the best people around me.
100%. Yes.
It is what it is.
Unknown
I don't want
caller.
somebody who just did good on a test. I want somebody who understands,
Yep.
like, this is our brotherhood, brothers, sisters, whatever it may be. Because now, it's men and female. When I say brotherhood, it's everybody. Just so we're clear, I don't need the craziness coming after me. But that's what I mean when I say that. And when I tell you I want the best of the best in my life and taking care of my kids is exactly what I want in City Hall. And when people see the team that I'm assembling and the team that I already have,
Yep.
I think they're going to understand exactly what I stand for.
Welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. Who's this?
This is John. I got a quick question about what you were saying before, Bobby, that of the media coverage. Do you think, what is your views on how the media coverage was during this mayoral run?
You know what? I think the media coverage is confused. I think we've been doing things for so long the same way that we just expect that the news is going to come to us from like the Herald News and WSAR. And the truth is, the information is so skewed, bro. And that's the reason why. Look, I'm not a political show. And the reason I'm doing this is because there's such a void for the truth. Like, I'm not picking sides here. Like, I interviewed all the candidates. I had the opportunity as a manager to interview these candidates, and boom, I got the job. That's the bottom line. And if it had been somebody else that got the job, they'd be sitting in that chair. It's just that simple. I had a very rare opportunity. Not many people have a chance to sit down across from somebody, look them in the eye, and speak to them for like 3 hours. So you learn, like 4, but you learn something about people. And so this is me just saying, hey, this is my perception. This is what I'm seeing. I have a passion for the city. I have children. I love this place. And so for me, I want who's best. Right. And I'm going to surround myself. I keep saying I'm going to the moon, brother, and I'm going to surround myself with astronauts. And so that's what I'm doing here.
That's what it's all about.
Yes, brother. So if people are watching the show, I want to be the example.
Podium I'm seeing.
Well, I will tell you firsthand that the media coverage, aside from here, Fover Reporter, even FRC Media, reached out several times, right? Like I was interviewed twice and, offered, to go on and stuff like that. I'll tell you right now, Herald News, aside from the debate where they had no choice,
Dude,
but to
they
really
had
say
me
the
until
reality.
they did that. Until they did that whole
that's
stupid
exactly it,
thing.
right?
Why
here's
would
the
they do that?
Why they reached out to me, got my side of it, and didn't post a single bit of it. So that's when I knew, right? I already knew when I got the call, right? I knew these things were coming, obviously. I'm not an idiot. I'm a single dad of 6 kids for a reason, right? So I got that one coming. But for WSAR to go on and tell them that, now we want somebody on the panel asking questions. Why? So and then that's the only debate that he's had. The answer's ready to go before the question came. So let's not get into that.
And just for the audience, were you ever allowed to go on the show?
I have not been on WSAR. I've not been asked to be on WSAR. He's been on several times. They have violated the FCC regulations several times this whole election. They pretend like they didn't want to get involved, but then they're always talking about my snippets of what I say, right? They'll take this one part and try to blow it up into something. And it's like, no, you might want to get the whole context, but that's not what they do, right? We understand that. We know that.
Clickbait.
And the difference is, we're not used to having someone like me who's afraid to call that out, right?
Right.
Kevin knows what that's like. He'll call things out on the school committee, right? Colin calls things out, right? Certain people stand up. Sean, Cliff, they stand up. They'll say things that the average person just won't say. People aren't used to people standing against the establishment.
Right.
And I take a bad hit for that, right? And then you got people who feel that their jobs are at risk, so they make all these crazy accounts, and then they only do this, and they try to target you, right? They're in high positions in certain departments in the city, and they got to use fake accounts because, one, they're afraid to lose their job, they're cowards, or they're just trying to protect themselves, so they can still hide behind and say that's not me.
Right.
There's ways to find that, by the way. It's not that difficult. A good thing about being in the military is you make friends with really good people who know how to search for that kind of stuff. So it's calling those people out. They can take offense to it. They can use it against me all they want. But you are literally fixing elections that you have no part in. One, the people that are doing it don't even live in the city. So if the city's so great and it's so wonderful under him, why aren't you here?
Yeah, right.
Why aren't you living here? Why isn't your business here? Why don't you move it here?
Sure, that's fair.
The only
Those are
business
fair questions.
business
Those are
people
fair.
have
That's
here
fair.
is
But it wouldn't matter.
market rate
Boomer,
housing. That's what those people
Boomer,
have.
it wouldn't matter if they were fair. Like nobody would give a shit where they are. You could be on.
Correct.
You could be in another country.
Just
it wouldn't
be
matter.
fair.
Just be fair.
don't lie
Yeah.
to the people.
Yeah.
Instead, that's what they do, right?
Right.
They prevent the truth from getting out, which shows there's a reason that they have to prevent the truth
Yeah.
getting out.
Yeah.
I'd be afraid of somebody like me coming in too and taking away all your
Was it Ben last week? Ben was on the show. The last live. Ben.
Yeah, Ben Rosa.
Yes,
yeah, Ben
yes,
Rosa,
who
right?
worked
Yeah.
and he
Yeah,
called out
worked at
Fiola. He
WSAL.
called out Cara
called them out.
Fiola. He's like, "This is all shenanigans." He's like, "This is," and he come right out. I'm not the
And I'll
one
tell you
saying
right now,
it.
the WSAL comments, I have not. It's not about Carol. I'll
No,
tell you
no.
right now.
Well, yeah, right, right.
We even went by and trick or treated at our house. I even sent my kids to go trick or treat.
Nice,
Right? Like I'm
nice.
a nice guy.
Nice.
And
I
they
like
were
that.
nice enough to give my kids candy.
And listen, can I say something real quick? And I just want to say this. I think Mike Sylvia does an amazing job. I think the Florida Reporter does a
I think
phenomenal
he's done a great job. I think he's been fair across the board.
He's fair across the board.
Yep.
And you know,
everybody that says he wasn't being fair or he was giving questions, I don't believe any of that.
Yeah.
I think Mike did a great
me
job.
neither. Me neither.
I didn't see him do any of that. I didn't like, Coogan's being recorded. I understand technical difficulties. I own a media company too, right?
Yeah, right.
But
that was
when
what
it
that
came
was
down to
your interview,
views,
right? Your interview.
Yeah, my interview had to be live. His
Okay.
was supposed to be live, but they had some issues with the internet. Whatever. That happens.
Okay.
But I wish he would have done mine and put the recorded version up immediately, because when you look at 33,000 views and then you look at his at 17, it shows you, right?
Right.
But now you look at it, it's like mine came down because after 30 days, as you know,
Yeah.
a live goes
Yeah,
down.
it deletes.
So
They
unless you put
purge
the
it.
recorded one up, so it makes it look like Coogan's got all these views, but
Yeah.
his is recorded, so it never comes down, right? But that's what they play on. They use that stuff. It's like, look at how many views he's got, and look how many. It's like, dude, shut up. I had that many views by Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
stop it.
listen, I've had the opportunity to sit down with Mike, and break bread with him, and I like the guy. I
think he
think
does a
he's
good
I
job.
think he's a solid dude, and he's running a business. Obviously, he's running a business, so it has to make sense. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I appreciate it. What do you think, Kev?
The caller asked the question about media and whether it's the mayor's campaign or any. I can tell you I've been doing politics for a long time. This is the first time we've never been invited for a half an hour show on the WSAR to just say what you want.
So it's not just you.
So no, it's the school committee as
It's
well.
a school committee as well.
2 years ago.
And remember,
on
there's certain people they don't
WSAR
want heard.
2 years ago on WSAR, I got a call. Not this election, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I never miss anything. Like I'll go to whatever they suggest.
I love that.
So we get a phone call. I get a phone call and said, "Why are you not on the WSAR show?" I said, "What are you talking about? I'm working during the day. I'd have to make it like at 4 o'clock or something."
Sure.
They said, "No, they're on there bad mouthing you right now, saying that you didn't show up." I said, "Well, how did I not show up if I never even got invited?" So the media has changed. It used to be that you'd get a registered letter in. They'd make sure they reached out to everybody for fairness, make sure everybody gets their 30 minutes, no questions, whatever. Herald News, the same thing. We used to get in the old days, the Herald News had a better presence here. So you would go in for an interview with the editorial board. They would make endorsements. People would be waiting to see who they endorsed. They'd interview, sort of a fair process.
Yeah. Right.
Gone.
It sounds
That's
like a
been
fun
gone.
process, actually.
Yeah, but it was actually gone for a few years. We used to have the forums or debates, whatever.
Yeah.
In Herald News, we had WSAR would be more, and like all that stuff is gone. So yeah, it's just changed.
Now it's
and
about covering for the candidate you want. in
I don't think
office.
it's for the better. They
even
can say all they want. Sue Netter, who's the general manager, badmouths me every day on Saturdays mornings show. The school department gets a donation from Bay Coast Bank to actually pay for a show on a show that this lady's badmouthing the hell out of me every week with no sense whatsoever. So like they've gone so far down that I feel bad for them. That it's not about me. You don't like me. You want to, but don't just not have fairness and equity and all that stuff. So
as a media outlet in general, it's not just one person. As a media outlet in general, they're just they have betrayed the people.
Yeah.
So it's a
That's how I
different
feel.
world. That's why we got to do things like this show
Correct.
here.
Yeah, right,
Or
right.
just reach out to people. Like I'm helping some people run new people. It's so hard to get your message out, and then you have to raise all kinds of money in order to do that. So now it exacerbates, because how do you send a mailer home to get people to know what your history is, what your resume is, if you can't,
And you're looking at
Yeah,
sending
otherwise nobody knows you're there,
mailers is
right?
$8,000, right?
Yeah,
it's
right.
thousands of dollars, and it's
Ask
really
Paul.
hard.
He just used all his to put a billboard of himself. He's been the mayor for 6 years. He needs a billboard of himself in the city. So
And you
people know
can't
who
do
you
it
are.
by knocking doors, like people always say in campaigns. Knocking doors. You ever tried knocking doors?
Nobody answers them, right?
Yes.
Oh, it's just hard, you know. And then at the end of the day, you've worked for hours, and you get
Ring
maybe
doorbells
10
all day.
maybe 10
Hi.
people, you know.
Yeah.
But
Hi.
it's nice to see people.
I've done 7-8 hours at a day. I've done 400 at a time, like in a weekend. It's
hard.
you get a few people.
But you just got to get out there, get your message out there, good or bad. Like if people like you, they don't like you. Just you got to stay away from the fray. It's very difficult. People talk about everybody, and you got to stay positive, stay above the fray, and just keep going. And if you win, you win. If you lose, now you're gonna make a decision. Do you come back?
Yep.
You know, when I first ran for office for school committee, I lost by 17 votes. I had to have a lot of
all the
guts
closest
to
races
come
ever.
back and run again. I came in 7th the second time.
Oh,
That's
wow.
4 years of running. I had to have the guts to come back a third time, which is 6 years of running before I was ever elected for the first time.
No kidding.
So I ran for 3 times, and then from then on, I've basically served the school committee and state rep, and I lost the state reps race in the Democratic primary. Wow. But ultimately, it takes a lot of guts to come back. So I would say, tell Boomer, I would tell the new candidates for school committee, city council, benefit you can from or meeting people, doing what you got to do. You have a lot to offer. Just come back, and if it's come back for a different race or something, but don't get discouraged because we need good people, and this is a tough game.
Sure. The call is John. It's John, right? John on the phone?
Yeah.
John?
Yeah, I just really listen to this because it's really helped me. You know, I'm nobody, right? I'm just a
No, you're
citizen.
somebody,
somebody.
brother.
Don't
You
say
are
that.
somebody.
But my problem is I feel like nobody because I didn't know anything about politics and I wanted to educate myself. Why can't I just go educate myself? Like, I can't go on Facebook. I've called them to the WSAR because I've heard Coogan's side. And I just wanted to say, you know, what's Boomer said. As soon as I say the word Boomer, I'm honest, they hang up on me.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard a lot of that. Yeah.
I saw it on video.
Yeah.
Somebody said, you got to watch this. And I watched, and I'm like,
Wow.
they
So they
really
actually
are
hung
silencing
up
not
on
even
you?
just me.
Yeah.
They're silencing voters. They're silencing people who just want to hear from the other candidate.
Right.
Yeah, but they have to, right? They have a vested interest in making
John,
sure
what do you
that
see
this
in Boomer?
person's
What do you see in Boomer?
there. Is it my pretty
What
shirt?
I saw is I saw honesty and the fact
Yeah,
that
me
I could
too.
actually be honest with you, get to actually talk to him. I've tried to talk to multiple people, like I said, but he looks you in the eye. I've asked, you know, like I was trying to educate myself.
Yep.
If he can't do it, he can't do it. And no matter what they say, how they are online, he's equal. He'll tell you if he can't do it.
Yeah.
And I guess if I could get face to face with the other candidates, I don't know, maybe it seemed different, but he's the only one that actually let me talk to him.
I'll answer everybody. Bobby knows firsthand. Like I said, I don't know who he's calling. I don't know who's coming in. This guy always sets me up for
No joke.
crazy
Like, you know, Boomer, you know nothing.
I know
Neither does
nothing.
Kevin.
I
You
never
guys
do.
came in here and you guys are trusting me. So I hope I'm doing well by you guys.
Yeah, listen, I'm
John,
here for the people. That's
I
it.
appreciate you calling in, brother. Thank you so much. Is there anything you want to offer to the listeners and to these two candidates here?
The only thing I say is what I learned is when you're in the voting panel, it's still USA and you yourself. No matter what you say or do, you vote and no one will know, and you're going to shape this country. America's still there.
Love it.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
John, what I would tell you is, regardless of who you're voting for, if you want to help that candidate, you got another day to get your friends out, get your family out, send your messages, because that's how you make changes, not just one
100%.
person. So whatever you have in
That's
your
great
phone,
advice.
whatever you have anywhere, reach out to them and support those candidates that you're choosing to, because people need to be encouraged to go to the polls tomorrow.
Yes. The rule of 10. The rule of 10.
I have
Call
to say that's the most help I've gotten. I thank you so much for advice.
John. Listen, you know how to get a hold of me. If you have any questions, brother, if you want to sit down, have a bite to eat, and have some conversation, brother, I'm always available. You give me a call. You all right? I mean that.
Wow. Thank you. Like I said, the media is equal with you. Thank you.
I appreciate it, brother. You have a good night, man. Thanks for calling in. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm glad somebody thinks I'm open and I talk to anybody.
Well, I mean, that's what I see, brother.
I do.
You know,
I
that's what
don't-
I see. You know what I
I
mean?
don't hide. Like I said, I don't know everything. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll speak. Sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt,
yeah,
but
sure,
I'll
okay.
speak. I'll speak firsthand that Boomer does
Unknown
talk to
caller.
absolutely. That Boomer does speak to absolutely anybody, because with any politician that I've ever came in contact with, such as Coogan, he's always like, every time I came up to him, he's always like, "Oh, hi, bye," and then that's it. You know, Boomer genuinely had a conversation with me and Ant about little things and stuff like that. So like, that's why I respect Boomer in a different way versus like all these other politicians who just turn a blind eye to like kids like me who are growing up in like in this adult life, you know, like that that you're like giving help, like you're like listening to my voice type crap. You feel me?
The difference is between me and him is I was you. You know, like we talked about, like I lived on these streets. I was homeless on these streets at 12 years old. I grew up, you know, a tough kid. I had no choice, right? I had my daughter young. It woke me up. I worked 3 jobs. I couldn't survive living, you know, I couldn't afford living, you know, moving place to place. I struggled. I understand what that life is like. So I get it. And I know what it was like for nobody hearing you.
I want to take this call, but it's unknown.
Take it.
All right, I'm going to take it.
Bobby, I'm not scared, buddy.
I know, but then people get crazy. Welcome to the show.
Crazy up.
What's going on, everyone?
What's going on? Who's this?
Nelson.
Hey, Nelson. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Oh,
I finally got through.
Sorry, buddy. It's been busy. It's been a busy night.
Whoever's clicking in right now, give us 5 minutes.
It's Jordan. Jordan, give
call
us
us back in 5
Jordan,
minutes.
give us 5 minutes, brother. Give us 5
We
minutes.
shall answer.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead, brother.
You know, Bobby, if you're busy, it's a good thing.
No.
Yes. Yeah. It's all you. The floor is yours, sir.
Well, first and foremost, I want to say good luck to the candidates, Kevin,
Thank you.
Bobby, and you know,
Bobby?
it's
What are you running for?
I mean, I'm
He's running for best hair of the year? Like, what is this?
How'd you know?
Yeah, I'm just putting some sense of humor. You know, Boomer, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You know, it's first and foremost, I also want to say it was good to hear former Mayor Flanagan, his voice.
Crazy, right? Amazing.
Best part of the
God does perform miracles.
Sure does, brother.
I want to say, you know, to everyone out there, you know, we witnessed another tragedy at the rail trail. I call it the rail trail massacre. You know, the ones who campaign on that, they only want to focus on the 38 arrests. For me as a city resident, I'm looking at the 800 plus calls it took to clear out that one location where you had all sorts of crimes playing out in that one location.
Well, you got to say big things for election time.
And before that conclusion came about, we were told basically in another way that public safety is good, right? It's everything is clicking. But that story, to me, shows that we have a serious problem, very serious problem. We need a clean house everywhere in this city, and in my personal opinion, on another topic, I think it's about time, and it's long overdue, that Fall River has its own radio station located here in the city to remove the perceptions of favoritism
I like that.
out the door.
I want media.
Agreed.
I want the media company right in City Hall.
Yeah. Why not in City Hall? Right?
You
You could take
We
it
would
off.
get
Right?
Why not?
we would get so many sponsors
It's a great
for
idea.
it.
Nelson.
I mean, there'll be so much support for it. Why? Because it's our product and it's located in our city. There should be no candidate, whether you agree or disagree with a candidate, no candidate running for office in this city should have a hard time to get the word out.
Agreed.
It makes no sense to me
None.
why there's so many barriers
Yes.
for candidates to
True.
get their word out, and only incumbents have a sweet ride to say whatever they want in any platform, especially over the airwaves, because a lot of people listen to the radio still,
Right.
right?
Right.
Not everyone's on board with social media. The
True.
radio is the old-fashioned way of communicating with the
that
residents.
secures a set voter section. It might not be a lot. Like we get, they don't have the same kind of listeners. We understand that that they used to, but it's still a set voting pool that they can control and they can keep in line, and that gives them an edge, right? Like, you know, when you get in 1,500, 2,000 extra voters just because, I mean, is it even that much? I don't know anymore, but let's say it's 1,000. 1,000 votes changes an election anywhere, right?
100%.
So
When you're
especially-
losing,
especially when you
when
have
you're losing
nobody,
for 10 votes, man.
especially when you have
right?
nobody really showing
Right.
up, right? You got
Right.
less than 10% of the population showing up. Like
Right.
that 1,000 voters makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Now they have no idea that I'm standing up for them every single day. They have no idea.
No.
And according to WSAR,
Yeah.
I'm the devil, and I'm not standing up for them, and only Paul Coogan's going to keep them,
Right.
where they are. But yet here we are with $500 million budget, highest crime rate ever, lowest education ever. Like, what are we doing?
Right.
But they don't know that.
Right.
They don't know that.
And-
they only know what they're being told. It's like the
And
CNN,
in the school
right? Like,
department-
you can't do that. So
in the school department, Kevin Aguiar, candidates like Kevin Aguiar and Colin, they get a lot of flack because
they
ask
stand
the
up to the
tough
status quo.
questions. Right. They stand up to the status quo. They're standing up for the people that need protection in the school department because that major pending lawsuit, I think $10 million.
Yep.
The allegations in there
That's only
are
one.
jaw dropping.
They are, man.
And
Is that insane or
and
what?
every single time, Kevin and Colin, every single time they ask the tough questions, they get criticized.
They were asked
by
the questions
the
and
ones
told it
on
didn't
the
even
board.
exist. They were told it didn't even
Like-
exist. We were all lied to. They lied right to their faces, saying that that's not
Doing
a
the
thing.
right thing.
That's not
Doing
okay.
the right thing, fighting for what's right, and asking the tough questions. It appears to be a bad thing for forward politics.
Right.
In fact, the people you would want your elected officials to ask those tough questions. Why? Because they take an oath for one,
Yes.
and they have to look at everything with a critical eye.
Yes. Yes.
Agreed.
Like I don't understand why they try to make the good people the bad people. Right? It makes no sense to me. It always boggled my mind when it comes to that. But I truly believe that it's, like I said, it's about time that we have a radio show in this city. It's badly needed. But the last thing I just want to mention, just recently, the people have been clamoring for tax breaks. They want relief.
I hear that.
And just recently,
Why you don't like paying
Paul
over
Cook.
an extra $30 million?
Paul Coogan, back in 2019, he did an interview where he said, if there's a surplus of money in there, I'm gonna give $6 million in tax cuts back to the people. Well, when you look at his recent interview, he was asked about, now I think it's like 30 million supposedly.
It's at 30. Yeah.
And they asked him,
I almost said 15.
basically,
He said it's at 30. I was like, great. Somehow he thought that was
when you hear his answer, he's basically saying he's not going to give nothing.
Yeah.
No, he
Nothing.
actually said in that same debate that he's going to do 2.5% because the city needs to, and he's going to do that again. And he doesn't care. Like, he's so used to the establishment just voting the way that they go, he's got nothing to lose. The only reason he's even running right now is because they have unfinished business, and it's your waterfront. That's it. It's your next CSO project. That's it. Once that's done, they'll never run again. He'll vote for a city manager after this because he can't be mayor after this. From now, who wants to run for mayor after this next 2 years? I will tell you right now. I know Kevin said earlier, don't give up and do those things. It's not about giving up and wanting to do it and wanting to help the people. He is going to put whoever is next. We think it's an impossible task now. The next 2 years, what he does to this city is going to be damn near impossible for anyone to fix. Well beyond what I can do, well beyond what anybody can do, right? We're going to just be grasping at straws, trying to fix little things and put Band-Aids on stuff. We will never catch up again. These people are going to bankrupt this city. Period.
Bobby, I'm going to tell you what brought me over the top. It's a lot of flaws with the incumbent up there in the 6th floor. There's a lot of flaws with him. But what took me over the top was his response to former Mayor Flanagan's incident. Unfortunately.
Yes, me too.
Okay.
Me too, bro.
Okay. But I'm going to tell you how I interpret it in this regard. So he's talking to the media. He's saying what he wants. And then he said, let's all not exaggerate, right?
Yes.
Here's the thing. The residents in this city, under his leadership, they have been expressing not exaggeration, but fear. That's real fear.
Yes.
They have been showing time and time again. And he called it an exaggeration. That just goes to show you that the person that we have at the helm, he's not thinking clearly.
Yeah.
For one, and two,
I agree.
He is not taking into consideration the real fear people are showing. And at the same time, they're telling us that everything's okay. Just be numb to the crime that's going on in your own backyard.
Right.
I don't care who you are. If someone
Ignore
is
the man
trying
behind
to,
the curtain.
I don't care. danger is danger out there when it comes to this type of stuff with public safety. People are going to express how they feel. And if they say they're not safe and they see these stories, all the shootings, everything happening, that's real fear. It's not an exaggeration.
Right.
But you
It's
tell
their
them,
experience.
but when you tell them that's not true, it's not important. You're telling people that their reality is not real. That's not his reality. That's everyone else's reality, right? Where a homeless guy walked in his neighborhood the other day, and there were 3 cop cars within minutes. Minutes.
Nelson,
doesn't happen
did you see
anywhere
the
else.
crime report? Did you see the crime map? Have you had a chance to see that? Nelson?
The crime
Yeah.
report?
No, not the report. The map. Did you see the map? It's an actual.
Oh yes, I was
How
going
nuts-
to
dude,
get to that.
Please.
So all around us, okay. Well, no, I'm not even talking, and this is not an exaggeration, by the way. That was a nonpartisan information. So all around us is all green.
Yep.
Right. It's all green. And I'm not speaking that it's Mary Jane. All of the green around us.
Mm-hmm.
That's safe areas.
Yep.
Right dead smack in the middle
Yep.
is all red. Red, orange,
Yep.
yellow.
Yep.
Those are horrible grades for when it comes to crime. And he did that debate with Boomer and said, "Oh, I think we're a safe city." The man is out of touch
I agree.
with his own city. It's green in his neighborhood because it's safe,
Yes.
but that's not everywhere else.
Yes. It's his perception.
And
It's his
we-
perception. It's his perception. Yes. Yes.
And we have come to the point where he used the term exaggeration
Yep.
to explain former Mayor Flanagan's unfortunate situation.
Yep.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And talks about being safe.
Yeah.
So I think, look, the South End came out very heavily for Donald Trump.
Mhm.
Okay, Donald Trump took this city very heavily. It was big numbers. Hopefully, and I live in the South End, and people are very upset about what's going on. I just hope they bring that same energy come tomorrow
I agree,
and
man.
really vote
Yes.
in
The
those
whole
numbers
city wakes
because
up.
the South End has been underrepresented for such a long time,
100%.
and I hope they come out and really show that enthusiasm in numbers like they did last November.
Yeah, I agree. We can
all
only
share-
hope for that,
We all
right?
share that exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also want to.
So-
I also want to speak on that crime map thing that we was looking at. Like
Joe.
where I'm at, it's like just less green. Like it's like kind of like yellowish green, right? And then right across.
Get on that mic, bro.
Okay, so like right across the street from my part is literally just red. So it
There
just
you go.
goes to show like how fast something can like happen if
It'll
I just
spill
walk
over.
down the street, you know?
Yeah.
It'll spill over. It's expanding.
Yep.
The streets around here are horrendous. His neighborhood, those roads are nicely paved.
Yeah, they just
It's
finished
not
that.
like it's not like that in a lot of places
Yeah.
in the South and everywhere else. Bobby, we spend over $10 million. We get in taxes over $10 million of motor vehicle excise taxes.
Yep.
And you
That's like
see
8
these
and change.
roads with horrendous.
Yeah.
Horrendous. Ask yourself this
Impassable.
question.
Impassable.
Does that look like an actual adequate value of road paving when
No.
we're collecting all that money?
No. If
Hell
I was writing that check, I wouldn't write the check. I wouldn't cut that check.
Hell no.
Right.
It's fair.
Right.
It's horrendous. So I just want to say my piece. And again, get out there and vote. If you're tired of hearing that our city is safe when clearly it's not, when bullets are flying and people are almost dying in this city.
You see the picture of the car with the bullet holes in it? He's talking about the gunshots are down or something like that. Gun violence is down. He's like, my wife and kid
it's
were in
crazy.
the car. And there's 2 bullet holes in it. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Just because they didn't hit anybody doesn't mean violence is down.
Yeah. Nelson, I feel for the south end of the city. I grew up here. My Vavo owned the house across the street from the studio that we are in currently right now. And I was an infant, and I grew up on South Main Street. And it breaks my heart to see what it is now. You know what I mean? And I'm hoping that if things work out, Nelson, I think if things work out the way we would like them to, I think things are going to start to change tomorrow. I think tomorrow would be the first day of change. And I believe that wholeheartedly, bro.
It's true. Listen, at the end of the day, your government does not change unless you go into the voting booth and you just put in who you want.
That's it.
But you have to move. You have to make the time because change does not happen on its own.
Right.
And no matter how difficult it may be, just try to take the time to put in new leadership that we badly need in this city, top down, because it's not just the mayor's office, Bobby.
Yeah.
It's the new RDA. We need a new RDA. We need a new ZBA. They're accepting all these projects that need all these waivers, and they're stuffing our neighborhoods, making parking even more difficult. Okay, we need new people on the Port Authority board.
Sure.
Everywhere.
Sure.
Everywhere. So I hope everyone gets on and vote.
Yeah. I appreciate you, brother. Look, obviously you're extremely knowledgeable about the city. You know what's happening, and I think more people should be involved the way that you are. And if they were, they would be showing up tomorrow. So, obviously we're telling everybody, bring 10 of your friends, go down and vote. Otherwise, it's all for nothing, brother, right? It's all for nothing. And I think we're on the precipice of change. And if we don't do something now, it's just going to be more of the same. You know what I mean? That's just the truth. You know what I mean? Bro, thank you so much for calling in. I really appreciate it. Listen, real quick, I have Kevin Agia here from the school committee. Is there anything you'd like to say to him?
Kevin, good luck. And if you get on there, keep kicking ass and for the right reason that you do. And don't ever stop. And don't ever listen to the naysayers, because you're doing the right thing by standing up for these kids who badly need protection. And you and Colin especially have been doing that job.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for calling in. And listen,
have a good one.
Listen, hey, you know how to get a hold of me. We should talk. I'd like to talk with you, and maybe we can work something out, man. If you're interested, my studio, si casa. You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
All right,
No, Bobby. One more thing for you. You're doing a great thing for this community.
Oh, thank you, man.
Honestly, I think you're doing God's work.
Wow.
Because here's the thing. Sometimes God speaks through other people. And I think you're that voice for this community, because you're giving people the opportunity to speak through your platform, and I think what you have developed, it's growing, obviously, and it just keeps on getting bigger and bigger. So I think you're moving into a new stratosphere as far as like your place in this city, and I think you're doing God's work.
Thank you, brother. That means the world to me, man. That's why I do this, bro. I appreciate you, man. Good luck tomorrow.
All right, have a
Thanks,
good one.
bro.
Later, man. Thank you. Trying to answer all these posts at the
I
same
know. There's a lot
time.
going
It's
on.
like, that's okay.
That's amazing, no?
Just try to keep up with it, because if I open it in 20 minutes, it's going to be like 500 of them. It's like I can't keep up with all these guys.
Do you want to talk to Jordan real quick? And then we're gonna. I want to talk about the 79 project. We have to talk about that. I really want to talk about that. But let's get Jordan on here real quick. Hopefully he's not in the McDonald's drive-through, because he seems to want to order food when
he better be bringing us food. That's my problem.
Listen, man. Hey, listen, bro. Just for the record,
I don't have a pizza already.
Everybody
delivered.
else is calling in, bro. You're the only one that we are calling, because that's who you are, brother. How you doing, brother?
What's up, bro?
What do you think?
Curious on why I don't have a pizza.
Still there? Hold on. Did I lose you?
No, we hear you.
Right. I'm prank calling like 3 people at a time and different phones and different burner phones. I just crank called Sean Kadeem. My cat's attacking my dog. It's chaos over here.
Well, listen, this is not WSAR, so we're not going to hang up on you, bro.
Hey, is that Kevin Agia?
It sure is, man. It sure is.
You tell Kevin I said to stop giving Coogan such a hard time at those school committee meetings.
Nope. We will not relay that.
I am who I am.
You need to stop giving him a hard time at those meetings.
Jeez, man. Right?
Boomer, what's up, bro?
How we doing, sir?
Did I call you Mr. Mayor? Is that what we're doing?
We hope so.
Listen,
I've been called worse.
Boomer, you know me. I'm here to shit on everybody's night and say Coogan's gonna win, Linda Pereira's gonna win, Joe Camara, the whole night. Pat Casey ain't even on the ballot. She's gonna win by a write-in. Leo,
Listen,
they're all coming back.
This is the only chance these people have right now.
Yeah.
This is it. This is it. Because if
But
they
Boomer,
don't show up,
here's the point.
then they're going to regret this for a very long time, and there's nothing anyone can do about it.
Here's the point, though. Like I've been saying, it doesn't matter. Like, worst case scenario, Coogan wins again.
Yeah.
The city already is used to like how awful it will probably continue to get worse because that's been the trajectory. It's been worse and worse and worse. Will Flanagan's almost getting his head cut off. Like that's how bad it is now. Don't exaggerate it. Don't exaggerate it.
Jordan, can I challenge you real quick if you don't mind, brother?
Shoot. Of course, I love it.
So here's the challenge. The challenge is this: if Boomer wins the election tomorrow, brother, what do you see for the city, brother? What do you see happening? Because quite frankly, bro,
wow.
we already know what's broken, brother. But as a lifelong manager, I know and understand that people always want to be a part of something great. You never have to sell them on it. You never have to convince them. When people see greatness, they are absolutely drawn to it and they want to be a part of it. So my question and challenge to you is, if Boomer wins tomorrow, man, what do you see? What does the city look like to you?
I'll tell you this, dude. Obviously, it would be, in a word, Bobby, it would be hope for a lot of people because everybody knows what has been the last 6 years or 30 years or 100 years and forever. So anytime there's a possibility of improvement, bro, like everyone's got their fingers crossed. A lot of the burden would shift onto Boomer, right? And again, of course, it's like even like a Bill Belichick situation or like a Bill Walsh or John Wooden. Like it's not just the guy, it's the team and it's the players and everything else. But there would be hope, bro. That's what it would be, first and foremost. And then it would take a lot of the coalescing. Of all people, Will Flanagan, when he was recalled and he finally spoke about it for the first time months after, he said, I actually learned this lesson from him. He said, he basically underestimated people like me, Josh Silva, all the recallers, quote unquote, right? And he said, and rather than kind of looking past that and thinking it was this gang of like miscreants or whatever, he's like, I probably should have tried to win them over or work with them a little more. So that's probably what I would take from it.
My enemy's enemy is my friend.
Yeah, and not just converting his enemies. Like another thing I would say about Boomer, if he pulls this off, I look at Trump's first term versus this new term. The first term was he had bad people around him and it was a disaster.
True. Fair.
Like, I mean, Fauci ran the country when that man should be in prison right now, right?
Yep.
So second time around, I think he learned from it. Then they tried to either blow his head off or throw him in jail for the next 4 years. Yep. So he had to realize he had problems. And again, Boomer will have mad people coming after him. They say Jay-Z went to jail because he, quote, went after the filers. I don't believe that. I think he went to jail because he was a criminal. He's still never shown any contrition, So I'm all for even like people like, with the Flanagan and all that stuff. Will has kind of moved on with his life and transitioned pretty well, right, outside of politics. Sutter still looks kind of like a clown. You saw the video he did. So my only point is, if it does fall on Boomer, there's so much potential, good and bad. You know what I mean? Sure. It's going to take a team of people or the city as a whole. I think a lot of these things are societal changes that would help forward. It's not one person, because my whole point is, again, no matter who wins tomorrow, I'm doing what I can to fix the city. That's my whole next phase of my life with Chris and whoever wants to join the group, Bobby. You know what I mean? Like, let's all get together. Everybody can have different roles, from the lowliest person to whoever has, the most skills and whatever the capacity is.
And I just want to say this real quick. I want to give Boomer some credit. Him and I were talking, and even beyond the election and whatever happens tomorrow, I had this crazy idea about doing something with turkeys, and like we're already talking about doing this. This is post the election, so nothing to do with mayors, nothing to do with any of that. It's all about supporting the community, and that's the things that we're talking about. Just as much like you and Christopher, and realizing that there is a lot of power in being a citizen in control, right? If you're a citizen in control and you realize what's best for the city, you can make things happen. But
Bobby, did you say turkeys?
Yes.
Well, no, I'm not busting your chops. This is my only thing, because I have to smash Chris over the head with this too.
Yeah.
The charitable thing is, like, again, giving a man a fish versus fixing the city is having a bustling, booming, no pun intended, booming economy. You should have ran with that Boomer the whole time. We're going to get the economy booming with Boomer. That would have been a great bumper sticker.
I don't do slogans. I do reality.
But my point is 100%, as a libertarian, you won't find anyone in Fall River who believes that it's got to be private sector over the government more than I do.
Yeah.
You know, and again, so then it's like the election results be damned. Of course, you want to see a more dynamic, younger guy with bigger vision like Boomer in there.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But again, even Boomer can make even bigger changes in the city as a private person too. So it's kind of win-win in that regard.
Right.
You know, these people only can try to hold the city down as much as they can. But I honestly think ever since social media happened, society's waking up to all the bullshit and how they've been controlled for, you know, thousands of years.
Yep.
And I'm hoping that's happening.
Right.
I hope people are waking up to, like, again, with Kevin there. Kevin, bro, I appreciate, you know, how you push back on like Coogan's, you know, overtly awful stuff they do or just in the schools. But like, if Paul Coogan wins, I'm going to Paul Coogan saying, bro, you need to bring, because Boomer already said they'll bring Rich Dad Poor Dad to every kid in forever. Chris said it before he dropped out. Now, if Paul wins, he's the guy. I told Chris this. I said, whoever wins tomorrow has to be my employee, whether it's Boomer or him, because they work for us, right? They're supposedly public servants and work for the people. It's all bullshit before elections. It's all hollow words. We see that guy is so petty and laughs right in our face and basically even makes fun of Colin, who's elected too. Yeah. They have no respect. They have ego off the charts, which is unfounded. The guy has nothing he can point to in his life that could say, I'm a successful guy because A, B, and C. It's completely unfounded. Like you got 6,000 poor people. Yeah, you got 6,000 poor people to vote for him a couple times. Like, bro, that means nothing to me. It's almost a negative. Boomer may want to lose. Like, I've lost every time, and it's been a net positive for my life. Had I, like, Jay-Z I was at Rogers this weekend. Jay-Z spent the last 5 years sleeping with men. I sleep with my gorgeous wife and all my kids and my family, and he allegedly won. You know what I mean? So just winning, like, be careful what you wish for.
Right.
Be careful what you wish for. This guy, Boomer, he's got a busy life and kids already. Now he's going to make even more enemies. You know what I mean? So I have respect for him on that level.
With great power comes great responsibility, brother. And that's
absolutely
why, right? And that's why we vote. We vote with that intent, like realizing, you know, who's speaking the way that I feel. And I think that really matters right now, man. It really, really does. You know?
Yeah, and like I said, I have hope, bro, regardless, because again, I've gotten wiser and as I got older, and I know I've been against the government since voting for Ron Paul since 2008. And again, actually it was since 2003 when they sent me to, I tell the story over and over and over. Since 2003 when they sent me to war based on a lie, I said, I'll never trust the government ever again.
Right.
So it's not going to change. I'm not going to magically grow trust in government people. You know, so the more I get older, we all have to become successful in our private capacity, like Boomer has with real estate. The more we become successful, the more we can help people on a charitable, but even like payroll, like Cliff Pont with 350 employees, that's helping Fall River.
Sure.
You know, we all need to become successful privately, financially to help our friends and families and neighbors and strangers.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Jordan, listen, before I let you go, I just real quick. Yeah. So Halloween came around, right? And you were giving away pizzas, right? There were kids coming by, grabbing some slices. But more importantly, what I wanted to shine some light on is what you do outside of that. And that is you take collections and you donate food. And I just want to talk about that real quick. I share it every time you post it. I just want to give you an opportunity to talk about that real quick.
Yeah, that has been, honestly, dude, because I'm fully honest and transparent all the time. That was like a troll on, again, Elizabeth Warren and Ed Markey, a kid who grew up in Maple Gardens on welfare, government cheese, food stamps, housing, Maple Gardens, to see these people who, again, they quote unquote, the Democrats represent poor people, starving them over no coherent policy dispute. It's evil. It's literally evil. Like they'll have to meet their makers one day and be judged for what they're doing. So I was like, listen, again, private sector, people are saying I have big pockets, deep pockets or whatever. Like, okay, whatever. But, you know, I could help. Back to what we were saying, we can all help from our own little capacity that we have. I happen to have a little pizza place. So the markup on what I sell pizza for, what I get it for cost and whatnot, I can give out some. I do it every day, all day, right? Well, again, like if I so people think I post everything. They say, oh, Chris doesn't post everything he does.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He posts a lot of the things he does. He doesn't post the little things because it's all you would do if for every person you help him forever because people are constantly coming in. But yeah, it was a troll, bro, against the politicians because they're starving people. So I'm like, hey, we'll help out, you know, and that's all it was. And I'll just do it more. Kelly Buchanan hit me up because over the weekend I said, listen, you're a superhero for going there and making Brad Kilby look stupid, saying, oh, we're just part-time counselors. What can we do? 800 calls for service, homeless camps everywhere. What can we do? The guy should resign. That's embarrassing. I know someone's calling in. But Kelly says, hey, Veterans Day. I gave out free pizzas to veterans last. She's like, we're going to deliver them this Veterans Day.
Yep.
So, but again, that's all charity, Bobby. That's only giving a fish.
Well,
yeah, that's
again,
giving
yes,
a fish.
It is. But it's important that, you know, people want to help. People want to support. People want to do something like that, man. And I think this, you know, again, I agree with you, Jordan. Like, you just can't. You can't walk everybody through it, but I think there's people sometimes just need a little help getting up, bro. You know what I mean?
It starts with the schools. Right? You got Kevin Aguiar right there. We got to teach kids to be entrepreneurs and killers like
this guy's
me.
A champion, bro. I wish I would have met this guy sooner. He's an absolute champion. I'm appreciating this conversation today.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, honestly, like we could change the curriculum and it would cost nothing to teach kids things that's not like one plane leaves Chicago at this time and one plane leaves New York and when do they meet? And that's all bullshit. That's all meant to keep people poor and ignorant. If we change the curriculum to the real education that I pay to go learn even in my 40s, I'll never stop learning how to make money. If we just taught that to every kid, the school would transform overnight. So Kevin needs to get on that other than the bullshit SEL, ESL, LSE. You know what I mean? It's all bullshit. $200 million a year con game. Yeah. So, you know, I've tried to have that conversation with Curly, with Maria Ponce. Nobody wants to hear it because it destroys their religion about, you know, the whole communist thing and what they teach and the pronouns and all the bullshit to keep everyone poor and ignorant.
Right.
That's real talk.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Jordan, always a pleasure to have you, brother. So dynamic
Love
and polarizing, brother. I love you, brother.
Boomer, good luck, bro. Boomer, good luck tomorrow. I'll talk to you either way tomorrow, but you got my respect either way, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
How about Kevin? Nothing for Kevin?
Later, guys.
Kevin doesn't need luck.
Kevin, no, I give Kevin props, too. I give Kevin props.
Top vote getter every year.
He fights pretty hard up there, so
awesome.
I like to sit down with Kevin one day and talk with him because he's Colin Dias is my favorite politician.
So would that be the slice would you have him on the
kinda,
slice of success? Is that what you would do?
Of course. Sure. Why not?
All right. Well, if people don't know,
fellas.
that's Jordan's
Have a
show.
good night.
Jordan has a show, the Slice of Success. Jordan, have a great night, buddy. Thanks
Jordan
again, man.
Later, fellas. Take care.
Later, buddy.
Just say he needs to deliver pizzas.
Yeah, he needs to deliver a pizza is what he needs to do. Why do I not have a pizza in front of me, Jordan? That's my question to you.
That's a good point, man.
Okay,
That's
I'm
a
just
really,
saying.
That's a really
like,
good point.
You know,
Yeah. Well, I'd say I every time I order
the show's gonna have about 10,000 views by tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I don't have
at least
a
one
Fiorentina
pizza. Yeah.
box over here for me to eat a piece of pizza.
What's your favorite pizza?
The one that I can eat.
How about you, Kevin?
I don't have favorites. I'll eat anything.
Pepperoni, straight
Pepperoni. I like
yeah.
pepperoni too. I'm a pepperoni guy. I like pepperoni.
I'm not gonna lie. I do believe that I shouldn't say this before an election, but I do believe pineapple goes on a pizza.
I like
so I like
pineapple.
Hawaiian pizza.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I do.
I do like it. But
Buffalo chicken.
Yeah,
Ooh,
buffalo chicken.
chicken's
See,
good
I don't
too.
have a favorite.
Yeah,
like I can
yeah.
eat. You know,
Double.
my daughter works for Domino's.
Okay,
And
yeah.
Carlos is an amazing person. I don't care what anybody says about him, but what he has and what he does and shows up. I don't care. He's a great guy. He donates all the time. He always helps. He always shows up for all the kids.
Yeah.
My daughter works for Domino's, so we get a lot of pizza, right? Because we're always on the go too.
Sure,
right?
sure,
Baseball,
right,
football,
right.
What's the
whatever.
best deal at Domino's?
Having your child work there for 50% off. That's the best deal. That's the best deal at Domino's.
That's the best deal right there.
Not gonna lie.
Pick up pizza $7.99.
Yeah.
And get a medium pan, like either a large or a
Deep
medium
dish.
pan.
Yeah.
Pepperoni, cheese, $8.30 some
Yeah.
cents.
Oh wow.
You can't
Can't beat it.
Yeah, you're not
It's a
gonna-
pick up, one of those deals.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But I do love
I
to
love to
support
eat.
like the other
Yeah, me too.
businesses and
Kevin, me too.
I like
I
to
love to
support
eat.
Fiorentina's and
Yeah.
Gus's and all these places, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
different. I go to Somerset. I try to support all these local things because and I enjoy like a greasy pizza every now and then too, right? Domino's is okay,
Yeah.
like it's good, right? But you can only eat so much of it. You need like now I need like that extra large, like just greasy, messy pizza, right?
Your
You can't-
napkin, like
you
you're
can't-
dabbing it
Yeah,
with
you
a
can't
napkin.
get that from Domino's,
Yeah.
right? Like I need
Atlas
that.
is good for that. Atlas
Atlas is amazing for that, right?
Yeah.
Whatchamacallit, on Bedford Street too. Amazing, right? So I love all of these places. So, but it's just when you're feeding 9 people every day,
Right.
You're paying $20 to $25 a pizza. It catches up, right? So
My
I go
man-
to Domino's
my
and
man's
I
got
buy it
the
at
deal.
50%. We're good.
Oh, we got Joshua Silva.
Okay.
Wanna give me- all right.
Okay. I've been
Hey,
yelled at
Joshua.
by worse.
Thanks for calling the show.
What's going on, Bobby? What's going on? Boomer and Kevin.
How you doing,
It's a
bud?
big night, huh?
It is.
Yeah.
It's a night. It's a night.
I hope people are fired up for tomorrow because I want to kick these lizard people right out of there.
I hope people are fired up because this is their chance to really be heard for the first time in a very long time. Yeah, I just don't want to be out tomorrow night and going to the polls and meeting people and doing these things that we've been doing all this time. And I'm sure Kevin's done it way more than I have, right? All the time, all the years he's been in office. I don't want to do that and still have 9,000 people show up to dictate.
No,
our
I think
future.
people are going to show up. I think
hope
people are
we
going to
hit- I
show
hope
up
we hit
tomorrow.
17, 18, 19, 20,000 would be beautiful,
I-
right? I don't know.
I
don't-
think
don't
we were
know.
on our way.
Realistically, I don't know that we come in over 14. I don't know. What do you think, Kev?
Yeah, I say 20% is like the goal. At some point shouldn't be, but
Yeah.
I
want
50,000
30.
registered voters. You're at 10,000, 11,000 votes. It's not enough.
No, no, it's not.
but
Especially
it's
when you
the
know
reality,
there's consistent
you know.
6,500 or one way no matter what.
Yeah, so it's just the reality of people are apathetic a little bit about it, and I don't really know the reason, but it is a little disheartening when you go,
Yeah.
in the ballot. I'm confident that I'm going to do well. I've done well for the years, and people I think appreciate what I've done.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, you never know. So
When you're the
I'm
incumbent
hoping
like
to be
that,
one
you
of the
have that,
six.
right?
And at the end of the day, I hope we get some people around me on the school committee that are open-minded, ready to ask the questions, do what they need to do. So I'm confident in that, but I can't imagine it being higher than a 20%, sort of the ceiling. I haven't heard from the election commissioner, whatever he says, but they usually try to make a prediction. But
I don't care about predictions. I care about
yeah.
what I think. And I
want
want
let's just hope
30%.
everybody gets out,
I want 30%. Let's go. Fall
I
River, this is
think,
your
I
time.
think when the fire happened back in the summer, that started to get the people woken up, and then this most recent tragedy, almost a tragedy with Will, really, that's. I mean, come on, if that doesn't make you want to get out and vote and all the stuff we've been talking about
Yeah, if you can't
all
see that
year,
you've been
you know what I
failing,
mean? It's like
definitely an issue.
that's unbelievable. You know what I mean? So I think people are gonna show up tomorrow.
I hope so. I mean, I have a lot of new people that I've never met. I think I've grown, my page has grown 1,500 people. You know what I mean? So if that's, any inclination on voters, and a lot of them do message
I
me and ask
think-
me questions. So I do believe that we've increased voters by a lot. I've given away a lot. I've done a lot of mail-in votes that I've handed out and brought in personally. So I do know that people are waking up. I just don't know that I can single-handedly say that I increased 1,000 people. You know what I mean?
No, but I think,
I think all the events that have taken place. I mean, you couldn't ask for more of a wake-up call than what we've had over the last 3 months. You really just couldn't.
No, absolutely
it's
not. And
and
I
it
think
sucks that it's tragedies that are doing it for the most part, but the wake-up call is real.
Yeah, I think that the Coogan camp has wanted us to think that no one, that there's obviously apathy, but I think it's been building, and I think they want us to think like, oh, no one's gonna show up, and we're gonna have a low turnout. I think
exactly
they're
what
gonna
they
be in
want.
for a big
Oh,
surprise.
that's exactly what they're pushing
That's
for.
exactly what they're pushing
Because
for.
that works in their favor. They don't want people to show up to the polls because that will never work. That won't bode well for the city, right? That won't bode well for him.
No.
Just like the high rents
Not
bode
for
well for
them.
the city. High voter turnout rate bodes well for the city because I highly doubt these new voters are coming out to all of a sudden support the man who put him in this position. I just can't
Right,
see that
and-
being a thing.
And coming off the presidential election, I think people are still paying attention. So
I hope
we're gonna
so.
see
I
tomorrow.
have family members of his
I'm gonna
reaching out saying that they won't vote for him. Like that's a problem when your own family is thinking that. Obviously, I would never say.
I
who,
mean, the guy, I never
why.
seen somebody put their foot in their mouth so many times over the past few years.
yeah.
It's he must have set the record, you know what I mean, with all the dumb gaffes and things, insensitive remarks and poor
And I think that's
timing
the
and
biggest
just
problem
awful.
I have is it's almost like the narcissism, like borderline sociopath of how much he just doesn't care, how much it affects the average everyday person. I think that's
Right,
that's where my
and-
anger comes from, right? Like
Me too.
it just
Me too.
how can you look at people like they're less than you, they're less than nothing, and just go about your business like it's okay? And tell people that
Right.
they're exaggerating or that's not true and that's not happening or these things didn't happen in the schools and you're
Yeah, but Boomer,
people's reality, like
it's
you're
been acceptable.
lying.
Boomer, for 6 years.
I know
It's been
just,
acceptable.
How can
It's
people look
so
at that and just not see We know it's happening.
He's still
the
talking
lawsuits are
about
here. The criminal
COVID.
charges are here. This man came in with the most money. If any mayor came in with the equity, right, that he had just coming into office, then the pandemic happens, and this man is blessed with hundreds of millions of dollars on top of raising your taxes. Everything that happened saved this man for 6 years. For 6 years, he's been saved by money he didn't create, just handed to him. And then he still has doubled our budget and our crime and our education is failing. Where does it stop? Where do people finally wake up? If it's not now, then when?
I think this is our last chance.
I agree. I agree with you on that. I think this is the last chance to actually save the city and get back on track. I don't know that we get ahead, right? I don't know that we instantly go in there and we get ahead. I know we go in there and we fix a lot of things. That's for sure. My work ethic, my drive, my team, the people that I surround myself with.
We need to stop the bleeding right now.
I agree.
Oma.
The bleeding needs to stop. I agree, and I think we need to figure that.
We need a
part out
tourniquet
first.
right now.
So with that said, Josh, the challenge is this. So tomorrow happens. What do you see for the future of the city? What do you want to see? If something was going to be great, if you were going to be a part of something great, what does that look like to you?
I mean, obviously, I'd love to see the downtown fixed up, just like we see in New Bedford, other small cities. Look at Taunton's downtown now. It looks awesome. And we have way more to offer than Taunton does. So I think that'd be nice. Obviously, the 79, everybody talks about that. To me, that should already be, the building should already be going up over there. I don't even know what the controversy is about the land. Like, the roads are in, the pipes are in, the electric's there, the roads are paved, sidewalks, and we got nothing happening.
Yeah, but Josh,
Just
there's
a
more to it.
wasteland.
There's more to it than that. There is a dynamic there, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. I'm so glad you brought it up, but I don't want to cut you off. Continue, but we'll talk about that. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. I'm going to finish my dinner and listen to the show. And I think you saw my comment on there, Bobby, about a few weeks ago. I was all ripped when you had some Coogan posts. I'm like, I'm going to unfollow this guy.
Yes. And my reply
And
was...
I felt bad ever since because I was like, I hope he doesn't think I'm like, but
no way, bro.
I know
no
you're
way.
on. We're all on the same team.
Absolutely, bro. And like I said, we
got to get rid of these people.
Some of us play chess and some of us play checkers. You know what I mean?
Right. I just I can't stand it.
I hate it, bro.
Bobby listens.
What's that?
All right,
Bobby
guys.
listens to everyone until you get
Thanks,
psychotic.
Yeah, true, right? Damien, thanks for calling in, Josh. I
Yeah,
really
man, thanks
appreciate
for
it,
the
man.
call.
It was nice to hear
Later,
your voice,
guys.
brother. Take care, man.
Later.
Yeah, bye. So he brings up a great point. So the 79 project. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Sure.
Only because there are things about it that I don't understand. And I don't like to speak about anything that I don't know everything about. I do know that there's a lot of dynamics. The Fiolas are buried in that. I know that Carol is in that. Right? Like there's just a lot going on. I know that there was a request to the state. Can you explain? Who would be best to explain some of this? Who wants to touch this?
I can give you what I know.
Come on,
It's not
Kevin.
my,
Give it to us, brother.
I can only tell you some of what I understand. But if you do a little bit of, you got to go step back a little bit to the days when I was a state rep and we had the biopark. So the big panacea at that time was that we had a bunch of acres that was swapped off or whatever, so that land
See, this is
went
it
to
right
the
here.
redevelopment
Yes.
authority. So I'm in the legislature. We're told biotech is the way to go. We're going to build a UMass incubator up there, which is going to lead to biotech companies wanting to come to the biopark, where they can actually make real jobs for people. And the UMass incubator would actually help you to scale up the process at a more reasonable rate.
Okay.
That was what we were sold. That was what was going to happen.
Okay.
So we're there, we get that. Okay, we're going to do the biopark. Fast forward, I left the legislature. Ultimately, no biopark firm, no other firms came. So the state gave the land to the city, the / redevelopment authority or whoever, but they took it out of their hands and gave it to some entity in the city. They chose at the time, hey, we can't find biotech companies, so now we have like service industry or I don't even know what any job's better than no jobs, but what we were promised as biotech jobs turned into non-biotech jobs. So all the land up there is now gone because we don't have any more room for biotech. So therefore, that kind of offended some people in the legislature that were there to say, hey, wait a minute, we got a problem.
Yeah.
Fast forward now, you're having the same situation potentially happening in 79, that the state owns the land. what is going to happen. So there's a push and a pull between is the state going to do it and get rid of it and market it and sell the property to businesses or whatever through processes, or are they going to give it to the city, let the city with a redevelopment authority or whatever, whoever else, figure out who's going to get it. That to me is what I think the rub is. So the land is the state's. People in the state, there's a bill that Rep. Viola has that wants to give 50%, sell at market rate, and 50%. Ultimately, there's people in the state that were burned already by the same people that may be going to get involved in this one to say, so, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yes.
That's what I think's going on personally.
Okay.
So until that land gets, developed, meaning the roads, everything else, and they determine how they're going to sell it, who they're going to sell it to. Is it a bid process? Is it a request for qualifications? How do you ensure that nobody's going to make money on it that's working for the city? Like there's processes you have to go through.
Yeah.
That's what the holdup is. So it takes time. When I was a state rep was from 2008 to 2013. At that time, we were talking about the maybe phase of the 79 project back then.
Oh, wow.
That's over 15 years ago.
Wow. Yep. Wow.
So it's that long in the coming. So it's a good thing that it finally came to fruition. But now the details, dot the I's, cross the T's, make sure everything's done right. How much money are you going to spend on it? The roads look great. The land is going to be available because of the project. So I'm hopeful that it's going to work. But ultimately, you really have to do a process where people aren't going to, sort of get rich or.
So just.
And I have the plan for that.
Well, just who's making those decisions, right? So I guess that's the question. So as a, right, I'm just a citizen, right, and I'm asking who's in charge, like who's making that decision?
State
right now, but
state owns the land.
Who's trying to get it from the state?
Yeah.
And why? And who are they trying to give it to? And why? Bottom line
kinda
is,
where I'm going
if
here.
you're on
Who-
these boards,
who's making that
and you're
decision?
supposed to be, working for the city and doing these things, you sign up, fine. For 3 years after you leave the city, you cannot make land deals in the city. I don't care. You don't like it, too bad. You're not here to make money and get rich for yourself. You're here to do what's best for the city as a whole.
Yeah.
And you can't do that if greed has a place.
Okay.
So that's how you eliminate
What
that
I
whole
think would be a
process.
great thing for you is, I don't know if you know Senator Rodrick's. He's
Yeah.
a great guy. He's in a very powerful position as chairman of Ways and Means in the Senate.
Yeah, he is.
Have him on your show.
I would love
if
to
he's
do
willing to come on. Like Mike can give you examples of
Did I
real
meet him?
life.
I think I might have met him. I might have met
Probably
him
did.
at
He's
Chris
around.
Peckham's event.
Maybe I don't.
I
No,
think-
no, that's not him.
Oh, was it?
That was a different person.
Oh, okay. You know
Mike
what I'm talking
Rodricks is a great guy. So
Okay, all right.
ultimately,
My bad.
it
He'll
would
know
be
more
good.
in
To,
depth.
and what happens is Mike's got a way that he can explain to you something that's very complicated
Yes.
in very layman's terms.
Okay.
And I tried to give you the definition like he would
Sure,
potentially,
sure.
but he's a great guy to do that. And then
Bro,
he'll
because
be-
none of us
and
understand.
he'll be candid with you about where it's at.
Yeah.
And there's pressure to give the land to the city. And I, for one, I was a state rep at the time. I didn't like the idea that there was an issue of casino. All this other stuff was going on, whether we're going to do this or we're going to do that. We were sold that it was going to be biotech and that the land is now gone. So I really think that's still an issue.
So the question, real quick, I keep that thought. So is the question is we don't want to take it from the state and control it from the city? Is that what we don't
City
want
wants
that?
to control it.
But we don't want that. Do we not
I
want
don't- I
that?
don't-
What's in our best
I want
interest? I
that.
guess the question is, what's in our best
No,
interest?
I want that. I want a portion of it. I don't want the whole thing.
Okay.
I want a portion of it. I think the city should have a say in their waterfront. We have to live here, right?
Okay.
We're the ones who have to live here. The people in Boston or the people all over the state that don't live here and don't understand what it entails to be here, they have no idea what we want and need. They have no idea. We've been sold out for so long, especially by these people. Like, I don't want that. So I do believe I would fight for the city to get a portion of that.
So
I would not fight to give it to the people who have done nothing but exploit the city.
right. So I guess that's my question again. I'm going to ask this one more time.
process. That's what
Correct.
the answer is.
Correct.
Yes.
So the answer is no matter who has it, there should be a transparent process
Yes.
to how you're going to do it, how you're going to market it, who's going to market it.
Yes.
They do that in the state. There's divisions of the state government that sell land, sell properties, develop properties. All of that stuff is just a process. It has to be a transparent process. It can't be, I know somebody, I know Boomer, so let Boomer get rights to it,
no.
this and that. It has to be a transparent process.
Sure.
And that's where I think the legislature is, because you have a House and a Senate. Some members of the House want one thing, Senate wants something else. go back and forth. Then at some point they're going to have to figure out how we're going to get this stuff. And we're talking years down the road.
Sure, of course.
It's
Let's
not
say at least
something
10
now,
years. At least 10
you know,
years, right?
but
At least 10
there's-
years.
There's developments coming out down there.
Yeah.
All those developments help to raise tax revenue for the city. The problem is we just don't get it to see. People don't even understand how taxes work in this city. That's the problem. Is everybody says the valuations go up, and that has nothing to do with your how much money you pay in taxes. It's all relative to the whole picture. So when you increase the big pie, you got 6 kids, you want a bigger pie, right? If I'm only got 3, I can get a smaller one. That pie is what it is. So the law only allows you to increase that pie by new growth, and it goes. So a lesson for people on how taxes actually work is important for you and to the listeners, and so people actually understand. It's not just my house went up in value by $200,000.
Right.
It's how does that $600,000 house now reflect across the millions of property? So it's all relative.
Yes.
But a guy like Mike Rodrigues is somebody. But when are we going to see some benefits? From some of this development? We keep getting more developments. We keep getting more developments. The water bills are through the roof.
Sure.
The taxes are going up. People can't afford to pay.
Okay.
I know you talked about Cliff Ponte. I helped him with his election 2 years ago. Go back and see some of his flyers and some of the things he said. Right, spot on. Spot on. He said everything was going to go up by 13%. He was wrong. It went up more than 13%. But everybody criticized him, saying he was a conspiracy theorist and whatever. Go back and look at some of the flyers and what people said. So at some point, we need some relief.
Sure.
If the city has relief, it might not come in at 2.5.
Right.
But why are we spending all this money on water bills? We don't supplement anything from that's a direct to the homeowners cutting down your water bill.
Sure.
So you take $2-3 million and take it and put it towards a water bill, so that it reduces the water.
For everybody.
There's
Everybody
different
gets a
types
little
of things.
bit.
We got
Right.
all this free cash. We
Right.
talk about the Watcher City Council about an EMS building that we should have built. Why the hell didn't we build an EMS building when we had $70 million?
No, we're just going to continue to pay $3.2 million in,
So ultimately,
in rent.
those are the type of things that, as a citizen, I watch, and I really feel like there's some things that we should be doing differently.
Sure.
I'm also big for the school department getting 100% of this spending. So the city has not as much money as the schools. The schools have been what you said earlier on.
Yep.
Well, that means that we should pay 100%. The city puts in their portion, but they shouldn't put in more. And ultimately, what recently happened that nobody's even talking about was the city had to put in millions of dollars.
So like
$8 million over because of the health insurance and some pension costs that the city actually has to pay, but the city councilors don't even know anything about it.
What?
I said this at a forum, and I said, how do you go over by $8 million?
Watch the debate. I called them on it.
When it goes down, for instance, 2 years ago, they were below. I was a big proponent of, no, you pay the 100%. So if the city owes us $1 million, pay us the $1 million.
Yep.
But at the same time, I said, but I'm fair in that if it was over, we should have a mechanism that the school department would have to pay. All of a sudden, that goes out of the window. Everybody quietly says that the city had to pay $8 million. The city councilors don't even know this happened. A few of them do, but most of them don't. And it's just not right. So for the whole city, if you had $8 million that you could reduce the fees for the taxpayers, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
And ultimately, nobody wants to discuss it. I asked this question at the school committee. I was told one thing, then all of a sudden, it was $8 million. Hey, if the city's
8.1 or something.
if the city's going to pay and not come after the school department, I work for the schools. Like, hey, shame on you. You don't have the mechanism in place so that we can have extra money.
No.
And then so they went over. So I said to the CFO, what are we going to do next year? And the answer was, we hope it's going to go down.
Oh, we hope.
Health insurance is going to go down. Hope.
Yeah, because that always
the hell
happens.
is that?
Health insurance
So-
always goes down.
So ultimately,
This is great.
we have some issues going on in the school department and in the city
Yeah.
that we need, regardless of who's mayor,
Reactive.
we need to get people on the school committee to ask questions. City council, the same thing. The city council in my opinion, I know most councilors, and I think they do a nice job. They need to get a little tougher with the mayor because, you probably don't even know this. Do you know why the city council when opera funds came in, you mentioned the opera funds?
Yeah.
The city council had zero say in every one of those money, $70 million.
What?
Yep.
Zero. And I'll tell you the reason why, because I have a memory of these crazy things. Ultimately, Cliff Ponte was the chair, and they said, well, we're going to come before you, and you have to accept the money. Thinking, like anything else, you accept the money, and then we're still going to have a say in how it gets divided.
To
So they got him to agree to pay the $70 million. You can fact check me. Once they agreed that they said to do it, the mayor came down and said, hey, by the way, you guys have no say. We're spending it on whatever we want. So the only thing they ever had a say on was when the Bristol County ARPA funds came in and the city council had to approve it.
Which was only like 14 million.
Fact check me.
Right.
Fact check me.
Yeah.
Ask Cliff Ponte.
Yep.
At the end of the day, they had zero say in any of the money from that $70 million. And I'm paraphrasing the best I can.
Yeah, sure.
Something happened. And that was it. That they basically snookered the council, got them to agree to something, and said, sorry, you voted for it. So now you gave the mayor carte blanche authority to spend it on whatever he wants.
And he absolutely did.
That's a fact.
Whatever he wanted. And here we are with $500 million budget and nothing to show for anything that he spent that money on.
Fact check me.
God, you're breaking my heart.
I
He's not
encourage
wrong.
you to
We
fact
did
check.
shows on, we
breaking
did
my
shows
heart,
on this for
man.
years.
This is insane.
We told the people for years this was happening.
Yeah, but
this
nobody,
is what was going on.
guys, nobody knows this stuff. Like,
But-
nobody knows this. Nobody knows this.
We try to tell people. Nobody wants to listen. We can't force people to care, right? Because it doesn't affect their everyday life. But now it does, right? Now it is. Now it's affecting your everyday life because now the cost of living is exponentially larger, right?
Yes.
It's through the roof.
Yes.
And the average person is struggling, and rents are where they are, and now it makes it tougher.
Yeah.
So now you stop paying attention.
Yeah.
Now we gotta whittle it back and work backwards.
Yeah.
When this man had the most money ever given to any mayor in any time.
Hypothetical question. Bobby Couto, architect, right? And I design a building that's 100 stories, right? And I say, hey guys, I want to build this in 79. Who do I hand those prints to, and who's going to approve that or deny it?
State. Right now, state.
So the city has no say in that whatsoever.
You're going to hand it to whoever in the process comes out. So there'll be a time where there's going to be a request. This is how you do it if you're a developer.
Okay.
And that's how it is. Sometimes you have a consultant so that you can hire a consultant to say, I'm going to go market like the biopark.
Okay. Yep.
So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
biopark we paid, I think it's called Honeyman. Don't know why I remember that, but we paid for years. We paid money to this company called Honeyman, which was worked with Ken Fiola and
Are they like a
the RDA. They're a consultant in the field.
Okay.
Consultant to the consultant.
But they tried like hell to try to get it. A marketing, talk at real estate, whatever. Like when you're trying to market a property for this certain thing.
Yep.
Was legit.
Yeah, that makes
it wasn't
sense to me.
legit, but ultimately we didn't get anything out of it because no companies wanted to come for that. It might be legit reasons, but at the time that's what we sold. So same thing might happen. What if they said we can market this, but we need the Bobby Couto marketing expert to come in and be the guy who has the connections to this one and that one? That's fine. You do it a transparent process. Through a company.
Right.
So it's basically all process oriented.
But do you have faith that that's going to happen?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
I do. I have faith
do.
because I have faith in the legislatures. I have a lot of faith in Mike Rodrigues as the Senate president, Senate Ways and Means chair.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to just release something that he doesn't think is going to work.
Yes.
Knowing his past history of
Yes.
what I'm concerned about, he'll have checks and balances, all that stuff. So I do think it's going to be a
I agree.
process.
I'm just playing devil's advocate here, but I absolutely agree that the state should control that. I think it should be a design where checks and balances, and you realize that we're making good decisions, and it's we checked it twice, not just once, but we checked it twice. Agreed?
Absolutely should always be
Right.
checks and balances.
All right.
I
So-
agree 110% with what he's
I
saying.
kind of
as
know.
far as
I
the
know what you
policy.
want for the
Absolutely.
79. What would you like to see at 79? Like you lifelong, like you've seen it down there. What would you like to see?
I think there needs to be walking areas, where people can actually spend some time walking, some access to the waterfront. I think is important. But also the main piece would be to increase the property values of that area, which in turn will decrease the property taxes for other people. Because the more commercial, like in New Bedford, New Bedford has the port. You take that whole port out of New Bedford. What does New Bedford's taxes do? So the more things that you can get that are actually built up, actually are going to help the taxpayer. At the same time, talk about I don't know. I'm talking about city issues, but it's fine. There should be a fire station down there. There should be a parcel of land down there. I've heard it from a couple people, including a firefighter. There's going to be so much down there. We're worried about all these fire
That's a
stations.
great
that are broken.
point.
Yeah, I don't think
Why
I
are
don't
we
think
not-
just fire, but I agree with public
Like, there
safety
has
down
to
there,
be
yeah.
some
Like an
sort of
emergency
there should be
building.
a station.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
Because
yeah.
you got all these openings.
That's
you know
a
what I mean?
great
So
point, yeah.
Yeah,
you should
that's
have
absolutely.
those things, but that comes with planning. That comes with thought. I'm not saying they're not doing that.
No, right.
People
right,
are
right,
good people
right.
are on it. They're thinking about it.
Yeah.
But that's one that I think needs to help. When you look at all those roads going back and forth, they're all divided. It's a little different.
Yeah.
There's that big walking sidewalk, which everybody wonders what that is. Have you ever seen it?
Yes.
So it's like it looks like a road on the side of the road.
It does.
But that's for the opportunity for people to move, to people to be able to get from point A to point B. Yeah. There's other things that they could do down there. You can. Yeah. It's basically like a quality of life. As you get all these apartments, you're going to need amenities. You're going to have different restaurants, whether it's a hotel. All those things are good for economic development.
Yep.
And I think we just need to trust the people that we have doing it, but verify.
So if I live on Durfee Street, if I own property on Durfee Street, I might be a little concerned, right? Because now my view might be impacted by this development. I did mention it to Sean Kadim, and I said, hey, what do you say to the guy who says, hey, I have a beautiful view. I watch the sunset every day. And now this guy who just happened to show up from Russia decides that he's going to build a building right over here, and now I no longer have my view. What do you say to that person?
I say that when you purchased a house, it wasn't a waterfront property with rights to do that. So you can't stifle development, when you don't have a property that was a part of like waterfront. There's regulations in it. There's variances, there's zoning, there's different types of things that you can build up to a certain degree, no matter where it is. So you have to, balance it. Yep. That person doesn't have a lifelong, like if you buy a house on the water with water dock right there, that's different. Nobody's going to go put a big boat in front of you.
There's a lot of space.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you're going to have some of that stuff,
Yeah.
but progress and moving the city forward has to be the number one piece.
Yes.
You can't just say, well, we're not going to build it.
Somebody actually brought that up to my attention. And they're like, well, what is my still getting assessed?
You ever watch the zoning meeting for that property?
Yeah.
That was well done. The way that they, the guys are going to invest, I think it was $70 million, some kind of crazy number. Yep. And what they're doing in it, with the parking underneath and the amenities and
they're utilizing the space. It's definitely
they're definitely maximizing the space down there. But I think what people don't understand, and it's something you could probably jump on, is just try to figure out what is the impact of $70 million development when that's all said and done. What is that to your property or to the next door property or to your property? What is that going to have effect? What effect is that going to have when it's all fully done and they're all paid for? What is that going to have on whatever?
Yes.
Is it going to help us or is it just going to hurt us?
100%.
I personally believe that the more revenue and you build up, it's going to lower the taxes.
Sure.
Well,
ultimately.
What revenue is that bringing in, though?
The revenue from
So if
their
it's
taxes.
all rental units, right? All rentals.
Yep.
It's not like it's not condos. It's not property taxed, right? What revenue is it bringing in with 160 new rental people?
I think it's because the property itself. So even if it's rented, or condo.
Well, most of these are tipped and tied anyway, so they're not paying taxes anyway.
But
so
what I'm
until
saying
that
is,
wears out.
Yep, but I think that people don't understand, and Sean does a good job of this explaining. This
Yeah, he does a good
sometimes
job.
at thing.
Absolutely.
So I think that like a one pager. I always say in the school committee, we need one pagers. A good one pager from somebody to say what is the effect of that property. Let's just use that one for an example.
Yeah, of course.
So if that's a $70 million investment, that means that property's worth $70 million when it's all said and done. All the after anything.
Yep.
So what does an effect of $70 million have on your taxes?
Sure.
What did the effect when St. Anne's Hospital went from a nonprofit to profit around 2008 or whatever the time was? What did that do to the property taxes? What is it when Somerset had Brayton Point fully funded? What does that have the effect on this? Brayton Point's gone. So what effect does that going have effect on all the residents in Somerset based on the tax laws?
Sure.
I think people should look at it before they jump because they'd be probably a little surprised that it's going to help to level things off a little bit.
Right. I mean, I think, in all fairness, and I don't want to speak for anybody, but I think people are a little like gun shy. I think people are just assuming that it's always somebody's up to something. Like nobody's saying, "Oh, they're doing this for the better of my community, and this is good for my kids, and this is good for the school."
We're so used to them never doing anything to better.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
It's always to better the several people.
I think you have
when
you have
you
resistance.
see the one pager,
you have the yes.
When they sent out the one pager on exactly what that development was going to do to your taxes, this, that, and the other thing, did it make a difference? You can't say that because it didn't happen. So that's the problem. If people don't know what it truly means, they have to know what is it really going to do to affect it.
Yes.
Because at that point, if it's going to not help us, why the hell are we doing it?
Correct.
There's a reason why it gets developed. They just passed a recent ordinance. Sean did it, with the affordable housing as part of any of those developments.
Yeah.
Not low income, but like affordable.
Yeah.
That should have been done years ago. why is that not done? So now every one of those properties where they have 1,000 units they're going to build is going to have an affordable component to it if the city passes that ordinance that he does, that he presented.
proposed, yep.
So ultimately, those little decisions, you take 1,000 units and you make 10% of them affordable. How many affordable extra units do you have down on the waterfront? 100 or 1,000, so I just think people don't understand. And they're a little cynical. And they're like, this is crazy. Somebody's going to line their pockets.
Yes,
How you do that
that's
is
what
you
it
say-
is. That's what the
How you
MO
do it
is.
is you have a process, and you say nobody's lining
Transparency,
their
right?
pockets. And if anybody's
Transparency.
lining their pockets, it's got to stop.
Yep.
That's what people don't do. They
Well,
don't
right
talk
now
like
we don't
that.
have that process. That's
No,
the matter.
that's exactly
Right now we
it.
don't have that process, and we know the select few that continue to do that.
Right.
We know people have paid money instead of paying fees or paying like the real fees instead. Oh, just pay me for this instead. We know that that's happened here, and that's the problem. People are bitter about that stuff.
Yeah, and I think it as things happen, whether they're true or not true, people start to get whoa, what's up with that?
Yeah.
Oh, Boomer got money for that, or Bobby got money for that, or he's on the side, he's on the as people start talking about that, you got to be transparent.
Yeah.
So you nip it in the butt.
Yeah,
No,
but
that's
the
not
same,
gonna.
the same names keep popping up. Kevin.
Right.
The same
But,
names keep bubbling to the top, and
But
you're like,
I think it's fair questions to ask, and then it makes sure it's transparent.
Yeah.
If anybody that is doing stuff, if somebody's making money on the side, they shouldn't be. But check it out.
yeah, but how do we know that? We don't know that, right?
Well, nobody asked.
But
either.
then what'll happen is
But
we
nobody
don't know,
asks.
and then the person that did the deal will be like, "Hey, you know that guy just took me for what?" And you're like,
Nobody
"What?"
asks. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
here's an example, something in the school department. About 3 years ago, I got word from a constituent or from somebody else that said, we have a garage that's at the Durfee High School where the person that works in maintenance is actually fixing cars for the public inside the garage, inside our garage that we pay for. Obviously, that's wrong. So I immediately took it to this Maria Ponce and Paul Coogan, right in Maria Ponce's office, sitting like the three of us.
Yeah.
And I said, this is wrong. This needs to be stopped, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The mayor told me to get out of the weeds. Maria Ponce investigates it and tells the guy, take your tools out. It was all true. Take your tools out. And I said, that's it? That's it? So 3 years ago, I've been fighting this for 3 years now. So now we keep going. I keep on saying we need to investigate this. We need to investigate this. Outside investigation. Nope, nothing. We told him it's over. It's over. Why do you keep bringing it up? I said, because it's not right. Guy's fixing cars. It's illegal. He's running a business out of our property.
Until he gets killed in there, and then we have a major lawsuit because this guy's on the city property.
So here's an example. So that happened. So now I keep asking. So that guy and another guy go to the school committee meeting, says, Kevin Aguiar's like trying to not get me a job and all this other stuff, all nonsense. School committee votes to investigate me. So they vote to investigate me with an outside attorney.
I bet I know who the yes votes were.
So then they investigate me. I said, go ahead. The guy was running an illegal garage. You guys said it's okay. So long story short, we bring it up. It comes back. Yep, he didn't do anything wrong. But yeah, the guy had a garage, but they told him to take his tools out. And then, whatever, it came up $21,000 later out of the school department. $21,000 to investigate a guy that accused me of something, saying I wasn't giving him a promotion, which I have no say in his promotion. So then we said, well, we're going to go talk about this in the back. I said, no, we're not. I got a right. I'm putting it in a public meeting. So now we put it in a public meeting, cost him $7,000 more to have a lawyer redact it. So nobody knew what the heck was in it. So now it comes out $27,000 later. We got an illegal garage that was never dealt with, and it's still never dealt with. It's still never dealt with, including this is going on 3 years. Now, the reason why I tell you this story is that's why people feel like they do.
Yes.
Because so many people know Kevin's bringing up a thing about an illegal garage. If it was not true, just
There's
do
no
the investigation and
accountability.
clear it.
Yeah,
So
right.
when you wonder why do people think this way, if they're saying people put money in their pockets and whatever, and we don't like look into it or say like we investigated it or how hold people accountable, they're going to keep on thinking the same. So now anybody out there thinks, hell, if the guy could run an illegal garage, what else is going on?
Right.
Whereas they had a chance to nip it in the butt and say, no,
That's
$27,000. It's on record. They spent an outside attorney to investigate me over that. But 5 months now, I've asked both Tracy Curley and the mayor to investigate Kelly Furtado's comments about covering up sexual inappropriate behavior.
Yeah.
And they didn't spend not $1 on a private person or anybody to investigate it. Not one. But
they
they
don't
spent
wanna know.
$27,000 here. I say, no, that's not right. And it chips away at the people's idea that no, we're going to look into stuff and we'll,
There goes all that transparency, all that accountability talk, right? It's all words to these people. It's not a thing that happens. It's not a thing that happens. But we'll waste any amount of money to get rid of the people that stand up to them. That's what they do.
Yeah. I mean, imagine being these people coming forward and being like, "Hey, I had this really tragic thing happened," right? And you're like, "Wow, I'm so sorry that this happened to you. We're gonna make this right." And then all of a sudden,
They don't.
nothing.
They don't.
Nothing.
They try to. It's instant cover up.
And I think everybody loses credibility, right? From the person that took that took the complaint all the way down. Well, they never did anything. They just ignored me. They don't care. You know.
And sometimes if you investigate, not everything everybody
Sure.
throws out there is true.
Right,
Correct.
two
But
sides
the way
in the
to
middle.
deal with it is you investigate it and you say, what was the situation?
Absolutely.
So some
Unless you
people just
already
don't
know.
want to talk about it.
Unless you already know.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
feel like with the lawsuit that is coming up, and the lady put it forward. All I did was help somebody who came to me, not knowing who the person is.
Sure.
She came to me and said she'd been harassed. She was, not happy with how it went down, and I tried to help her. So if the mayor or anybody else thinks they want to make me guilty of anything, I'll guilty as charged. That I tried helping somebody who came to me as a school committee member that said that they were sexually inappropriately, treated or harassed in any way. Yeah, then guilty as charged as far as I'm concerned. But they just don't look at it like that and just investigate it, clear it up, figure it out. Instead, we let these things go on, and then we're paying people severance packages to leave and not get into it. The thing with the chief is unbelievable.
Right.
It's just unbelievable. The money that they're spending to try to ruin a person,
Right. Right.
is beyond. It's beyond. Okay, so I think it was on your show about the head president or something saying he's not working or whatever. He hasn't worked since she got the job.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not. So that's a fact.
Right.
So why is it such a surprise to anybody?
Right.
And that's the reason why they got a no confidence vote, and that's the reason why all this stuff happened. So of course they're going to do the endorsements the way they do or whatever. But why don't we just talk about the reality?
So
of
glad
it?
I didn't say that.
But
I'm so glad I'm the only one who doesn't just see it, right? Like,
Right.
But that's
everybody
the thing.
talks like I just
Right.
make this stuff up, right?
Right.
So
But
that's
that's the reality.
That is the problem. And then I said at a city council forum on Frank Baptiste's show, because the city councilors were sitting there, and I said,
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you like it is. Everybody says there's crime. We need more people on the streets, not less.
Correct.
I said, so if that's the case, why did when Chief Garvin was let go and Chief Furtado came in, there's more people working behind desks that were sworn officers than before.
Yes.
Yes.
Like it's backwards.
yeah.
What is wrong with these people?
I heard that.
So
That's the whole problem.
but that's
Everybody wants a cushy job. Nobody wants the real job.
at the end of the day, it's not. I'm not trying to badmouth her.
No, that's not what this is
All I'm
about.
saying
That's not what this is
that
about.
The guy wasn't treated right.
Right.
But ultimately, there's a lot of things that have happened that make no sense. That people need to start scratching the surface and questioning.
Right.
And at that point, the truth will come out and in time. But ultimately, we need to.
As long as it comes out after tomorrow, they're okay with it.
Yeah.
That's the reality, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's their best chance. As
I
long
got
as
one
it
more for
As
you.
long as it comes out
while
after
I'm on
November 4th.
while I'm on the topic
Love
of public safety.
Do it.
In order to be a police officer in Fall River, do you have to live in Fall River?
I think you should.
No. Do you have to?
I don't. No. No.
Yes. So the way that the council and the mayor and
be
everybody
hired here.
operates, in order to get hired to be a police officer,
Yeah, but the chief used to live in.
no, not the chief. The
Not the
chief does
chief.
Oh,
contract.
that's different.
This is
Oh,
just a
okay. I
patrol
knew the
officer.
chief, and he used to
Patrol
live in
officers.
Freetown. That's
So
why
all
I
I'm
got
saying-
sorry. All right.
So all I'm saying is, here's a fact. So
Okay.
they can get the job. So you apply for the job. You got to live in Fall River, and then after 18 months or some period of time, 2 years, you can move up to 20 miles away. So we in Fall River are losing the middle class. But we're paying middle class wages to a police officer to say you have to live here. But then we let them leave. I've been saying this, and other candidates for city council have said this. One of them his name is Mario Duarte. Over the years, said the same thing. So if over the last 5 years we hired 200 new officers, we allowed 200 middle class families to leave because we don't change our rules.
Wow.
So if you don't have to do that, if you're going to leave in 2 years, why do we have to live here? That's why we can't fill positions.
Right.
What if we opened it up to anybody?
Right.
Because if you're going to let them leave after 18
Yeah.
months,
What's the point?
What the hell's the point?
Then let everybody come in.
That's
Yeah,
why you have
yeah.
$15 million in free cash, because when Garvin was the chief and the current chief, they have positions that are budgeted that never going to be filled. So they know ahead of time that you're going to cut all those positions.
But we're funding it anyway.
But why are we not sending it out? We need people.
Yes,
Whether
yes.
you're here or not.
Regardless.
If you let you leave,
Yeah.
why are we going to make you stay
Then it doesn't
in order
matter.
to get the job?
Right. Right.
Increase the population of people that are
100%.
actually willing to do
Yes,
the job.
yes.
But I digress on the city side politics, but what I can tell you is that is not a secret. I mean, it's just a fact, but it's not talked about. We have city council that says we have an ordinance, resident ordinance, but nobody follows that either, including in this. Like a lot of
only
stuff
follow
is
the
talked,
ordinance
it's
when it
never
works for
followed
them.
through.
Correct.
But what I'm telling, and then somebody will say, well, why can't teachers? Why can't you do the same? Because you don't have to be a teacher. You don't have to live in Fall River to be a teacher. And that's like you need a master's degree and all this other stuff. But my point is, if you are forcing the person to live here to get the job, go to the academy, get the job, that makes it different.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? When it
Yes.
gets to be a chief and it's a contract, the city council or the mayor can say, you have to live here. You want to be chief, you got to live here.
Yeah.
How much safer would our neighborhoods
Yeah, I
be?
think that's fair.
How
I
many-
think that's 100%.
Well, how much safer
Yes.
You
would
have
our
a much more
neighborhoods be?
vested interest
Yes.
if you have to live in the
Absolutely.
city.
200. Look at the
Absolutely.
numbers and find out how many don't live here. And I'm not picking on police. I love
No,
police
sure,
officers.
sure.
of
No,
course.
right, right.
Ultimately,
That's not what
though,
this is about.
But what
Yeah.
I'm saying is, if we had 200 people
Yeah.
that are on the force that lived here, that's 200 more middle class families that we have
Yes, that-
work in the neighborhoods that are going to
Pride.
maybe look out and say, "Oh, that guy's
Pride.
a little shady. This one's a little whatever."
Yes.
And if we did
And their
that,
taxes are affected.
there's
based on the
ways that they
decisions.
should do it. I also think they should get a discount if you live here.
Agreed.
You know, things like that. But
I like this.
you
I
know,
like
but
this.
Ultimately, where we're going to go with the city, we have to start doing some different things. Some bold
I
things
agree
and
with
actually talk.
incentivizing the first responders to live here and be here. I agree with that part on the tax drive, stuff like that.
It makes sense to me.
To a point of even to fill and hire.
Yeah.
You know, you come here, you work here. You know, you get it. You know, you whatever. I don't care if it's tax free for 24 months or whatever, 5 years, whatever it may be. But at least at a discounted rate to live here and stay here and protect our city. So I agree with that, and that is part of something I am.
And I'm not saying
looking
they're
into.
doing nothing. You know, I
right,
just know
right,
those
right.
issues. Like they're trying to do something, get more people in to through the test, try to get more officers and stuff like raise the pay, which they did, all that stuff.
Now
But
they're pulling from outside and trying
ultimately,
that.
you got to
Nothing's
try to do something that you can't just keep doing the same thing and hoping for a different result.
Yeah.
And you know, the more we talk, the more we get together, the more I think the school committee, city council needs to get together. We have in the charter we have to meet, you know, once a year to go over stuff.
I think it should be more than that.
You watch go watch one of those meetings. It's a total waste of time because we don't have a conversation. It's a presentation of all this nonsense. It doesn't get to like what we're having as a conversation. What about that? What about this?
Right.
City council has even said at the debate at Frank Baptista's show, this was a great conversation because we were
Because you actually
shooting
get to
ideas
have a
back and forth.
conversation.
Right, right,
It's not
right,
just
right.
somebody throwing up slides on the thing and saying, "What? Anybody got any questions?" Because we want to go home. And then I raise my hand, ask a question, and I got guys like Seth Aiken, the city administrator, turning around and laughing at me. That's what was going on in the real world here. So ultimately, we got to be able to sit down and have discussions.
Yes.
I told the school department they have to meet with the state reps and the senator on a regular basis. For 4 years, I've been telling them. They still haven't had one meeting with them. School committee can't do it because we'd have to have it as an open meeting.
Yeah, right,
But they should be doing it to talk about the laws, the regulations, the things that are
course.
changing, special education,
Yes.
all this stuff.
Yes.
Nope, no meetings. 4 years in a row. Wow. But I need to say that the superintendent's exemplary, like the mayor does, after 3 months on the job. That's the part of the problem that we need to change. So you got me going a little bit now. But
No,
Listen, but that's
you
what
know,
the people need. That's
think,
the problem. Is
you
that
know,
stuff
Kevin,
doesn't
nobody
get out,
knows this. Kevin, I'm hearing
That's what we
a lot
do.
of this. I'm hearing it for the first time, and I'm almost embarrassed because I love my city. Like
Because
and
you don't know this stuff happens,
No, I
right?
just-
Like,
right,
Unfortunately, we do because we want to run for these positions. We have to learn this
Well,
stuff.
and in most cases,
But even then, it's like we still get surprised by something. It's like,
Sure,
wait a minute, I didn't even
sure.
know that person was involved. How
Sure.
did they get paid?
Right.
Like these are the things that come up, and you have the experience and you have that time. So that the people have an important decision to make tomorrow.
Yes.
On who to vote for to run their city, to do it better, to do it more transparent, to do it more effectively and efficiently, and they don't know any of this.
Boomer, would you
And that's
agree
a problem.
that this would be the results of complacency, like just being complacent to everything, just
Yes.
not paying attention and just allowing things to just happen?
And I think it happens to everyone.
You know,
at
and-
some point in life, it happens to everyone. But I think at some point in life, everybody wakes up when it affects you directly.
Sure.
But it affects people at different times and different reasons, right?
Right.
You know, you don't know how corrupt and how much cover up stuff goes on until your daughter goes through it, right?
Yeah.
You don't realize
Right.
that, and then
Right.
all the connections. Like, wait a minute, how
Right.
this whole family is here,
Right.
and they're the ones in charge of this.
No.
How is that okay?
Right.
You know, where's the transparency in that? Where
Right.
where the hell's the freaking oversight in that? So that's where you. But until that happens to you, you don't know.
But
right?
see, you know, I think even the line of sight, I think for most people, the line of sight is very short, and you don't see the other side of it. So,
Very
for
narrow.
example, I drive around the city, right? I hit potholes everywhere, and I'm mad. Oh, the city, my potholes, right? But how about every vehicle that is owned by the city, right? Every ambulance, every police car, right? Every vehicle that drives over those potholes, it's ball joints, it's tires, it's rims. So it's not just this little problem. It's this huge problem that if you actually looked at the numbers and what the taxpayers are paying because of the complacency, like I think we'd be like blown away. I think it would be absolutely blown away, right?
If we took care of our problems and maintained, and that's everywhere, right? School departments, city, school buildings, all this stuff, right? If we maintained everything, it would be cheaper than what we do, and we react to everything.
One pagers.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
I love that.
So what happens
I'm
is
gonna have
like you
a
just
wall full of
explained the
one-pagers.
situation about what everybody thinks. Potholes, streets, certain ones get done, certain ones take forever, certain ones people need to pay attention to the city council meetings when the directors go up and down and explain what they're doing for the funds, how
Yes.
they're leveraging funds from Chapter 90 along with these other funds, how minuscule the amount of money is that we're actually giving as part of the budget. So they only have so much money to work with, how much money it costs to do a street.
Yep.
People have no idea what it
No
costs
idea.
to do a street, curb to curb, sidewalks, and everything else. So one pages, learning opportunities are there so that people start to get to understand.
And it's not whole packets.
You know?
The problem is if we put something out, we put out this whole thing that confuses everybody.
Sure.
Just put a
But
simple
even
layman's term.
presentations,
That's
like
it.
so when they do presentations, people don't pay attention to the city council. I asked in school department a lot of times, somebody comes up, tell us what you're doing, because you're doing some good stuff. Tell the people at the meeting, but that means you can't end meetings at 10:30,
Right.
Because we're gonna have to,
We got to
make some
elaborate.
things.
Yeah.
So the city needs to do an overhaul of what are they actually being transparent with? How are you telling people? I'm not suggesting that they put enough money into this, but are we getting a good bang for the buck that we're spending?
Yep.
I would say that we are. But ask those questions. Those are the questions that they should be saying.
Yes.
This is what we can do. You fill a pothole and you don't do it right, then it's going to be back in essence.
Do it again and
You
again
know,
and
somebody
again.
says about the parks have there's no people to help in the parks. So, like, those are the things that the council, I think, needs to hold the administration accountable, not just at budget time. How many of these did we have? You know, what is the percentage
I agree.
of what is the percentage of public safety in this city paid for by the school, and I don't know this answer,
Sure.
from 10 years ago till today. So 10 years ago, police and fire might have been whatever percent of the overall city budget.
Yep.
What is it now?
What is it now?
Wouldn't that be a great thing to actually
That
have
would-
people actually say?
right.
Because now that tells you where's your priorities. Are
Yes.
you actually
Here's a snapshot.
doing this or you're doing that?
Yes.
We don't do that. We just say, well, we got X amount here. Somebody said it the other day on Facebook. I think somebody put how many firemen we had, how many police we've had over the years till now. Like,
Oh, I didn't
you
see
can kind
that.
of know what the percentage is going to be.
Yeah.
But so it's what are your priorities?
Mm.
But they don't do that. The budget gets done, all these vacancies. We were at a forum and they said there's $15 million. Councilor Dion was there, Councilor Pereira, and a couple of candidates.
Mm.
They said this free cash was $15 million.
Free cash. I hate that they
Something
call
like
it
that.
that.
Or, you know,
Yeah, it was
so,
15 million and now it's 30. It's 30 million.
So what I said to them at the time was, you know what, that would be great. Monday morning, call the city hall, find out where the $15 million came from, every single line item, and post it on the internet. I told all the candidates that. Nobody did it yet, but that's ultimately. So don't talk about $15 million. What was it?
Right,
Where was those
right.
$15 million that we didn't spend?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us all. Put it right down.
Show us where that
Show
waste
it where-
is. So
Right.
now we
if that-
clearly don't need
If that was the case, how the hell did that happen? So then next year you either don't need that much money, or what could you have done with that during that time? If you spent out of that 15 million in free cash, if you spent half of that in roads, what do you think they could have done with all those potholes you just talked about? They're not making the investment
Right.
in it.
So do you think
Well,
it was
that's
an
where we see
accident?
it, though.
Do you think it was an accident?
An accident.
The,
What?
fi- the 15 million or the 30 million?
When
did-
you build a budget and you know there's vacancies anyway, like in the police department, there was probably 40 vacancies, 30 vacancies added up. I mean, 80,000 times 30, you know.
Wow.
You're
It adds
talking
up
real
That
money.
happens
so,
quick,
So what happens is
yeah.
they know it's going to happen. So then they let it go. Then it falls through
Yeah.
into a free cash. They put it in stabilization account. Then they can fund it to fund the $8 million for the schools that was over net school spending, whatever else it is. It's like this little thing, but they can tell you that they do
Shenanigans.
zero-based
this stuff up.
budgeting.
Shenanigans.
Like every single dollar is paid for. You know, like every budget.
Absolutely.
No, that
Yep.
does not. If that was the case, you wouldn't have $15 million left over.
Correct. They're not doing zero-based
So
anything.
See,
They can only
see?
say it, but they don't
nobody's
do it,
asking that,
so-
Kevin. Nobody's going, "Hey, well, we got $15 million. That's great." But where? Where did it come from? Right?
They know where it's coming from. The problem is they want to use it for what they want. Nobody's ever. They're never. You heard. If you go back and watch the last debate on RVBD, whatever it is, the Portuguese.
Voz
you were there.
Voz de
You heard him
yeah,
say,
Voz de Ignorância,
"And,
yeah.
we're going to do it on capital projects and do." You can't do that. You can't do that. But he just says these things because he doesn't even know you can't do that. And he's the mayor. That's the problem. So when you look, like, that money adds up, $8.1 or $8.2 million came in for excise tax. Engineering came down and said we can only handle $5 million a year.
Yeah.
So this $3.2 million. Guess where that goes?
What would you do with the 30 mil?
What's that?
What would you do with the 30 mil?
Fix just about freaking everything. Giving money back would be ideal, right? Lowering taxes, lowering costs, cutting something.
Yeah, but Puma,
would be great,
listen,
right?
I don't want it
I
back,
have to
bro.
go through the
Just
budget
fix
to
it.
see where
I
the
don't want it
cuts are.
back. I already gave it to you.
I-
You have
listen,
it.
and
Just
I get
use it to do
I get
good.
it. But that's the thing is you have to see where that money is coming from. I have to know because I have to know what we're overcharging people for,
Of course.
and what we're not getting as a result,
Yeah.
right? So now we have to figure that part out. So now when you go through and you figure that out, we're tracking $15 million. This guy comes in all happy. No, we got $30 million actually.
Yeah.
You're happy that you stole $30 million. Do I think you need stabilization? Absolutely. I understand that. Shit happens, right? Do I think you need more than 10 million? No. $30 million. And this man's about to increase the budget again by what? 67 million?
Who makes that decision? Him?
What was it last time? Last budget was what? 434, and this one's 516. Do the math.
Yeah, so I think those are complicated numbers because the school
Yeah.
department's included in it.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah, yeah.
You know, but
so
at the
say
end of
say
the
on the
day-
city side, say it's 47 million because the school department
Yeah.
went up, right? So let's say 47 million.
There's like
You have
an
30
industry
million
standard.
extra. It's wild.
There's
to
an
me.
industry standard in government where how much you should have in stabilization.
Okay.
There's increased costs for retirement, pension, a lot of things that people don't realize
Yep.
has to come. So the 30 million goes quick when you, it goes quick to add up, and it also goes quick when you want to spend something. That one page should be, what is the levy for 2.5%? So if the city and the mayor raise your taxes 2.5%, what is the yield in millions?
Yep.
You find that out. That's it. They can't raise more. When they said we're going to build Diamond, now Diamond's $6 million a year. So in order to pay for Diamond, that's double the tax levy. In order to do your entire tax levy at 2.5% is double what I think it's like 3 million, whatever
3
the number
million,
is.
yeah.
But it adds up. When you were paying for Durfee High School, when
But Durfee was only supposed to be 32, and it's over 5 too. Where's
Right.
that money going?
So when Durfee was made, we went to the taxpayers. They said we're going to do a debt exclusion, pay for it. At the time, Mayor Correa, Jazel Correa, and Paul Coogan was on the school committee at the time, said we were going to spend $8 million, 8 years. We were going to spend $3.6 million for 8 years. That's what they told everybody, including me, because I went out and supported
3.6.
Okay.
Remember
So
that
3.6 times 8,
Okay.
that comes out to around 30 million
Okay.
total. As soon as they became mayor and the building got built, they went to the entire levy for the most part, $6 million a year for 30 years. So 6 times 30 is 180 million.
What? For 30
That's 100
years?
Yes. So that's $150 million difference in what because Jazel Correa's administration was going to pay for some of that out of the regular budget, but they went to the full levy, and then Mayor Coogan will say, well, we gave a discount of $2 million and we used some opera funds or whatever to give them a discount for $2 million, but ultimately we're going to the full levy on the taxes. So now Diamond is $6 million and Durfee is $6 million, basically.
It's like 5.
So that's
$5.4
$12 million
or something
in annual expenses the city has just to pay for those two schools. But half of that money can come in addition to the taxes from the citizens. So if we want to save money on the taxpayers, don't go to the full levy. Go to what you promised the taxpayers when you went out for have them vote for it. But they're going to the double levy. But they got a few opera funds to like appease you to say we gave you a discount. All facts, all the numbers. But ultimately so then it's 10, 12, 13 million dollars per year just for those two schools. That doesn't include all the other schools we've built, doesn't include other bonding, police cars, fire trucks.
Yeah, right,
It's
right,
a complicated.
right. Oh, yeah, right,
This is
right.
a complicated situation, where and you need people that are competent with figures and the
course.
numbers. And that's why I was saying before, you need
That's why when he sits there and talks about his OCPF account and his budgeting, he doesn't do this. He's not smart enough to do this, right? Like, let's be real. But he's smart enough to say, well, how do we get this? And then he has somebody do it.
So it's a complicated. It's not easy. I'm not trying to make it sound
No,
like
no,
it's
no,
easy.
no, no, no,
no,
But
no,
you do an
and I
amazing
kinda-
job. I just want to say you do an amazing job explaining.
breaks it
I
down
just,
very
yeah, I
well, right?
appreciate that, and I know the audience appreciates it
So
as well.
I just think we need to, regardless of what happens tomorrow in the election, after
I'm
that
winning.
we need to get together and we just need to say how we're going to move forward
Correct.
in any way, shape, or form. Whether
Correct.
we win or we lose. And I mean, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. If the voters say they don't want me, so be it. I'm still going to advocate. I'm still going to do the things that I need to do. But I feel confident that the people appreciate people that ask questions and do the right thing. So we got a couple
Yeah,
of
I can't
like-minded
see you
people
not-
on
I
the
can't see
school
you not
committee.
getting elected.
But I think we got some like-minded people on the school
Sure.
committee right now.
Sure.
We had 3 incumbents not run. That's unheard of.
Thank God.
You know, 2 of which voted for.
So
the
you're
superintendent.
optimistic, right? You got some.
I'm optimistic because
Yeah.
we have people running, and I've met all of them that are like-minded with us. Like they're not going to just agree with
That's
Kevin.
such great news, man.
So I think
Yeah.
that the schools
It is.
are going to get a turnover, and I think, in my opinion, the administration is no longer going to have 4 people that are going to vote just because it's the mayor. They're going to vote because it's the right thing to do.
I love that.
And when that happens,
I agree.
I'm excited and working with somebody like Anna Riley, other members. You know, I enjoy working with Colin Dias currently. There's a lot of new candidates. I've supported a lot of them.
Yeah.
We need some new blood in there.
Sure,
We're
right,
going to get it because
right.
we got 3 incumbents not running. So we're guaranteed to get 3 new members
That's
of
fantastic.
the school committee
That's fantastic.
tomorrow if the other 3 get elected.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good opportunity. So I'm optimistic and
Be nice if 4 weren't running, but whatever.
yeah, we're going to do the best we can.
We're kind of hoping he doesn't stay.
But I think this also the meetings, with the council, everybody just needs to step up a little more.
Sure, sure.
And I think we can do a lot of good things.
Kevin, 3 new. You're an amazing leader. You can see it, and I think under your direction, I think we'll be okay. You know, I think realizing that these people need to be involved. These people need to be a part of the process, right? Not just be like, hey, 15 minutes, we're done. To say, hey, look, if it takes 45 minutes, it takes an hour, then it takes 2 days. It doesn't matter. Let's get to a conclusion. Let's get to a solution. I'm optimistic, and I feel really great that you are. And then potentially we have a new mayor, right? I mean,
You will.
mostly. I'm saying yes.
You're gonna have a
but,
new mayor.
But so like again, I see all this.
We have to.
And for me, for so many reasons, and not for anything other than being a citizen and looking from the outside, looking in, and saying it's so obvious that we need change, right? Like
Yes.
you can't. Again, anybody who's been here long enough you've done it. It's just not working. So it's time to try something new, right?
What are you going to do in 8 years that you didn't do in 6?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. No, that's fair. No, that's fair.
And if it wasn't for ARPA, he wouldn't have made it 6.
No,
Let's be real. ARPA saved him
no,
because we'd be blown out of the water.
yeah,
We'd be in receivership right now. If it wasn't for ARPA money coming in and saving him,
yeah.
you have nothing.
Do you think ARPA, like again, not to get too far in because I know we're getting late, but do you think the ARPA really was detrimental in losing the businesses in the storefronts that we have? Considering that we didn't need that money, was it something that people just couldn't do business here? It was just too expensive to do business, too complicated to do business, and so
I'm
if you're
not
not,
sure I agree with that.
Yeah.
What I would say is that it bailed out people and then didn't keep them going. So a lot of times during the real, COVID times and stuff,
yeah.
we ended up bailing out people and didn't necessarily bail out the ones that are actually still going on, like the guy downstairs
Yes.
from you.
Yes.
Correct.
Ultimately.
Yes.
So I think we ended up giving a lifeline to certain people,
Yeah.
but we didn't make it easier for those to continue going.
Right.
So it was like, oh yeah, you can get money because you lost wages and all this other stuff, but you didn't give it to say, as long as you're still open for 2 years, we'll give it to you at the end.
Right.
They gave it up front. People were able to shut down and get their
Capitalize
money
and go.
instead.
Yep.
Instead, you have to look at it like, do it at the end of 2 years. Like
Yeah.
if you want to hire somebody and say, hey, I'll give you a bonus.
Yeah.
After you give me your 2 years, I'll pay you on the last day.
There you
of
go.
the
Or
second
increment,
year
or
something.
increment, something.
But right now, I think that's what happened. There was a lot of stuff that happened with there was too much money flooding it,
Yeah.
and people just got money, and those didn't to keep moving forward.
Yeah, so my example, forbearance, right? I had friends that lost their homes because they figured I'm going through tough times. The bank offered me a forbearance. I can pay this on the other end, right?
Yeah.
Everybody thought that, hey, they were just going to attach these payments to the end of your loan.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden they're like, no, you owe us $20,000, $30,000 right up front. And I think that's what I'm getting to, is where people have a perception of something. Oh, this is going to help me. Let me take advantage of this because I can't afford it. And then they take it, and then at the other end of it, they're getting screwed and they can't afford to keep it. And I think a lot of businesses went through that. That's the point I'm trying to get to. It's like, you think of the Flint, you think of South Main Street. A lot of these people got money, and then there was no product. They just failed. There was no. How do you continue when nobody's walking through your door, when no one is showing up, right? Yeah. So that's kind of like the point I'm getting to. I don't know if people were aware of what they were getting, right? Does that make sense?
One pager.
One pager. One pager.
Could have told them.
And safety. People aren't safe. I'm going to walk out here at 9 o'clock or whatever. It might be after 9 now. Yeah. But we're going to walk out on South Main Street right now. Not much going on.
Nothing.
What's going to happen? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm going to be looking around when I go outside.
Sure.
Ultimately, the place needs to be lit up.
There's no lights out here.
But I'm just saying, the
there's
whole
no
place
lights
needs
out
to be lit up.
Yep.
Safe. You need to be policed back and forth. People know if I open something and I want to come and have you have to get there. Instead, it's desolate. Nobody's paying attention to it. And then the people,
Scary.
like the guy at the TA downstairs, is one of the only ones down here on South Main that's open. He's spending a fortune to keep this place open, taxes and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, what does everybody else got? Like the Alexandras next door. Without them on this block,
Yeah, true.
like even Domino's, I'd like to get the deal. I would walk over there. But ultimately, you have to make the place safe.
Yeah.
If it's not safe, people aren't going to want to go. I think that's just
and that's when
theme.
people ask, like, oh, well, what are you going to do about economic development? If you don't clean up the streets and lighten things up and make it safe, nobody wants to come. If you build it, they will come.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure,
If
sure.
you clean it, they will build it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a process before that.
Yeah.
And people don't want to accept that, right? Everybody just wants that magic answer, that magic wand, and you can't do that. We've let it get so out of control and ignored it for so long that you have to. You have to. We had major franchise stores closed down because they didn't feel safe.
Right. Right.
What do you think the mom and pops are going to do?
Sure.
What do you think the average restaurants and whatever? But you're not going to bring a nightlife somewhere where the nightlife comes with getting stabbed in the neck. You're just not going to, right? It's just not a thing. So you have to. You have to put that effort and that time and that money in. You have to. Public safety has to come first. You have to.
It's easy to say let the businesses pay.
Yeah, of course.
1.75% from what the regular taxpayers did. Can you imagine what that is? Can you imagine what the tax bill is for some businesses?
Yeah.
To try to stay open on top of paying your salaries, making a living.
Yeah.
At some point, it gets to be not worth it because you say, I'm not making any money.
Kevin, my customers have no place to park. They can't come and patronize my store because they can't. There's nowhere to park a vehicle. I was going to. I want to go.
Jenga building.
Don't tell Kevin, but I was going to go to Sogs the other day because I haven't been there in a long time. I'm driving up the street. The bank is locked. Nobody's using that bank parking lot, and I have no place to park. And I'm like, I actually went around the block like 2 or 3 times, and I'm like, screw it. I ended up coming here. Why wouldn't we try to provide some type of parking for them? Why wouldn't we try to provide? Just to me, it makes sense. It's like it's the easy part. You've got empty spots. Why not work that out? Why not?
I think there's plans. It comes with planning. There's revitalization plans and stuff. But the city needs plans.
Yes.
School department needs plans. We have no strategic plan in the school department for the last 18 months under the new superintendent. Like, how the heck does that happen? We need it for the city so that gives you a roadmap.
Yeah.
You said, well, opera funds. Like, what are we going to do with the opera funds?
Yeah.
Well, didn't I just see some crazy story that the 2 parking garages need millions of dollars worth of stuff and they actually raised money? Why the hell wouldn't we spend money on opera to fix the parking garages?
Right.
Instead,
I
now
heard
we're
you
here.
say that.
Yep. Sure did.
But it's like, what is
What
this?
do I know?
Why do we not, the EMS building?
Yes.
That's the one I keep pointing to because I watched the council meeting. It was so
I did too.
It was so controversial.
Yes.
For what?
Doesn't it make you angry to
Why
watch
don't
it?
we just say?
Will you sell the building? He's like, no, I'm not going to sell the building.
But at the end of the day, we should have. That comes with planning. Like, no, what are you going to do? We're going to use.
We have no forward thinking. We
Those
have no
parking
imagination.
garages should have been fixed, especially if nobody was going to park there and rent them. they shouldn't have been fixed.
Right.
But when you know that's a revenue generator
Absolutely.
for the city, why would you not fix them?
Maintain your property is cheaper than rebuilding and fixing it.
Yeah.
And it's something that generates income.
Yeah.
You want to take care of it. No, why would we do that? Instead, we'll sell it for pennies on the dollar, just like we did with the dump, right? We'll sell the land for pennies on the dollar. We'll sell it for $1, and then we'll buy it back for $10 million again. Like,
The waterfront, you said the
It's
waterfront, right?
atrocious.
Is one of the things that I thought was a bad vote by the council, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. Carol Fiola was state rep, received, I think it was $90,000. And all we had to do was match the funds to build a half shell, like in Boston,
Okay.
down at the waterfront. The council didn't support it. So therefore that money went south. She got the money for it. They, in a bill or whatever. They voted against it. We don't have a band shell down there. It just popped in my head that I think that's things that we need to do.
Yes.
So we say, what do you want on
Summer
the waterfront? So we have it.
concerts.
All the
Yes.
infrastructure's there. Kevin and the guys from Portugal, they have to rent $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 for a stage every single year.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we could have taken money. We just wasted $70 million in ARPA funds, and we don't have a half shell or something like that.
Right.
Where it's
we
all ready
have
to go.
Nothing.
Yes.
Even
show.
down at the Day of Portugal, where they set up their stage. Like
Yes.
put a stage in there.
Yes.
Spend the money so that these guys don't have to raise $80,000 to bring entertainers here and all
Yes.
this other stuff.
And if they're and if they're paying you 10 to use it, you're still making money.
Yeah.
It's maintaining itself,
Yeah, it's just
and they're saving money. They're happy.
Yeah.
so it's not all bad things. The politicians don't do all bad things.
Yeah.
But that was one I felt like that.
Well, since you mentioned
If I
that,
was there, I would've-
how about the feasts and the police? So that's like a $50,000 cost to the
I
feast.
think it was 30.
30,000. Okay, 30,000. So let's say 30,000 to the. I heard 50 for some reason, but anyway, 30,000. Don't you think we could reach out to like the sheriff's department and be like, hey, do you guys think you guys come down here and give us? They do it for free,
I
right?
think
They would
could
do it.
only get ancillary help, like the Day of Portugal hires their own
Okay.
on top. But as the city, you have to have sworn law officers.
See,
actually
I didn't
doing
know
it.
that.
So
Yeah,
at the end of the day, though, why don't we, with a $400 million budget, actually have $80,000, $100,000 in there to say this is for feasts? So we pay the overtime
Specific
for the
for
feast
city
yes.
events.
Yep.
So like you say, okay, we got this much money, you got that much, No, but that would be too much to
We had
ask.
15 million in extra cash. You think we could have paid $30,000 for cops for a week?
Yeah.
Come on.
And it would
Let's
be a
be real.
value judgment in the budget. You
Let's
say,
be
hey,
real.
you're going to put the 100,000,
It's greed.
and then this is what it is. Or you put 30 for that. You put
Yeah.
this. People always want to bring back Fall River Celebrates or any. Just put the money in the budget.
Yeah, right. If it's
Correct.
there,
No,
it's
if
there.
Correct.
Now you say the police come down, they protect us.
Mm-hmm.
But the same thing. You go down there, dark as anything. They don't light the place up. Like it's dangerous.
true.
Yep.
So when you're having these
Correct.
feasts, the Day of Portugal,
It's almost like they
all
don't want people
volunteer
to enjoy life
organizations.
here. They don't want you to
So
enjoy nightlife here.
They have to make it easier for
desolate.
people to run these things, to do this, because people get tired.
Yeah.
They've been doing Day of Portugal for, 10, 15 years, and they do a great job.
Yes.
But they raise $100,000 on their own.
Yeah.
To pay for police details, this, that, and that.
That's crazy.
Every year you got to pay the
That's
same
gonna
thing to bring
stop.
in the acts, and
Right. Right.
we need some help, for that.
We need forward thinking, planning, forward thinking.
Yep.
We're always reactive.
And I'm sure you could get sponsorships too, right? There's so many businesses that you could
They get
leverage.
it. No,
you
they
know what I
get it,
mean?
but
And-
it's like they're getting sponsorships to pay for police officers.
yeah.
It's
counterproductive.
needed, but
No,
it's
I know,
needed.
I know.
If the city wants to have those
But it
kind
would be
of
nice to be able to
events,
invest some of that into the actual feast, into the organization, and so that
they
you
end
could
up
make it
having to
better
do
and bigger.
both, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
And everybody's going to get tired at some point, and then when
Then we're gonna have nothing.
we have nothing. So I think we need to look at making it easier. The band shell or half shell, whatever they call it,
Yeah.
something like that would just make it easier
Sure.
to have activities,
Sure.
down there in collaboration with the 79 Project. They should probably have somebody that's going to get involved in the buying the stuff, pay for it, maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like part of the deal. Hey,
Sure.
you do this, you
Yeah,
pay
of
for
course.
that.
Yeah, right, right.
I watched the thing on the people for that new place. I don't know if people caught it. That new business that we just had 160 apartments.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
down
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
Did you catch the part that they're going to actually be the ones in charge of maintaining the property?
Maintaining it,
Even
yeah.
though it's the city property?
I did hear that.
That's what you call good deals.
That's
Yeah,
a good
yeah,
deal, right? That's something that's going to help, right?
Absolutely.
So those type of things, as you get developed, you can get people to
Start holding
to
some
do-
of these
to
people
do more
accountable
things,
to do
so-
something.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful no matter what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, me
Encourage
too, man.
everybody to get out
Me
to
too.
vote.
Me too.
Vote for whoever you want. Just make sure you vote. And at the end of the day, what's going to be what's going to be. Wednesday morning I'm going to work. Tomorrow morning I'm going to work. So
I appreciate you, Kevin. Thank you so much, man.
problem.
Just what a
Thanks
great
for having
insight. Listen, you're gonna come back, right?
I'd love to come back.
This is, I'd love to have you like just in the one-on-one, just me and you, and just kind of go at it because you got a lot in there, and I'd like to
I
tap
think we
into
should bring
that.
some city councilors in.
I love that too.
You know, like have a little because we can do it with a couple. You can't do it with the whole body.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
no,
right.
You know, but I think good
bounce everything
conversations.
off. Conversations need to happen.
You know, and then it's like you can say, hey, this is what you. People might disagree with what I said. I told you to fact check me.
Yep.
Go ahead and fact check it. If I
Yep.
was wrong, I'll say I was wrong. But
Yep.
I don't think I'm wrong on it.
Let's do it.
Just,
When I'm the mayor, I'll come and join too.
Yeah. So I do think
So they
that's,
can yell at me all at once.
well, if you're mayor, you're going to be sitting with me a lot every month. So
That's
love
fine.
that.
you know,
That's fine. But that's what we need to do.
Yep.
We need to do it, and we need to do it for the right reasons, for the better of the whole city. And I'm all in. I'm all for it. So I'm not going there to fight anybody. I'm going there to like, okay, how can we make it better? If you want to bitch at me, bitch at me. But give me a solution.
Yep.
Give me an idea, something. Like, I don't have all the answers to everything. I get that. Nobody does.
Yep.
But if we all work together, I guarantee you we're smart enough to figure it out and find it.
Sure. And I think most people will agree to what Jody mentioned earlier. You are very approachable. Like you,
Yeah.
I've been in public places
this
with
is
you.
my face. There's nothing I can do about
Yeah.
this. But
Yeah.
I promise you I am.
You're a handsome guy.
I will
dude, so don't
talk to
complain about that.
anyone. I will
Yeah.
talk about anything.
Yeah.
If I'm not versed in it, help
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
You know, I have no problem with that. But I don't think you've seen all the debates. You've seen
Yeah.
all the interviews. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing. There's no packet of paperwork, my great big book of everything. I don't need it because I speak from truth, reality, in my heart. I genuinely care. We can have a better city.
So let me ask you this, and this is just to kind of walk us out of here.
Uh-oh.
For the people that would say to you, I find Boomer very aggressive, I find him very combative, and I find that he yells a lot. What are you saying to those people?
I'm Portuguese. I'm not. I just.
But buddy, that's the only criticism I ever hear of
that's
you.
what he tried to make it seem, right? So
Yeah.
what he does.
Not even him, but like
Yeah.
I've heard this from other people, like in the
Yeah,
chats.
but
People
that's
like,
what he pushes. Right?
Yeah,
That's what he
right,
pushes,
right.
right? So you know the same 5 people that try to push that stuff.
So
Because
that's what you're
they want to
saying.
make me look
Okay.
like Jordan,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
They did it to Jordan, it worked, right? And Jordan does get aggressive, right?
Mm-hmm.
They want to make me look that way, and it's like I'm not angry. I'm angry at the fact that you continue to utilize that stuff and lie
Mm-hmm.
and create a narrative instead of just answer a question.
No.
Can anybody tell me right now what this man's plan is?
No,
Has he said anything in any of these debates? Other than my plan for the homeless, has he said anything? Has he done anything? No, he opens his book. He says, oh, the numbers are here and it's 40%. Well, that 40% means one body, by the way. And the one body that they're lying to you about, which is going to come out after the election, of course, because, you know, why would we say that, right? Because now our murder rate's off, our numbers are off, our rapes are off, everything's off, right? And so now it's all a lie. What's he going to say? Oh, I didn't know that. You're the mayor of the city and you didn't know that that atrocity happened and it was being covered up until after an election, just like you didn't know the crime stats weren't posted, but now all of a sudden they're posted in a different area. Shut up. Like, we're not stupid. You think we didn't look all over the site? Stop it. Show me the date and timestamp.
No.
You think we can't find that? Of course we can. So I'm not, people look at it, it's like, oh, because they said it, it must be true. This is not being aggressive. This is being confident and assertive and showing you, listen, this is who I am. You don't have to like my personality. I've been a soldier for 19 years. This is the mission. Let's get it done. What we don't have, it doesn't matter what we don't have. This is the mission. Let's get it done. It's the same concept, right? I don't have time for bullshit. I got 6 kids at home. You think I want to sit around and bullshit with people all day about things that aren't going anywhere? Bring solutions. Bring everything. Bring everything to the table. Let's get it done. Let's make it happen. It's not being cocky. It's not being arrogant. What's aggressive? What's aggressive? This man talks about my daughter's sexual assault like it's funny. He laughs. He laughs at people being stabbed. He laughs at elderly people dying in a fire. He laughs at children being sexually assaulted. He laughs about it. If that doesn't anger you, then I don't know what your problem is. I don't know what would. But it angers the shit out of me. So for me to snap back and call out his bullshit, if you take that as aggressive, so be it. I'm going to call out bullshit when I see it. I'm not a politician. And I've made that very clear. I'm not here to be a politician. I don't want to be a career politician. I'm not doing it. I'm doing this for everyone right now, for all of us, because somebody has to finally stand up to these people. Take it however you like. Take it as arrogance. It's not what it is. This is me literally putting myself out there and dealing with all of their nonsense, all of their hit pieces, all of their special interests, all of their friends that, the wealth, all the WSARs, all the Herald News, all the nonsense. I've taken all of that on. Do you think it's because it's fun for me? No, I've taken it on because the average person is afraid to do that.
Sure.
I'm you.
I can see why, because they came after you and they even came after me.
Correct.
Like
Anybody that associates,
it didn't
right?
matter. Anybody that
It
associated.
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they tried putting me in. Like if you look at all the posts, it's not even me in there. It's stuff you said and he said and they said, and then they try to say this is what you're going to get with a boomer administration.
Right,
And it's like
right.
these people aren't in my campaign team.
Kevin,
They're not in my
I made
administration.
I made a joke. I made a
Not
post.
gonna happen.
And I said, "Enemies beware. Change is coming, and it's not coming quietly." Because
I'm loud.
Because he's loud, and it's a funny joke, and it didn't lay well.
Well,
People,
that's WSAR.
Yeah,
right?
well,
That's the
but-
Melissa Costas.
I mean, most people were like, "That's hilarious. It's funny. It's I poke
It
a
was
little
Halloween. It
poke
was
a little
being
fun.
fun.
Yeah, I was
Exactly.
poking a little fun at him, but people took it the wrong way, and I felt bad.
No,
I'm like,
stop.
my intent was never to be that way. It was more
and
like,
everybody feels like, oh my God, boom, I'm so sorry, it's hurting. Listen,
Yeah, I was being
don't
funny.
care
Yeah.
about that stuff, right? Like that's not, to me, that's nonsense. It's minuscule stuff.
Yeah.
But when people go out parading around on innocence
Hmm.
and laugh about it and lie about it, the man turned purple. He didn't even turn red because he couldn't find his answer. Even the host of the show even called, like, so you really don't know. You don't have any
that was
numbers.
Channel 10, right?
Yeah, it's like you don't have any, like, this isn't just his local WSAR nonsense, right? And the people he can pay off. This is people that, like, have nothing to gain from whoever wins or who loses, calling him out on live television for 46 million people to watch. The man had no answers. He still has no answers. He's been here for 6 years and nobody can tell me a single thing that he's done or going to do. And his only concept is, well, I want to talk about the positive. He only wants to talk about the negative. Well, if I was responsible for all the negative, I wouldn't want to talk about it either.
Right.
Of course I'd want to talk about splash pads. But that's the only positive he's brought up.
No.
What has he done? Oh, we're giving a facelift to the Flint. 6 years later, you're painting a building? What about the one that's falling down and forcing people to walk into the streets? What about those buildings? What about the potholes? What about the crime?
No.
All the things that matter. You think vinyl siding is going to change it? It's not. You're putting lipstick on a pig. You're patronizing the people, and they've gotten away with it far too long. And I'm just tired of being patronized. This is not me being cocky. It's not me being aggressive. This is me telling you exactly how it is without the fluff and the bullshit. If you want somebody to lie to you, vote for him. Don't vote for me. I'll tell you that right now. Don't vote for me. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to bullshit you. You're going to see transparency like you've never. You've mentioned transparency. You've mentioned when Kevin comes on this show in a year from now and says everything Boomer said he was going to do, he did. He's going to come with facts.
All right, I'm gonna put that on the calendar right now.
It's online, right? It's not going anywhere, right? It's on YouTube.
Sure.
Trust me, they're already saving it right now. His whole team's saving it, right? He said he was going to do this, and here we are on day one, and it didn't get done yet.
Yeah.
Shut up. It's day one.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it's going to be done. This is who I am. I don't hide. I don't pretend to be somebody I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm passionate because I genuinely care about my family and yours. I genuinely want to see our city succeed and for once not be exploited for just a select few so all of us have a chance to be better and our kids can grow up in a safer, better, more secure, better educated city. That's it.
Here.
That's all I want. So go out tomorrow.
too.
Go vote for me, and I'll show you myself.
All right.
And that's what I do. I'm a results-oriented person. I don't lose. I don't quit. Let's go.
Let's go.
That's it.
Well, I just want to reiterate to the
And
audience.
Kevin, you better vote for me.
we are not a political show. I am not
No,
a political
not at
show,
all.
and I just want to say this, and I want to share this with my audience. I didn't know Boomer. I had no idea. I never met him in my life, and David, my program director, is like, "Hey, this guy's running for mayor."
He must have thought I was such a dick.
And then I met Eric. And Eric had some things to say about you. And then it's like, well, I'm like, all right, well, David, let's do it. I'm like, I don't know, like it's almost like a different conversation for me. But then I'm like, you know what? Maybe people need to know who the politician really is. Like it really made sense to me. Like we could talk numbers, we could talk all kinds of fiscal, but at the end of the day, who are you? Who are you and who are people voting for, right? The father, right? The father of six. I went to church with you, bro. We went to church together, right? Like the soldier, like all of those things I learned in this short time that I've known you, brother. And so, I've been looking, I've been seeing, and like everything you've said to me, brother, has been right in line, brother. Like good or bad, good or bad. And I got to be honest with you, bro. I feel something, man. I feel the movement. I feel it coming, and I hate to say things out and predict things, but I say to myself, man, it's so obvious to me that people want what I want. Everybody I talk to.
You would
I have-
think, right?
Right? And so I believe that change is coming, brother. And I'm grateful that I got to meet you and got to know you this way and to be a part of this journey, bro. I'm a little bummed that it just is kind of like coming to an end. But by the same token, I'm really excited.
one not campaigning.
I'm really excited to see where this is going, right? You know, I never met you, Kevin, and you've enlightened me tonight. And I'm like, wow, you know, there are good people still in this that really want the best for everyone.
We're just outnumbered.
They're just
moment.
outnumbered.
That's the
And
problem. Tomorrow's our day to fix
it
it.
is our day tomorrow.
It's finally our time to
Yep.
fix it and
Yep.
start taking it back.
Yep. Yep. So I just want to say that I'm grateful for the time that you've spent here and
I appreciate
with my audience. Kevin, thank you so much for coming in today and
welcome.
speaking to my audience. Jody, I always appreciate you, brother.
I love when Kevin's
Thank you,
around.
man.
I always feel smarter when I leave.
Yeah. Well, we missed Haley today. Haley's usually our troll, but she's not.
Yeah, I don't even
yeah.
know what's on there. I'm just,
Yeah, I
my
didn't even look. I
through
was
the
so
roof.
engaged in this tonight that I'm like,
Yeah.
it's fine. I'm sure the audience enjoyed it as well. Yeah. So anything else? As we close out of here, are we
No,
good?
thank
anything?
you all. Thanks for listening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank
Thanks for having
you.
me.
I appreciate your time. Another 3-hour event with Bobby. It's
I
always
love it.
fun.
I love it.
3.5.
We're back at
whatever
this
it may be.
tomorrow, man. Big day tomorrow. Go and vote.
We
Go
are.
and vote. Get up. Have your coffee. I do it first thing in the morning.
If you need a ride, let
Yes,
me know. We'll
I'm
come and get
available
you.
too. I'm
Bobby,
available
yeah,
too.
We
Yeah,
got
yeah.
we got plenty of drivers. People
Yes.
come and grab you.
Yep.
If you're cold, you need a hot chocolate, you need a whatever, you need a donut, whatever. Call me.
Yeah.
I'll be at the polls. I'll be going around. Please reach out. Let us know if you have any questions. You still have reserves. You're not sure where I stand on something. Call me. I have no problem answering those
Are you
questions.
you still giving your number out?
774-930-9211. All the trolls can call me too. That's fine. Feel free to call me. You're not going to find a mayor that's going to do that. You're not going to find somebody transparent.
Yeah.
No, I've said my number so many times. The mayor actually called me thinking he was calling the guy at the host.
Yeah. That's funny.
He did. He called me trying to say he wasn't. gonna show up.
Domino's like, hey, Boomer, what's up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Listen,
right.
I don't have a problem with it. I'm going to work for you, and are you always going to be able to call me at the drop of a dime? No,
Yeah.
but you have access to me,
Yeah.
obviously, right? I'll have a government phone, and that's the one you will use from here on out. But, but until then, you can use this one. And when you do a FOIA request, you'll get my government phone because I'll actually use my phone. That's there for you to get your information that you want. That's what we're supposed to do. Answer
Kevin
to the people.
Agar, you have my vote tomorrow, brother. I will
He
be writing your
does.
name down.
has
Boomer,
my
you
whole
have my
family
vote,
for sure.
brother. I will be writing your name down as well. I hope the
appreciate it.
audience feels the same way that I do. And I appreciate everybody that's been along with us on this journey. It's
it.
just monumental
Tomorrow's
for
the
me,
day.
and this has
Tomorrow's
been
the
a crazy
day.
experience.
If
Yeah.
we do this tomorrow, we make history.
Yeah,
History.
yeah, yeah.
1945. We make history.
Wow. Wow.
Get out there and be part of history.
All roads lead here.
That's it.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for being here. Appreciate
Have a
it.
good night.